The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we could talk about. Yes,
Speaking his mind.
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
While being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Good afternoon, beautiful people. It is Tuesday, July 20th, 2021, years after zero, and today's show is massive! Woo! There's a lot to talk about. I mean, Matthew Stafford conversation happened over the weekend. From a corner in San Fran to Tokyo Olympics.
Oh, no.
Oh,
God,
bring
no.
it back to Massacre Week.
They might be.
Don't say it.
Yeah, the Tokyo Olympics head of organizing committee, whatever the fuck that means, the head of organizing committee has not ruled out a last minute cancellation. Is that because of the cardboard box beds? I don't know. Is that because Sha'Carri Richardson, the fastest woman on the planet in the Olympics, will not be able to compete because she dabbled with a plant that potentially made her life a lot better as opposed to taking a pharmaceutical option and potentially spiraling? I don't know. I think it's because of what's going on with COVID.
No.
They said COVID. This son of a bitch, this rat bastard, COVID-19, allegedly, potentially going to be able to stop the Olympics or maybe delay the Olympics for another year. Will they just push back for another one? I don't know how this will go. All I do know is that all eyes are on Tokyo because this thing's supposed to start on Friday with no fans.
No fans.
So I don't know how the opening celebration will go because that is a massive moment. Maybe there'll just be such a big drone spectacular and there'll be, well, the music couldn't happen because the person that was supposed to sing allegedly was saying terrible things back in the day on social media. So they have even music. They even have music.
We don't know.
This is I grew up wanting to be in this. This is what I grew up in. Soccer, wanting to be in the Olympics. I want to represent the United States on the U.S. men's national team. The Olympics is something I look forward to every single time they're on. In the winter, love everything about being cold. In the summer, I don't know what the fuck a triple backflip ollie whatever is, but I know America's doing it better than everybody else, so I'm going to watch.
Oh, yeah.
I absolutely love the spectacle that is the Olympics that goes back centuries almost at this point, back to the Greeks or however it started, and the amount of things that have been kind of brought together, I think, through the love of sport and through the international games. And there's been some obvious scandals that have wrecked the Olympics' reputations, maybe, in that whole thing. And Icarus exposed that Russia was potentially cheating for every Olympic Games. And back in the day, the Germans. And then I guess there's the Olympics, I think, is something that are beautiful. It's awesome. It's for people that love sports, such a cool thing. Even though it's not necessarily our sport, it is the thrill of competition that bring everybody on earth together. Even in sports we don't know, we're just kind of pulling for people. I don't know who's running it. I have no idea what's going on, but this has been a shit show.
Yeah.
This whole thing has been a shit show.
Brutal.
And it's not because of things that they could not control or maybe steer around as if they saw an iceberg. These are self-caused problems from the Olympics and something that is absolutely beautiful. The people that seem to have the reins of the Olympics are steering that particular either Texas Longhorn, like I like to ride on the weekends in Fort Worth stockyards, or a horse right into a terrible spot. Like so many other things I think that we've loved for so long, we've seen people get into charge and just kind of run it right into the fucking dirt. Hopefully that won't happen with the Olympics. Nope. Hopefully we'll be able to see the world's greatest do things like speed walking and the
Floor routine,
dancing,
with the
gymnastics,
thing.
yeah.
And Simone Biles is supposed to just go own everything. I'd like to watch the greatest of all time and Simone do her thing, but it feels like there's a chance that whether COVID is a problem still, which I'm being told is. Okay.
Correct. For sure.
I'm being told COVID is still quite a problem. Remember, I am in my own world. And
Blinders.
I got my blinders. Hey, listen, let's keep the main thing the main thing. Let's not get distracted, okay? Let's keep our blinders on. You know what the horse does whenever they got to race them? They put the blinders on. You know why? Because that's the only thing they need to worry about. They don't need to worry about what the horse is here. They just need to worry about running straight. They need to stay focused. That's what we need to do. We need the blinders. That's my life, okay? And that was Chuck Pagano's speech actually to us a couple different times when there was distractions maybe that could pop off. But that's my life. I like my timeline. I'm very deep on Twitter on a very regular basis, so much that my wife probably hates it, but it's kind of what I do. It's kind of how I operate. It's how the show has to go. And my timeline is one that I thoroughly enjoy. So whenever shit gets into my timeline, it has to go like double generation to get in there if it's outside of my world. Politics, outside of my world. Science, by the way. I mean, it was brought into my world, I guess, but that shit was way out of my world.
Yeah.
But it has made its way in. I guess COVID has been sneaking its little fucking head back into my timeline, though. And I want to let you know, we're going to beat it.
Hell yeah.
Beat it. Have to.
Come on.
Have to.
Come on. Going together.
We've had arenas everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, I was in one the other night. It was magical. The world needs to keep that happening. Hopefully, we'll be able to figure it out. Hopefully, COVID will stay. I've heard people have been getting COVID again.
Oh, yeah. Big time. People who have already been vaccinated as well.
Okay. So thank you for that. At Boston Connor. Thank you for
No
that.
problem, man. Just updating you on the situation.
At Ty
here.
Schmidt here as well. Are like hospitals packed to the? Are people dying? I haven't heard. Listen. I'm not getting into anything. I don't know anything, but I do know that everybody's acting like COVID's all the way back, like we're back whenever we were moving games in March Madness.
Yeah.
Right.
That's how some people are acting, and I only know that because those people are getting into my timeline. I'm like, is this where we are? Are we doing this again? I guess masks are going back on.
Yep.
In California,
Yeah.
mandates are happening again. I guess other places there's mandates happening again. Are we back to that stage where people are just, hospitals can't keep up and there's ice cream trucks going for dead bodies? Remember that was happening
yeah.
at one point?
God.
I mean, the things that we were watching on the news every single night during that thing were alarming and incredibly scary, and I think got it. There's people that are acting as if that is still happening, right? Is that what's going on? And is that why if the Olympics get canceled last minute, there's a chance that all those people that potentially get into my timeline are going to be doing, I don't think they'll be celebrating it all, but that's going to get louder and louder. Yeah. Are we headed, am I oblivious because of my blinders? Am I oblivious to what's going on? Are we fucked again from COVID? Is this happening again?
I don't know. I mean, I hear there are whispers that COVID is coming back or is back, but I think...
And there was rumors on the internet like John Cena.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
exactly.
Full swing.
But, I mean...
I couldn't see Cena. I don't know if you can see COVID either.
It's
You can't?
It's tough for us now too, because like you said, I mean, you were just in a packed arena. Like we've already had that carrot out dangled in front of us. Like, hey, NFL stadiums are going to be full this upcoming season. Period. It's just, I mean, I think over there too, I mean, it's the same deal. Some places where they don't have vaccines readily available, like stuff's still going on. I mean, and who knows what to believe anymore, but
I think there's potential chaos on the internet if the Olympics get canceled.
I
last
agree.
minute. And the Tokyo Olympic head of organizing committee not ruling out a last minute cancellation. Is that him just like CYA, like covering his ass? Because if he does, or he or she comes out and says it's canceled, then, well, why didn't you tell us that a couple of days beforehand? Or is it the no fans, no boning, no nothing
No
rule?
sponsors?
No
Yeah.
sponsors that they're doing for the COVID. Is that and they move from one stage of risk to another stage of risk just a couple days before the Olympics were the moving process was supposed to go in there. So what the hell is going on?
Well, he's got to be covering his ass, or she got to be covering their ass, just because if people get COVID while they're staying there, can't they look right to him like, hey?
But it's
why
already
the fuck?
happened. There's already been people who are there, like athletes who are supposed to be in the Olympics that have tested positive. So like what, I mean, at this point, canceling it, like what is that? Like people are already testing positive.
Yeah, so what do we do here?
And I did see too that they said like it is like a big concern is like that it's a bubble, but like there are many cracks in the security in terms of like whether or not people would be able to just be like, all right, fuck it, I'm not staying in a bubble for my entire time.
well,
here.
every country in the world is at this thing, right?
right.
I mean, I remember one time wanting to buy an island, create my own country, create an Olympic team, and maybe compete in every event.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's a good idea.
It's not that easy, but I remember all those ceremonies you watch. There'll be like one person coming out
Oh, yeah.
from a country that it's like, oh shit, where's that country at? You learn a lot during the Olympics. I think about a lot. So that's probably what they're worried about as well, is people coming from every place of the earth. Is that what's going on as well?
I mean, maybe, but don't you think
What happened in Brazil a couple years ago? Was it Ebola? No.
Zika?
Zika was the big one. Right? That was going to shut down the Olympics there for a little bit. They went on and ended up having the Olympics, and Lochte got locked up.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because he pissed at a gas station.
Oh, yeah.
Ryan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What he
Tough
says?
look for him.
Did they pull out guns? He was like, yeah.
Ja!
He's back, by the way. He's not like that anymore. There's a
That's not
documentary
him,
about how he has grown through that. And we all grow and mature on different levels, and that was obviously a terrible time. But in Brazil, the Zika was supposed to be a big thing. And then people were scared to go almost. And then now with this, I think a lot of people want to go.
Yeah.
And then they're like, almost, we don't want you to go. It's a wild time to be alive. Let's hope we have the Olympics.
Hey, here we go.
Hopefully.
Need it.
Can't put you back.
The NBA is happening, 3-2. Milwaukee Bucks in 6 was chanted by every drunk in Milwaukee. Even the children, I think, are chugging beers over there. I have nothing but the utmost respect for that atmosphere. Could end tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern. Giannis, real G's move in silence like Antetokounmpo. Antetokounmpo.
Yeah. There it is.
You know, my issue is the way I remember things is I see the way it's spelled, and then like it pops up in my head. The way his name is spelled is not pronounced. So I want to let Giannis know I'm very sorry. I am a stooge that I can't pronounce that. But real G's move in silence like Giannis could win his first title tonight, right?
Oh, yeah.
MVP. This guy stinks. Can't lead a team. Give me everybody else. Could win a title tonight.
Yes. First time for Milwaukee since like 1972 or something.
And not Drew. It's Drew Holiday out of New Orleans into Milwaukee. He could win a title tonight.
Yep. And Chris Middleton, guy who went from the G League. Nice little story of him coming up. And then these guys hopefully join Team USA and turn that around too.
A couple weeks ago, Stephen A. said Chris Middleton is, or not Stephen A., maybe it was Swag Goose. Maybe it was Big Perk.
It was Big Perk.
Big Perk said these guys get max contracts or something. Like, I forget who it was. There's been a lot of burials of a lot of people on ESPN. I am over people being over Perkins, by the way.
It's bullshit.
Give it up.
We need more Big Perk.
Yes.
We don't need less Big Perk. But everybody's saying, Chris Middleton, this guy stinks, doesn't deserve a max contract. Get him out of here. He could win a title.
Yeah, that's right. Might even win NBA Finals MVP. Who says no?
I watched Space Jam last night.
Oh, the whole thing.
Come on. Finished
Here
it.
we go.
How good was that movie?
Here we go.
Yeah, we all knew I fell asleep during it.
Oh, okay.
And I woke up and I fell back asleep. But I will say,
2 naps.
I
what
will
it says.
say, they were doing a lot in that movie. I mean, every scene has 7,000 things that happen. I mean, at one point I saw Elmer Fudd. Is that his fucking name?
yeah. Yep.
He shot something, then ran into a wall, and then like this happened, and then he brought in this, and then the amount of money they had to have spent on graphics and animation is so vast. I did see the Game of Thrones and every other reference that they made that people are pissed off about. That movie just wasn't made for me. You know, the reason why I'm saying this because I was watching, I was like, this movie stinks. But if I was a kid and if I had watched any of these cartoons, I think that was also a big problem.
Oh, the Looney Tunes?
Yeah.
This is a bigger. I don't know anything about any. Did they all forget how to play basketball? By the way, I thought that was the big thing that they had played before. They were actually saying we've done this before a couple of times, and then they had to have a whole basketball practice to learn how to play basketball.
Well, they kind of stunk in the first one as well. I'm assuming they stink in this one. They relied heavily on Jordan to win them the
they
game.
should.
Right.
And Lola. Lola was the only real
Yeah,
player.
Lola
Bill Murray.
did have game.
I mean, it was the number one movie of the weekend, so I don't want to bury it too much. It was a success story, but I didn't fully understand what was going on out there. A lot of it
Wasn't for us.
I didn't know why that was. A lot of the decisions that were made, I was like, I don't fully understand why that was made, but it wasn't for us. The movie was huge. I guess they would consider that a smashing success.
Absolutely. LeBron, logistically speaking, is a king. And that is a direct quote from the movie talking about his social media following.
He's talking about King Al G is who
Yeah,
you're talking about.
that's
there.
right.
Oh, wow.
Wait till you meet King Al G.
Man.
Rhythm.
Yeah, be careful with Al G Rhythm. He does not fuck around.
Al G Rhythm's in your life. You don't even know about this guy.
Exactly.
Is that Don Cheadle?
Yeah.
There you go.
See, that's why I want to see it because I heard Don Cheadle delivers an excellent performance.
So he's doing a lot of acting, I think, with like nothing around him.
Sure.
Because a lot of the animation. So
Green screen.
I think as you're watching, you're like, this guy, incredible thespian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's obvious that ain't there. You know what I mean?
Well, and that's what's interesting too is everyone always talks about. LeBron's been great in everything he's acted in. Why does he need all the sideshow stuff? Is it covering up for maybe the fact that he isn't a
he
very
was
good
asked to be in Space
thespian?
Jam. This is Warner. Don't even.
Well, I'm just saying maybe him and Vernon Davis sit down one-on-one and he gives him game about how you actually act in these movies. And
So you're saying LeBron's a bad actor? Is that what you're
Holy
saying?
I'm
shit.
just saying that I've seen that out there, and I know from seeing multiple things. But yeah, I mean,
I don't think he was bad.
I don't.
God awful.
Not me.
So you're saying that LeBron, after this, is not going to go on to have a massive, lucrative acting career?
I was saying there were some lines in there that I didn't know why LeBron was forced to say it.
Okay.
What in the Matrix hell?
Well,
that was pretty good.
That one was tough. That was in the trailer.
Well, and then there's one early that when they're setting the scene or whatever, he's big douche early or whatever.
Oh, when he's a kid or when he's a dad?
When he's a dad, he's big douche early. And
it's method acting.
No. You see,
Come on,
that's
man.
what I was worried about, because I was a LeBron fan, watched the first 15 minutes on Saturday. So that's a big thing.
Team MJ?
That was the thing. No, I'm never.
Whoa!
We're talking basketball or life?
Both.
Well, see, the stories I've heard about old buddy before the social media
Amazing.
thing also make me go like, all right, let's not maybe either situation here. But MJ's a guy.
That's out of towners.
If I was friends with MJ, I would be super pumped.
Hell yeah.
Okay, I'd be super pumped. Would love to be friends with MJ. But I think on the court, everybody acts like LeBron couldn't have played back whenever Jordan played. He could have. He's 6'8". He could have figured it out. Just like Jordan could have figured it out now. I just think it's two different sports. So I'm not getting into that whole team MJ, team LeBron. But I will say there were some lines that I think LeBron in the script that I wish he would have fought a little bit harder against.
Oh, which ones?
Okay, just a little bit hard. I don't know. There was a time where there's a time in the movie, without giving too much away, but it's almost like his kid is his dad. Like his.
Oh, really?
They perceive LeBron as a doofus for a lot of us.
Okay.
As a big fat doofus. And not fat, but obviously he's in great shape.
Big
but
doofus.
Massive doofus for a lot of it. So early I go to myself like, LeBron should have said, I ain't saying that because of whatever. So I think a lot of the lines that he would never say did look a little bit forced.
Sure. Okay.
And I think that is what people may be alluding to because the lines that he was saying, there's no way that's him in real life. There's no way. He's playing LeBron James, okay, but there are some lines in there where you'll be like, there's no way that's LeBron James, especially after watching The Shop with how cool he is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Or maybe.
What's that?
Well, or maybe, The Shop could be one of his greatest performances yet, if we're looking at this.
yeah.
So
we're zooming out
either
a
way,
little
great
more.
actor. Thank you. So either way, it's a great actor.
As a voice actor, you probably slept through the animation, but as a voice actor, he was second to none.
I don't think the animation really looked like him much either. Am I wrong in thinking that?
Well, they had to spend so much goddamn money on all the Looney Tunes. They had to
Like
cut corners somewhere.
his cartoon popped up, and I was like, with his voice coming out of it, I was like, okay, that's definitely LeBron.
Gotta be him.
But you didn't know at first.
But I did, yeah, that's the way it happens. But as his head is popping out, I'm like, I don't know if that's like the best cartoon of I go down to State Fair right here to see a caricature. I assume they would draw that son bitch a little bit tight. We get Dirty Gertie to draw one. I think Dirty Gertie, but I don't know. That was just one. There's a lot of things in there where you're like, why was this the decision that was made? So it's not for us.
You gotta watch it.
Exactly.
But there is not for us. But you say to yourself, like, good. Why is like that's what I'm saying. I don't know. Like, is that
just like
Yeah, what are you talking about? He's got the sleeve and everything. And the tattoos.
I guess, man.
Is he wearing a watch there?
No, it's just sweatbands.
Sweatbands. There actually is quite a scene down there.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Let's go to the real news of the day.
Uh-huh.
We said all that to say this. Aaron Rodgers turned down a 2-year extension.
No.
Allegedly, it's being reported Adam Schefter, the man who's had all the information accumulated through a matter of time about Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. Adam Schefter tweeted this offseason, the Packers offered Aaron Rodgers a 2-year contract extension that would have tied him to Green Bay for 5 more seasons and made him the highest paid quarterback and player in football. Rodgers declined the offer. Proof. It's not about the money.
Wow.
So what happened was maybe in one of those plane trips out to see Aaron that was reported in the initial report from Adam Schefter, which at the time said, according to league and team sources, this entire thing Aaron wants out. Then Adam Schefter would go on to later say it was an accumulation of information, and the reason why I dropped it on the draft is just because even though when we read the initial report, as we were reading it, it seemed like, oh, this is coming from
we know where
Green
this is
Bay.
coming from.
This seems to be coming from Green Bay. I said that publicly. Just my initial reaction was, it sounds like a lot of this information that Schefter's potentially getting, and it did say, according to league and team sources in the news break, is coming from Green Bay, because it was like painting an image like, hey, we're trying our best. We flew out to him. This is what's going on, blah, blah, blah. That was my take on it. Then I was asked privately by somebody who told me that was from Green Bay. I said that was just from reading it with the brain. that is what, as somebody that's been in there, I was then told it wasn't just from Green Bay sources. It might not have been from Green Bay sources. I'm like, well, why did it say team? They're like, well, it could have been any team. I'm like, okay, so now we're kind of picking and choosing. Yeah. But if it was agents potentially talking to Schefter, or other teams talking to Schefter, or the Packers, or maybe Aaron's team talking to Schefter, it seems slighted in the fashion that Green Bay was trying to do everything to get Aaron back. There was no real side from Aaron. We thought that would prompt Aaron to respond. Aaron did not, because I think there was real shit popping off behind the scenes. When that news broke via Schefter's accumulation of news, is how he has titled it, I don't think Aaron, his team, or maybe even the Packers, who knows? I still think that was 100% the Packers, but that is just my opinion. That is not a fact. That could be completely wrong. The Packers were trying to paint the image to their fans about what was going on, and they might lose Aaron and piss off Aaron. And you've all seen what's going on for the years. We are fucking up, but this is what we have tried to do. Please be on our side. We're going to follow up with an email to everybody about everything that's happened, and make some statements saying this has divided us. And so it seems like that's the case. But I think Aaron and his team didn't know it was going to go public, because these types of conversations, especially at the quarterback position, with hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars at stake, just financially, let alone legacies and careers and privately, these conversations are very big conversations. They happen often behind closed doors. We live in a world where almost everything gets out, but you rarely hear that type of drama, especially if it was business or anything like that, between the head of an organization, which is Aaron and Mark Murphy, Gunther Kuntz, and the boys there. So as this news was rolling out, we never heard anything back from Aaron, wondering what Aaron's side was. He literally just stayed back and said, let's figure this out. Quiet. We ask AJ, you heard anything? No, I haven't heard anything. AJ, you know anything? No, I haven't heard anything. Okay, he's out in Hawaii. Something big pops off. What happens? Miles Teller gets jumped.
Oh, yeah.
In the bathroom by who knows. That is a criminal investigation that is currently happening in Maui, Hawaii. We hope Miles Teller is okay. He looked great at the UFC fight he was at a couple weeks ago.
Well said.
He did.
Quiet. The match happens. Aaron says a couple things, very sly. Barkley's trying to get him. The hosts are trying to get him. Fitz is trying to get him. Everybody knows that they have an opportunity for 7 hours. Is that how long the match was?
Yeah, just about.
10
roughly.
hours the match to get something out of this. And Aaron, very incredibly well done, turned himself back babyface, by the way, through that entire thing, and said, we'll figure it out. Let's see what's going on. And I think as we have invested time into this situation via an entire sports media, not just us. Everybody has talked about this, although we get attacked for talking about it a lot often, because I think a lot of Packers fans do listen to this show. Shout out to the Packers and the Packers faithful and the Packers organization. But I think as we continue to dive into this, we realize like, oh, this guy has a real gripe. I think a lot of people were like, hey, with what's going on in Tampa, what's going on in Kansas City, with the elites of the elites, and what happened with Peyton in Denver whenever he left Indy and went to Denver. Even in Indy, he was all right, but he got the keys to the city in Denver. He got the keys to the building in Denver. Seems like Tom and Bruce very much on the same page. Whatever Tom wants down there, it's going to work. He's going to be allowed to do it. He's going to win a Super Bowl. Then you look in Kansas City. They are just feeding Patrick Mahomes. We are building this around Patrick Mahomes to do it. Russell Wilson saw what was going on in other places. He's like, hey, I want to be remembered as a top 5 quarterback all time with what's going on here. That ain't working. He has a gripe, allegedly. Now, there was an offer. It was turned down. He's back with Pete Carroll. Hey, we're still friends.
Tighter we go.
And then old buddy's poking his head in the side of that press conference, and they must have figured that out. But that ripple effect of seeing very good quarterbacks, where there are only a few of them, okay? To get in the NFL, you got to be good. All right, obviously. You got to be better than, 99% of humans that have ever stepped foot on a football field ever in their entire life. You got to be better than them. Get to the NFL is not easy. There's only a couple guys, though, that are up there. I think there'll be more, obviously. That's how the game continues, and the NFL will go on forever because there will be a next generation of greats and everything like that. Patrick Mahomes is poking his head in there. There are other young guys. Lamar Jackson has a chance. If he goes on and wins a Super Bowl or two, he has a chance. But there's only a couple guys that are getting to see what the other couple guys in their very small fraternity have been able to do. And you could see how they go, why am I not getting a chance to fucking just load up and say, hey, we need this, we need this. I think this is how day-to-day should operate, by the way. I think we should keep this person around because although their 40 might not be the best, in the locker room, they are absolutely loved. And in our team, that should be all. We're looking to be talented, we're looking to be tight, and we're looking to be terrific on the football field. That is what the goal should be. And if you have two different ideas of, we're trying to be good but not great, we're trying to save money, we're trying to do this, we have this idea, we're trying to turn over, look for the future, so we're great for the next 15 years, even though you have a chance to win right now, we're just trying to be sustained great as opposed to sustained elite. I mean, or quick elite. I mean, there's just so many ideals that could potentially pop off. And I think it all stems from what's going on with Tom, what happened with Peyton, what's happened with Patrick Mahomes right now. Fans are a little bit more understanding. Like, you could see why Aaron would want to have the situation in these other places. And in Green Bay, you could have the situation to do that. These people are choosing not to, whether it's past decisions, current decisions, and I don't trust them with future decisions. I'm 30-some years old. I am in my prime.
Yeah.
Best thrower of a football ever.
Yep.
It's already documented, talked about, everything like that. How come that? And that's where we sit, and we stand. And now Schefter says a 2-year extension was offered. It would make him the highest paid. What does that mean? Does that mean year to year total? Because Patrick Mahomes getting $500 million. Right. Are you going on each year to year salary? His average? What are you going off of? Who knows what that meant? But he said no, and I think it's more. I think it's much more has to do with, like, do you see what everybody else who is incredible at football is getting the opportunity to do? I would like to have a little bit of a say because I understand in high school football, the player is the dumbest person out there. The smallest amount of football information in their brain has touched because they're still learning the game. In college, the college coaches are not only the gatekeeper, but also they're the people that are still teaching and you're still learning fundamentals and everything like that. Whenever you're 15 years in the NFL, 20 years in the NFL, your football IQ probably fucking better than everybody's on earth. To get that respect and feel that respect, which I think Tom was looking for, Peyton always had it, by the way. In Indy, he had it, but in Denver, they just said, hey, whatever the fuck you need to do, you do it. I think there's going to be more guys that are going to be looking for that opportunity. Aaron is the one right now who's a kind of odd man out with that type of freedom and power. Who's going to be next? I guess we'll have to see there. But this Aaron Rodgers situation is fascinating.
Well, and you couple all that stuff with what we've talked about ad nauseum in terms of, like, he not only not having really like a say, but then feeling slighted and disrespected and like jabbed and poked and prodded when you talk about guys you like and stuff like that. Just stuff that like teams don't really do to like a franchise quarterback. And then, I don't understand why this is all getting, kind of repackaged as breaking news, because I feel like we have known this for a long time that the Packers tried to offer him some sort of extension, although it's pretty clear that they're kind of okay with Jordan Love, so it doesn't really make that much sense that they would necessarily want Rodgers around for the next 5 years.
Yeah, so what's that mean? So now we got like a little bit of a mixed communication on what the Jordan Love pick was for them, because remember, It's not just drafting Jordan Love, it's trading up to go get Jordan Love and not saying anything to your guy. Andy Dalton was a member of the Chicago Bears for 4 weeks, maybe 2 weeks. I forget how many, maybe a week. I forget what it was. And they called him to tell him they were trading up to draft Justin Fields just because, hey, this is business. This is how we're going to do it. We're doing business together. This is how we do business. I think it's all those amateur-like business decisions that have been made behind closed doors, but then also the decisions that have been made on paper to roster and to things he said and everything like that. It's just a bunch of smacks in the mouth.
It really is.
And I know there's people that are against him because of the preconceived notion that he was just big, massive drama douchebag because he refused to answer any of the stories that came out about him from 2 to 3 people. Were saying the same thing.
Yeah.
And he refused. He said, what? Kill him with indifference. Kill him with indifference. He didn't answer it. So I told him literally the first time I met him, I was like, hey, how come you didn't, like, you... if I come out and answer one, then I got to answer everybody. I just kill him. That's not really my thing. Like he's more of like a thing. I'm like, yeah, but I feel like everybody, those things snowball. Like one person's opinion who heard this story, now they're telling somebody that's their friend's opinion because they didn't even hear that story. They just heard you say it, and it kind of spiraled. That's why I took so much, I think, pride in the Aaron Rodgers Tuesdays because it was a conversation with a guy I knew nothing about. I didn't know anything about the guy.
Nothing.
Still don't talk to him often. I do have some information on a couple of things, though, from a source.
Whoa.
Okay.
From a pretty good source. But I don't talk to. But I think that was one of those things where the misunderstanding of what Aaron Rodgers is led to people now, and I think Green Bay potentially thinking they could leverage that in a business way to make him look like the bad guy, which is why I think the information was leaked to Adam Schefter from everybody.
League and team
sources. With Schefter, by the way, he's dialed in, plugged in. He's at the top. He just interviewed Alex Guerrero, which is the TB12 guy. So anything Schefter ever says about Tom Brady, we know, okay, Schefter's got a guy very tight to that camp. He said Tom's going to play probably till he's 45, 2 more years or whatever is what Alex Guerrero said, TB12 founder, the pliability of world founder. But it's like Schefter's very good, incredible what he does. He's not saying something for no reason. Schefter's saying something because he's being told. Who's telling him is what you have to break down. And I think Green Bay was potentially feeding some information. They had to have been, right? If they're taking 3 trips, unless Aaron's agent was talking, which Aaron's agent ain't going to do that.
No.
So is it Miles Teller telling people? I don't know who it could potentially be. It would have to be the team. So I think they were trying to leverage his potential persona that people had of him against him with this business stuff happening. And then Aaron literally just stayed quiet. And now we're at a point where I think in 2021 where you learn more about everything than you could have ever imagined. There's information about every situation available to you basically right in the palm of your hand. I think now we're at a point where people are like, yeah, the guy deserves to fucking go and get it. That's what everybody else is doing. They made NFC Championship twice.
Yes. Back-to-back years.
Back-to-back years. They could go win a Super Bowl. You add a couple things and do some things. And I'm sure Aaron has a much better feel on what it is. And I think he just wants to be listened to, just like Tom wanted to be listened to in New England.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think with the Aaron thing is you think that it would go back to maybe the Jordan Love pick, but it goes back so goddamn far. Like, I had no idea about Jordy. I mean, I feel like even AJ wanting to take less money and them still basically telling him to leave, who was one of Aaron's closest friends. There's just so many layers to it that you can't really point to one thing, but the back-to-back NFC championships and then basically just being like, well, you're probably on your way out. There's nothing we can do to get this team over the hump. It's ridiculous that would happen.
Well, and also we've learned that to get money to spend for the Packers, very simple.
Easy.
The Packers could spend whenever, however, whatever, basically.
Defer to football.
Is kind of what Andrew Brandt told us. He was formerly in a contract. I think he was the salary cap guy.
Yeah, the vice president of finance or something.
And he said, anytime you went to that board and said, hey, we want to make this deal, they're like, yep, fuck it, do it.
Sure.
Yeah, do it. Yeah, do it. So it's like you have power now given to people, and this is the owner conversation. And not every owner is going to be able to handle. Kraft was able to manage, I guess, for another couple of years and extend it, but it was still much different, I think. And who knows, 10 years down the road, we'll probably hear more stories from either Tom or Bill, and hopefully they'll be friends at that point, so they'll be able to, who knows? I don't. Who gives a fuck if they're friends, actually? To be
as long as they tell us what the hell happens.
But there's a chance we learn about a lot more of that. Maybe we'll find out that Kraft did do a lot of kind of mending fences. Yeah. But with no owner, you just kind of gotta hope, I guess, that the people that are in power will do the team right, and who's voting for. I mean, it's just like, what if it gets in the hands of the wrong person? And maybe, I'm not saying it is NFC Championship couple, but what if there are some decisions that aren't the right decisions being made? With the owner, you could defer to somebody like, hey, this is your money, this is your pocket, you can do this. In the Packers situation, there's none of that. It's like, this person is the end-all, be-all. It's not his pocket. It's not his thing. Who's getting deferred? You know what I mean? Would Aaron, if he's actually, and we've asked this question before, would he have to go into that board with a pitch deck?
Yeah.
Like, is that what he would have to do? Like, how do you... The owner thing is much bigger than I ever realized as a player, as a fan, until I got into this and started following along with the Packers. Speaking of this situation...
Here we go.
Okay, I potential breaking news.
Okay.
I'd say definitely.
My sources have told me Very good sources, by the way.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Let's just go ahead and say very good sources. Aaron Rodgers has never had his house deep cleaned by anyone.
Whoa.
You don't say.
What do you
That's what
mean?
my sources have told me.
I thought it was scheduled for this week.
Yeah.
He is
Been doing it the last 10 years.
I have never had my house deep clean. Oh shit! Aaron told me. All right.
Hey, it's good
My
source.
sources.
There we go.
It is a good source. I did not lie. I've never had my house deep cleaned by anyone but my amazing cleaner. So I think he has somebody.
Personal.
Yes, I believe. I don't know. Maybe Lace knows this lady. I'm
Doubt
like
it.
the lady that posts on Facebook.
don't think so.
Maybe Lace or man, whoever it is. Maybe Lace knows this, but I've never had my house deep cleaned by anyone but my cleaner. Okay? Also, the country club renewal isn't something like I pick and choose to do. So I honestly believe Aaron might be living like an Amish person for a while, coming back into the world. He saw our video yesterday about his house being deep cleaned. He's like, what the fuck? Sends me a text like, yeah, this, come on. And
Not true.
And I wonder if he just got caught up on the country club news. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
did he just get caught up on the country club? He's like, I did not. So I don't think he was telling me that to say like, hey, I am cutting all ties in Green Bay. I think he was saying like, hey, this is some bullshit stories.
Little
here.
house cleaning.
Let's go ahead and take this thing. Let's take it easy.
Which we suspected yesterday when we
No!
saw it. I mean, it's nice, but the Brian County supervisor's office isn't just giving out, hey, we're cleaning Rodgers' house next week. All right, tell everybody you know. They're not doing that.
But that is the story. That is the
Oh,
Aaron
yeah.
Rodgers story.
Yeah.
The country club renewal was massive.
Huge.
Aaron, welcome back to society. He's probably not here now.
No, yeah, he already
Quick
checked
trip.
in. Yeah, he's already
Checked
out.
in, checked
Hey,
out.
if it's Friday, Aaron, SmackDown tonight's going to be a good one. John Cena's going to be here.
Yeah.
Tune in.
Whenever you come back, I don't know when you're coming back, but so the house cleaning thing ain't real.
Okay.
He's not selling the house, and it doesn't mean he's coming back.
No,
Maybe. We don't know.
we don't know.
Yeah.
We
The
don't know.
golf thing, it's not like that. That just happens.
He can eat that one and be okay.
So we are still right now in the same moment we were 2 months ago with this situation.
That's on draft night.
No information.
Well, and for a while there, I was expecting, him to show up the first day of camp. I figured it'd just be like, he's not going to show up until then. And then not Schefter, but
Rappaport.
Rap Sheet came on and told us, like, well, he's probably going to go to camp, but it's not going to be the first day.
I don't know if he's there the first day. I think he is a Packer, though, is what Rapport's saying. We're like,
What?
So, what are we missing here?
what does that mean? Well, what do you know? By the way, I did not abuse that text message.
Not at all.
I'm saying I did not text back like,
Wait a minute.
what's going on?
So then,
So you're not selling your house? You are selling your house? What's going on? Are you going to golf there ever again? Do you see yourself ever golfing there again? I did not do a full journalism breakdown, and I apologize. I've let down the world, but I did get an update from a very good source on the situation.
Yeah, very reputable.
and at this point, it does feel like the 1 year and then, see you later, Green Bay is the most likely situation.
Yeah, Peter King put that, or Monday morning quarterback, or
Breer?
Football Morning in America.
Breer, somebody, Football Morning in America, one of them, every Monday. Those are, and I think Peter's back from his break. Tarico did the last one. I was asked to do the Peter King break blog thing last
No way.
Yeah.
year. Yeah. He wanted a copy of it 4 weeks early.
Okay.
Had to be 17,000 words.
So
Yeah,
a little
I'm gonna
lengthy.
pass, Pete.
He wanted you to write about a story a month before the article was going to
He
drop.
wanted to see it, give it a full rundown, do the whole thing. I'm like,
Grammar check.
I appreciate that. I understand your due diligence and everything like that. But who has the time to write 2 books 4 months before they're going out? Not me.
Find someone else, buddy.
Not me. And I assume not everybody has to do that. He probably has a lot more trust than a lot of other people.
He doesn't want you saying the F word.
Something to think about.
Hey, I would put F dash dash dash.
That'd have been good.
Take up more space. Smart.
Yeah, maybe even a star.
Star's a good one.
Yeah, I might put star.
Star K.
All right, we're back in 4 minutes with some phone calls. I think we covered everything that's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Basketball,
I mean,
Aaron Rodgers,
What?
Olympics.
Olympics,
Space Jams.
we talk COVID, we talk Space Jams.
Oh, speaking of.
Billionaire in space. On the other side, and your phone calls. We'll see you then. A former Celebrity Jeopardy champion, ladies and gentlemen, Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, I've missed you guys.
We've missed you too, man. Where are you? Are you out in the woods somewhere right now? Where are you?
Yeah, I'm in a log cabin out here.
Have you been doing this since the end of the season? How'd the Jeopardy thing come? How'd you film it? How'd it go? And is that your first time you were kind of back in cell service?
Yeah, pretty much. I did some quarantine during the off season, early parts. Mrs. was filming up in Montreal, so I was, Quebec has some strict quarantine rules, so I was in quarantine for a few weeks, and then went out to LA and filmed the 2 weeks of Jeopardy, had a blast, and then back for some more quarantine. And now, the off season feels like it's just beginning now.
Okay, good. Well, congratulations on everything happening. Let's talk about the Jeopardy job. Did you watch the other hosts as well, what they were doing potentially that you would want to do differently? How did the whole film study go?
I haven't watched an episode since Alex.
Okay.
I didn't really want to be influenced at all by the other guest hosts.
Smart.
And how they did things. For me, it was taking a lot of notes and figuring out, exactly what Alex did and wanting to do him justice, his memory justice, by being as prepared as possible when I got on the show.
The hair, though, was there a thought potentially, Jeopardy, for you to cut it? Did anybody say, hey, maybe we cutting the hair? Was that conversation? Because I'll tell you, whenever I was going to have to go to court after the public intoxication, a lot of talk about me potentially cutting hair. Didn't do it. I would assume for you, potential same thing with Jeopardy, being Jeopardy and all that.
I thought about it. I also thought about shaving to a mustache to honor Alex, but my hair wasn't long enough that I couldn't do something with it. I felt like we had a nice little comb over going, and I just decided to go with kind of my usual, a little bit of some stubble going and not the neck beard. Sorry, Andrew Luck, but I decided to kind of clean that up a little bit. But there was conversation. I think there might have been some people that wanted me to shave to the skin. I don't do that a whole lot. If that was a prereq to get the full-time gig, no problem with it at all. No problem at all. And
Whoa! Did you just campaign potentially for the full-time gig right there? You loved doing it, didn't you? You enjoyed the hell out of your time doing Jeopardy? Hold on, you lost service in the middle of the woods wherever the hell you are, whether it's in Canada here or in America on the films. You would love to do Jeopardy more, you say?
I would love to be the host of Jeopardy, yes.
And I hope you get it, dude.
Give it to him.
The guy wants it.
Come on.
He's good at everything. He'll shave his face.
Come on.
Thanks, buddy. Miss you guys. Love you guys.
Hey, miss you, love you, man. Aaron Rodgers. How are ya? I'm Roman, a men's health brand that can dance very well and make you the best you possible. Are you suffering from male pattern baldness? Dahn, we got something for that. Herpes. See ya. Premature ejaculation? Gone. No more coming too quick. Allergies as well. And that's not all. We have clinically tested supplements for everything, including erectile dysfunction. Come on. Bye-bye. GetRoman.com/Pat. Be the best you possible.
This is the Pat McAfee Show on Sirius XM Mad Dog Sports Radio. We thank you for taking the time to seek out this small regional show that streams internationally. Here's Pat and the boys.
Welcome back to that show. Ooh.
Okay.
This is DJ Griff.
Okay.
Has to be.
This song's called Dahn, Florida Memories.
Oh, wow. This does remind me.
We had a good run in Tampa.
Yeah.
Didn't we?
Sure did.
That's this song depicts it.
There's a couple Tampa Stooges in the White House right now.
What?
His name's A.Q. Shipley, and he shouldn't be there. How?
What?
Because he's good at football, he's got small arms. Now he's in the White House doing no harm. B.A. is wearing a hilarious suit. Tom Brady's out there spitting some truths. Now he said he didn't know that it was fourth down. The Kangol hat's always hanging around. Now all the boys are out there with Joe Biden, standing in the thing like the Viking.
Yeah. Wow. Hey.
That was pretty good. Hey, yeah.
Pretty good.
Snaps.
Pretty good.
Snaps for you.
It's a good beat, Griff. Good beat, Griff. Tampa Bay Buccaneers are at the White House today. I believe they had to report for training camp a day or two early to take the trip to the White House. I didn't know how that was normally done. Tom Brady cut a promo. He said he did forget what Dahn it was in Chicago.
Wow.
So we had that completely open, which is great news. AQ Shipley's big bald head is up there in the back row. He is now a man who has just sent me 10 videos from the White House.
Okay.
He sent me, there's somebody playing the piano somewhere that sounded very good. I don't know if he was allowed to take all the videos he took, so we will have to get these things okayed before we run them on there. Congrats to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Congrats, boys.
Congrats. Thank you.
Congrats out there, huh?
Did BA put sunscreen on?
Well, BA's just living, I mean,
I wasn't sure because he is red as an apple.
well, listen, I am not somebody to mock anybody's redness. I am a red son bitch as well, but BA just came off the offseason.
That's right.
True.
That's right.
And,
Been on the boat.
and by the way, that boat parade ran right into the offseason. This guy's been hitting the golf course. He's been on the boat.
True.
He's been hanging out, having a couple of his vitamins that sound like ice and glass and liquor going in there. BA's been enjoying his offseason. He'll be back in better shape than ever.
That's not a Super Bowl winning head coach. That's a tomato in a suit.
All right.
They dressed up.
Oh, come on. Nick. Come
BA.
on. Friend of the show.
BA has done too much for the sport of football for you to sit here and mock him while he's standing in the
I
fucking
love BA, but that is an angry tomato in a suit.
It is an aggressive choice.
Suit looks clean. Though.
Is AQ with the team or is he with the coaches? Is Clyde Christensen at this thing?
I did not see him.
He looked like he was with the O-line up there. Those are the O-line
because he
boys.
was a player last year. But then he was Jackie Moon player coach.
That's right.
So is he a player or coach? Who cares? Congrats, everybody.
Congrats, boys. Hey, good work, boys.
Evan Fox did remind me because I FaceTime with AQ while he's in the White House.
Wow, so you've been in the White House,
Yeah.
basically.
Kind of. I mean, I yelled in there so that my voice could be heard.
Nice.
So
Smart.
facto.
Because FaceTime kind of quiet or whatever. I did give him a ah! So my voice was echoed through the White House. I think left wing.
Oh,
really?
Wow, that's a good wing.
I have no idea. Seventh wing?
West Wing?
Oh,
Well, that one, the West wing.
West wing.
Technically
Wow.
is the left.
Well, I did ask, depending which way you look at it, but I asked AQ, are you in Lincoln's room or
Sure.
are you in
The Oval.
The Oval Office.
Harding Square?
Harding, of course.
What are the rooms in there? There's big time rooms in there.
Yeah.
There's like the purple room, the green room, the yellow room, the blue room, that
Picture
room,
room.
this room, dead room, ghost room,
What?
Yeah.
money room.
What?
Yeah, there's all those rooms, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like I've watched too many documentaries on the White House to not know anything about the White House, which is what just happened there while I was trying to speak about the White House. It's residential, right, where president lives, and then there's all the commercial shit, right?
I believe so, but to be completely transparent, I do not know.
You're our guy that got accepted to Harvard.
Well, I-
Where's AQ and them walking
It seems
around?
like they're in the East room.
So they're in the East
That's
wing.
where the piano is. I'm seeing right here. But there's entrance hall, cross hall, East room, green room, blue room, red room, state dining room, and then on the ground floor there's a bunch of other things. But yeah.
Fucking Billy Joel at the White House right now?
That was a pianist that was wearing a. He had, I think, blues, military. I don't know if they were blues or red or whatever it was. And he, while they were walking in, it looked like they were walking in. I got that.
That's awesome.
Oh, there's a China room.
That guy plays the hits. Yeah, they got some. Hey, don't put you in there. It's like a bull in China shop.
Ask AQ if he can find that secret passage where Marilyn Monroe used to sneak in and bop JFK's baloney.
Well, I did ask him to take a photo of where potential
Michael
Bill.
Lewinsky.
Where Bill and
We were going to allude to it without actually saying it, Tito. But thank you for.
I read the book last week.
Let's go to. You didn't.
Yeah, I love Monica.
You did not read a book. That's
did.
it. Period. Right there. By the way, you did not read a book.
I got to the chapter with the cigar stuff.
we were with you last week, so you didn't have a book.
It was called The Nook. I was reading The Nook.
No, Zeke, somebody took a picture of that page and tweeted it.
Yeah.
And it got into your timeline.
I read it, though.
And then you read
Read
a
the book.
page
Oh, yeah.
of that book.
That's my source.
Let's go to the 5-Hour Energy phone line.
Here we go. Yeah.
5-Hour Energy always being a great source of energy for you for at least 5 hours. They got their summer flavors out, by the way. You should try them. The aftertaste is delicious.
Magnificent.
The original 5 Hour Energy was a tag team partner of mine for a long time. Okay, hey, how you doing? Keep moving. I don't get enough vitamins. I'm going to go ahead and take this B12 that you're putting in me, and it's going to make me feel a lot better. There are people that get shots of B12, actual shots. There's takes of B12. 5 Hour Energy not only put B12 together, but there's all the other vitamins you need in one easy-to-do shot. And I'm like, fuck it. I can eat McDonald's all day and then just take this 5 Hour Energy, get the vitamins in, I have energy. It was amazing.
You're good.
We're talking through college did this, pros did this whole thing. I was a big time, still to this day, take 5 Hour Energy, just go ahead and stick it in.
Yes.
Now they're sponsoring the phone line, so we're in business.
Let's go.
Flavors are delicious.
They are, the summer flavors are delightful. 5hourenergy.com. That's the number 5, HOURENERGY.com. Use promo code McAfee, receive 10% off your order. Only valid through a time that's forever from now.
Oh, yeah, September, so get on it quick.
September 30th.
Oh, okay, so
Really, October.
pretty much October.
Yeah, we'll let you know when it gets close, but you can still do that. Let's go to Debo in Columbus on the 5 Hour Energy phone line. What's up, Debo?
What's going on, Pat? How you doing, buddy? Shout out to you and the boys, man.
Hey, shout out to you, Debo. Were you like Debo? Did you look like Debo? What were you nicknamed Debo for? Is that your actual name?
My first name is Damon. Like, I am a boy, Damon. Like, different Friday character.
Okay.
And then last name starts with the B.O., so, just kind of became a nickname from back in the day because I'm kind of a bigger dude. I'm 6 foot 230, and
Yeah.
6 foot 230, throwing that way around like big body.
yeah, I mean, hey, I'm a former athlete like you, Pat, but not quite to your level, man.
No, you're probably much more athletic than I. You were in Ohio. You had to play football, right?
Oh, grew up right outside of Canton, Ohio. Played in Foster Stadium in the Hall of Fame the 4th week of my high school senior year. That is a fast turf. So, yeah, I was an athlete. Football, basketball, track, bro.
Yeah, I tried to play there, but they melted the paint all over. The game got canceled. It was against the Packers or whatever. What do you want to talk about, Debo?
Man, there's so much happening in the NFL. I could pick a million things, which, by the way, as a Browns fan, I've got to give you a great shout-out. I love watching your highlight videos of you abusing the Denver team because those punt returners never knew what was happening.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. Thank you.
You had a disdain for the Broncos, and I loved it.
Yeah, Broncos, Titans, Texans. I mean, I had big games against Giants.
Well, here, check this out, man.
Basically, everybody had pretty good games.
It just came out.
Cleveland,
Akers, Cam Akers just blew his Achilles, man. He's out for the year, and he was about to have Matthew Stafford.
Yeah.
He was. I really feel he was on a breakout season, and I got to ask you, other than Peyton's neck, which we all know about, what was the most disheartening injury you saw with one of your teammates when you were playing, Pat?
Great question, Debo. The Achilles is terrible. The Achilles is one where there's nothing really you can do. Some fitness person is going to tell me that you can train your Achilles, but from my research, personal research, the Achilles is going to go whether it's going to go or it's just like a roll of the dice almost. A lot of times it happens in non-contact situations. It does happen, I guess, in contact. They say it sounds like a gun or it feels like you've been kicked, and then you're just done. Like it's over. I think Vic Ballard had an Achilles in practice inside non-contact. The whole place just was like, you got to be kidding me. He was on a breakout year as well. I think that happened. It was sad. It might have been Vic. I'm not 100% sure. I think it was Vic Ballard. In practice, non-contact. He was going. I think it might have been after he had this overtime touchdown against the Tennessee Titans where he took off from like the 7-yard line and he spun through the air and reach, and he got obviously hit in the middle, scored a touchdown. I think it was second touchdown of the day. Vic Ballard was about to blow up, by the way. It was about to happen. Damn. And then he was like, we got our guy. And then non-contact in practice, Achilles blew. The Achilles is just a fucking nightmare. It scares everybody. I think Robert Mathis tore his Achilles. I think at one point he had 7 or 8 surgeries to get it back. I mean, it's just it is literally the Achilles. The Achilles is a nightmare. Yeah. It is a full nightmare, and I'm not sure there's anything you can do about it. I don't think taped ankles help. I think it's just it happens. Maybe they help stability-wise, but that's definitely a problem. Shout to Cam Akers rehab, by the way. Hey,
good luck, Cam.
You're gonna come back better than ever, Cam.
That's right.
He was about to have. Yeah. And Matthew Stafford's not happy about that either. The guy's a good ball player. Oh, yeah. He was about to come in there and do this whole thing. Matthew Stafford's not happy about it. Cam Akers' rehab is going to be an absolute. It's no fun. Rehab is no fun at all. Tom Pelissero reported that this happened while training. He loses, the Rams lose their leading rusher from last season a week before camp begins. Out there now, there are some free agent running backs that I think, are going to get a shot.
Oh, yeah.
Adrian Peterson. Imagine if Matthew Stafford and Adrian Peterson take that Detroit pain train right out to L.A. with McVay. He's still in shape. He's still outrunning people. He's still outrunning people on uphills and stuff.
What's Jay eating for lunch right now?
Yeah, he's eating pizza. He's drinking a Coke. He literally is chewing into the microphone right now.
Yeah.
We got 10 seconds, Jake. We get a little music.
Come back
The
from
pizza
space,
can wait.
Jay.
We'll talk about the Rams with Schrager in the second hour. Why we haven't talked about it yet. We'll hit that in the next 6 minutes. We'll see you then. Yeah, dude. What am I supposed to do here? Fuck, dude. Like, what are we supposed to do? People should not tell me this stuff. They know they should. Can't do it. Our sources have told us that Mac Jones ain't going 3.
Oh my God!
I mean, it seems like Trey Lance is going at 3.
Draft odds changed dramatically.
Odds have just changed, by the way.
Before you went on air, Mac Jones was minus 270, I believe, and Trey Lance was plus 280. Now Trey Lance is plus 105.
The Mac Jones not going to the Niners news was just the tip of the iceberg with me and sources. Insert Jay Glazer at the first commercial break.
That's my Aaron. He asked to get out. That's not what Aaron asked. That's a fucking big thing, man.
How the hell am I supposed to hold that in?
From what we've been potentially told, there's some things cooking. I've heard something's cooking right now, by the way. I don't know what's real and what isn't real. Come on! Something big. Huge. We got 2 hours and 19 minutes on it. Why?
But 3 hours later, guess what happened? Aaron Rodgers is on the move. Hashtag JNew, dude.
Breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. Aaron Rodgers is so disgruntled with Green Bay Packers that he has told some within the organization that he does not want to return to the team. Ty.
I mean, you alienate the fucking guy. No wonder he doesn't want to fucking come back. He's done. It's over. That's the end of it. Negligence from the top of the organization to the bottom. You got to do something. You had to do something. And they didn't do a goddamn thing. So I don't blame him.
I didn't know that's how that whole thing was going to come out.
Me neither.
I didn't know that was going to be it. That's the Packers definitely releasing that information.
1,000%.
Oh, yeah. And that's Aaron telling them, by the way, I ain't fucking coming back. Aaron probably was like, I ain't fucking coming back. So Green Bay probably trying to save tail here. Say, Schefter, we need you to write an article about how things are going right now from our point of view with Aaron Rodgers. He has all the cards.
Yeah, exactly.
He has all the cards. Imagine if he goes to a place where he has just as many weapons as everybody else and has a full organization that's like all the way behind him. They'll fucking win. This is fucking insane.
And then finally, it becomes time for our biggest event of the year.
Hello and welcome to the second annual NFL Draft Spectacular. Yeah! Trey Lance, let's go! Ladies and gentlemen, I beat you, dude. Yo, it's $1,000. Thanks for playing, Julio Jones is a Colt by the end of tonight.
You can't control him, can you?
Dan's lying. Dan, stop being a hater, Dan.
I mean, obviously, it's great competition. You know, not just Pat, though. You know, Kelsey, Tyreek Hill, you know, Clyde, you know, all these guys.
There's always things that are taken out of context, but there's always things that maybe aren't. You never know.
JJ, you're the best. Hey, Mad Mel, dude.
Great to be back, AJ. Great to see you. Good to see you. You're still a sack of shit like you were last year.
Listen,
Chris. Hey, I've never worn a jockstrap, but I've sniffed plenty of them, so I know what's going on with these players, okay? I don't give a fuck. Who cares? I just want to eat. Zito, did we get that food order?
With boots on the ground in Cleveland, Jason Glazer. Jason Glazer, your thoughts?
Well, obviously, I knew this was going to happen. The only person who probably didn't know the competition was going to go here.
No, you have in the studio.
That's when live you go.
Now, wait a minute.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't. And then let me talk. And then, no, you didn't.
Yeah.
No, you didn't. Yeah. What if this works?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. I had this. No, you didn't. I had this. I had it. Trust me. Can I talk, for Christ's sake?
Okay, fine, yeah.
There you go.
Thank you. What?
As we're live on the air, I look down at my phone and says, hey, $1 deal with SeatGeek just happened. SeatGeek is back.
We have some breaking news that literally just got texted to my phone, and I think it's because nobody had a clue that 131,000 fucking people are potentially going to be watching this far into the thing.
SeatGeek's back!
Yeah. And if you use hashtag Draft Spectacular and hashtag SeatGeek is back, they will pick a winner and will get you 2 season tickets to your favorite NFL team.
Holy shit! I cannot believe the Draft Spectacular was as big as it was.
There's 100,000. What are you doing, people? Let's go! Yeah! 100,000 people!
We are so thankful. It fucking caused a firestorm with the amount of people that watched them. Articles written by these marketing nerds and their little community, tech people saying, hey, this is the dawn of a new day. This is why SeatGeek survives. You watch the thing, you're like, man, this is pretty big. Probably get in on this. We appreciate that, dude.
Oh, you're going to get articles written about you tomorrow.
Assume Raj had to walk in there and do a full, you know what I mean?
Curtsy.
Hey, we're coming. We're bringing a big sports stooge thing over here. Is that okay? Yep, deal. Perfect. Let's get some tea. Let's get the fuck out of here. How do you think that went between Raj and Clean? You think she liked them?
Yeah. I bet she liked him. She probably knows a lot. Like, what if she's sitting there and then all of a sudden she's like, so what about the Deshaun Watson situation? What about the Deshaun Watson situation? What about the Deshaun Watson situation? That was spot on accent.
Hit that one out of the park.
Like, what if she's really dialed in to the NFL?
The Pat McAfee Show.
There will be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we can talk about. Yes,
Speaking his mind
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
while being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Good afternoon, beautiful people. Hour 2 on this Tuesday, July 20th, 2021 years after zero with the Hammered Down Boys and a special guest in Ohio. Oh. We'll begin right now, ladies and gentlemen. Joining us from an attic is a man who was once a college football national champion. He was once a Super Bowl champion. Now fall from grace to an attic, ladies and gentlemen, on this show, AJ Hawk. Far fall from grace, sir. I apologize for that misleading there, but welcome back. Great to have you. How you doing?
Hey, good to be here, man. What happened in the first hour? I know Diggs had a situation online. Some guys punked him right on their show as well. What else?
Okay, so we weren't going to dive into that, but
I assumed you guys already covered it, so I just want a quick recap.
No, because Hammer Down Boys just got into the studio, by the way. Gumpy, how you doing? At Tone Diggs, the COVID Cowboy. I mean, there was quite a scene on the internet yesterday with old Tone Diggs. I saw a video of him driving home from the softball game on Saturday night on the internet. At Tone Diggs, is everything all right? Do we have any housekeeping that we need to get after? Are you in a beef right now currently with anybody? Is life good?
Nope, life's all good.
Well,
all right.
They're saying that you turned your back on your city, Tom.
No. See,
Whoa! I
don't
was just reading the comments.
This is Hammer Down. This is HDB.
I was just reading the comments.
Look at AJ, by the way,
internet.
smoking his cigar.
He knows.
You dance, clowns. Yeah. He's like Jeff Bezos.
Yeah, he is.
He's like Jeff Bezos.
Bezos.
We don't know what his actual name is.
Bezos.
I heard Jeff Bezos say, hi, I'm Jeff Bezos of Amazon in a video. And then I've heard other people that say, no, it's Bezos or whatever. And those people stand by, whatever the case, our space cowboy that is the richest guy on earth or whatever, he cut a promo, okay, immediately after we...
And then this turn's not helping out.
They were playing the radio show, it sounds like. Or...
Well, it's coming from back there. That's where it's coming from.
I know where it's coming.
We know where.
It's coming, I believe, directly from where your hands are right now, Zeta.
I had Bezos up, and I don't know what happened there. But he is up right for you right now, though.
Yeah, well, perfect. We need to talk about what was that other video? Was that something?
I believe it was a Diggs runaway car clip.
See, Zito, this is what I need you to do whenever you're in here with us, okay? I need you to keep going. I know you can get distracted immediately by a Jeep, okay, that has Diggs and a vanity plate across the back of that thing, okay? That is the DeGilio family. And if you, Zito, if you'd like to make fun of Coach Diggs... No, go ahead.
Yours.
Go ahead. The president of the Italian club.
Already.
The president of the Italian club in Plum making fun of his vanity plates on the back of his Jeep.
No.
Grand Cherokee.
We're talking about who is in the driver's seat, who is in the passenger seat.
Okay. Yeah, well, we weren't talking about that on this show. You're talking about off air, which leads me exactly back to where I was. We're not playing that, okay? I'm not a guy who's going to air the Diggs' car out on the goddamn thing like the rest of the year. I'm happy you would like to do that. You can do that in your life. But with Bezos, he took off in a penis-shaped thing.
Oh, yeah.
It was... Did you see this thing, AJ?
I saw bits and pieces. I did not get to see his speech when he landed.
Well, the speech is what we will get to, but his rocket that he took off in, real thin capsule, and then it had a little mushroom head on top.
Yeah, perfect.
Little mushroom head
So
on
did Elon. Elon's has a little penis head, too.
Okay, so Elon's got it.
I should say big penis head, I'm guessing, if it's a rocket.
In the grand scheme of things, I mean, I don't know what we're comparing him to.
It's all relative, yeah.
Well, Bezos had 4 people in the tip of his head. So
Yeah, that's massive.
He shoots up there. He goes into space. The rocket that took him up the shaft, it comes back down. It lands all by itself. Then Bezos and his brother and somebody else, they come back down with some parachutes and absolutely poof.
Wow.
I mean, it seems like the sand dissipates quickly, like almost before they hit. Is there anything slowing them down? I don't think so. They hit Earth pretty hard there. I don't remember how hard Branson hit. I don't think we ever saw that. Was it in the water maybe? I'm not sure. He came down pretty hard, hit, but the space cowboy Jeff Bezos went over and cut a promo immediately after doing so. I didn't know he was full heel. Did you hear what he said? Have you heard this?
No, I'm curious. I want to see what happened.
Play it.
And then I want to thank every Amazon employee and every Amazon customer because you guys paid for all of this. So seriously, for every Amazon customer out there and every Amazon employee, thank you from the bottom of my heart very much.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're welcome. Yeah, no problem, Jeff. Okay.
So this is why his wife was trending then, right? His ex-wife, because she is giving away like $58 billion, or saying she's giving away more than anybody, and he's blowing people's money to go to space for whatever reason.
Well, I mean, he has a reason to go to space. It is fascinating that all these rich people want to get to space as fast as possible. I don't know what that means. Okay, you hear old songs like from Prince and stuff talking about, there's always been this chatter by very wealthy folks about getting off of Earth, and Richard Branson's been trying to do this for a long time. Elon has come in very quickly and taken it over. Bezos, as soon as he got money, he's like, all right, I need to get the fuck out of here.
Let's go.
And I don't know if it's like their escape thought or if they want to explore more, take over more, they see good business. Whatever the case, they all want to get up there, right? I appreciate the fact, though, that Bezos comes down, puts a fucking cowboy hat on.
Yeah.
All right? Puts a cowboy hat on this guy. And, we have seen this man in an apartment with spray paint behind him, looking like a beat up.
Hey, why is this watch over his long sleeve shirt?
Peloton.
It's a Rolex, okay? It's probably pretty expensive. And also, he needs to know what time it is just because he's going to space. Who knows? All this shit. But Bezos thanking my wife directly was very nice of him. And I thought he was potentially going to say none of this is possible without it or whatever. But him just going, you paid for all this shit is maybe my favorite heel moment of all time. I did not expect that. Congrats to him still being alive, though. I thought there was a chance he was going to be dead with this whole thing. Just like I thought with Branson. I thought these things blow up. Seems like they got to figure it out. Good for humanity, I guess.
Well, I mean, obviously, there's definitely a chance that it could blow up, but So what? They're just going up. They're not getting into orbit. They're just hitting space and coming back down, right?
Yeah, but they're doing zero gravity like you can do on a plane in North Carolina, by the way, for like $1,000. They're hitting zero gravity though. I saw Branson floating around.
Yeah.
The video,
Edge of space. They're saying
that's where old buddy Red Bull jumped out.
Yeah. Felix?
Yeah.
I think so.
Is that where he jumped out from?
I think so.
So Felix has been up here long for any of these fucking billionaires.
That's right. And he didn't take a shit.
And he free fell.
Yeah.
And he passed out.
Yeah.
And almost didn't get off, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Just
kept going.
I wonder if they'll ever do that again where they'll create something in there that kicks the person out, just in case at a height.
Eject button.
I thought that, do you remember when that guy did that for Red Bull, I think?
Yeah, it was awesome.
I forget if he passed out on the way down I think on the way up he passed out. Was it
way down and so many circles he was going?
Oh, because how fast he was spinning.
Yeah.
Because then maybe my immediate thought after hearing that is, what if he passes out on the way up? Like if you then what happens?
Yeah. Then
then he floats into space and he dies.
And that would be the difference between him and what these guys are doing, right?
Yeah, because he's not, going up in some hoity-toity ship.
That
shaped
thing's space junk right now.
Yeah.
The thing that took him.
Yeah,
Exactly.
pretty much.
And that thing had the power to get past the.
I thought the balloons were going to pop at some point, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong though.
Yeah, that thing wouldn't have just taken off up into orbit after he jumped.
So he would have been dropped into Earth regardless there? I thought he had a little power thing.
Yeah, and I thought that thing just floated into space.
I'm sure they can control it. They can control it from the ground, though, too. I'm sure he is controlling things, but they definitely have backup systems.
So we've had rockets that go to space that could be in control from the ground for all time then, right?
I think so. Weren't the SpaceX ones unmanned because a lot of them were blowing up, and they were trying to.
What the fuck was Felix Baumgartner on?
He was in a little capsule, but I wonder how did he get up there? Do we know?
Did he get? Because that wasn't the balloons. The balloons was what's his face?
David Blaine.
David Blaine. And
so was this strap? Pat, was this thing strapped to a shaft and shot him up there, and then the shaft is out there in space junk now?
Yeah. Did this dude do a rocket launch? Maybe we should look back on what Felix Baumgartner did a little bit better.
Put some respect on his name.
How the hell did he get up there?
How did he get out of that thing? Jesus. Have a button?
Red Bull gives you wings, they say.
Yeah.
Tastes like absolute dog shit, but it'll give you wings. It got Baumgartner to fucking space.
It was a helium balloon.
That pulled that thing up?
Yeah.
Big old son of a bitch. Big balloon.
It pulled it up to the stratosphere. And
how high was he, and how high is Bezos and Branson?
Approximately 39 kilometers, so 24 miles
They
into
were
the
all
stratosphere.
in the stratosphere.
So they're all in the same area?
Yeah. They weren't in orbit. They were just in the stratosphere.
How many thousand feet is it? Do we
Over
know?
100,000.
Miles, 24 miles
Yeah.
times 3, 12, 80, 92.
Well, there's 5,280 feet in a mile.
Shit.
What?
Should we start counting cards?
5,280 times 24, whatever that
I did
is.
it as if they were yards.
Yeah.
Anyways, you get it. They were way up there, dude.
350,000 feet is where Bezos was.
Oh,
So
shit.
Bezos was up
Is
there.
Branson at that height, too?
I think so.
Wasn't Baumgartner like 60,000 feet? He wasn't 300.
128, I think.
If it was 24 miles,
120.
How does a helium balloon get you to 128,000 feet? This helium balloon's unbelievable.
yeah, I need to show a photo of the helium balloon if you got it, Z, because if I recall, it was massive.
And how did Chris Angel get his hands on that thing to do the thing?
Dave Blaine, I do believe he was gifted all those balloons, and let's keep in mind, inside the balloons was actually like a ship.
Massive drone.
Yeah, so that was a little iffy.
Oh, man. AJ, you ever go into space? If it's available, it is available for you. You can pay for that right now.
Yeah.
Will you go?
No, I would not waste the money to do it right now, but I'm not against it. I'd like to try it one day.
My ears pop on takeoff going down to Florida. I couldn't even imagine what it would do at 20, 40, 60, 70, 80, 100,000 feet.
Your head would explode.
Head would feel like it's going to blow up, I would assume.
Yeah.
That's what took Baumgartner up?
Yeah, that's it.
Felix is right here.
How high would it have...
That's Felix, and then
That looks like just like at a store you get a thing that holds down.
the balloon? Yeah, it does.
That's a human down there. But yeah, obviously we did know he was down there. Yeah. How high would that could have gone? Do we know? Has the internet said that? Could that thing have, did it just go to 300,000 feet? What would have, why'd they go to only 350? You said stratosphere? What's that mean? And then
Layers of the Earth's atmosphere.
Yeah, and then outer space is outside of that?
If you get past that, you got to go through like the Corona or whatever the hell it is.
Corona. Whoa, we're trying to go through Corona down here.
Yeah, you need a rocket to get through there because that's why they have to have the heat shields and all that. They got to, every movie you watch, they got to like ignite it to get through there, and then all of a sudden, boom, it's black and you're in space.
Everybody has talked about this, but it's real. How does the sun Bluetooth heat into this?
Who knows?
How the fuck does that happen? AJ?
I got a question, Pat.
Answer that one first. I would like to answer that one first. How does the sun Bluetooth heat into our stratosphere? How does that happen?
How does anything happen? How did somebody? Who was the first person that came up with?
I don't know.
Who thought of email? Who thought of anything? I don't know how anything works.
I think Hotmail maybe was the first email, and there's some people that still have it. And you go, okay, I'm never emailing you. I tell you that.
person's clown.
You have no idea what the world's like. You still have an iPhone 6 or something.
No, I got a new iPhone.
Well, I'm just saying we're talking about the same person to do Hotmail is that same person.
No.
So let's fucking go ahead and back off.
I got the Gmail app. Okay, I don't have the Hotmail app.
Wait, what? Forget it. But you're right. Every time we fly, how are we doing this?
Makes no sense.
The Wright brothers, I understand they were able to crash a plane down on a beach or whatever, and they're born in Ohio and everything like that.
Oh, yeah.
There's planes, though, that are the size of fucking buildings, and they're just somehow getting up and flying for 20 hours and then just coming down peacefully. How does that happen? How I guess there's some scientist going to come in there and go, well, the force, the up force with the air. There's like, all right, fuck. How does it work though? How does that even happen? How do we find out? It makes no sense how the world operates. You're right. So I guess we shouldn't just question just the rockets because everything else is insane. But it's only a matter of time before we're just kind of traveling out of this whole thermosphere, right? It's only a matter of time.
I guess so. So in this picture, does it show where Bezos was or where Richard Branson was?
So 35 kilometers, right, is what they said?
Yeah.
So he's below the, where you see that sounding rocket and the meteor. He's right below the meteor.
Okay.
He's right below the meteors.
What's a sounding rocket?
You know.
Is that the one that's over my house going, and you're like, what is up there?
I think so.
I think so, yeah.
Is there something up there?
So they didn't even scratch the surface.
We're
so
not fucking near space.
Why are we celebrating these
Oh,
guys?
way to go. You got the clouds.
No, I thought the 35 kilometers was the Baumgartner guy. I thought they got up to 350,000 feet. Bezos and them, which would be what? Closer to the 80-kilometer mark?
Good call. Good call.
So they were almost in the thermosphere.
How many miles is
350,000 feet?
All right, so 5,280.
I'm going to say 75.
66 miles up, it says.
Okay, so
no,
much lower.
they were not up there.
Yeah, they're much lower than what you were saying.
No, 66 miles is on the right
You
side.
led off with 90-80 is what you said.
66 miles on the right
But I'm
side.
just telling you, that's where you started. Look, I understand it's above the fucking line, but you started at Mars almost, I think. I'm not 100% sure. It looks like, they didn't even top the thermosphere.
I got answers.
All right, here we go. Are you going to address the car situation?
First, please.
Don't need to.
Please.
Bezos.
Hey, by the way, whoever's talking needs to pipe down about the DeGilios.
Yeah.
Hey,
Tread carefully.
I don't know if this is a good idea, Coach Diggs.
Yeah, they got a bocce team you do not want to run into because they will absolutely drop you.
Whoever's tailing coach, that's just a bad move.
It's a bad move?
Yeah.
Anyways, go ahead.
Bezos and crewmates will go 100,000 kilometers, and then Virgin went 86 kilometers.
So how many feet? 100,000 kilometers?
100 kilometers, sorry.
There it is.
Okay, I was going to say that's a wide discrepancy.
They hit Mars? Holy shit.
Branson. 100 for Bezos, 86 for Branson.
Oh, so Bezos was second, but one higher. Because he said, I can't wait to join the club. He'll say that he's the 100 kilometers club.
Yeah.
That's what he'll say. Yeah, he'll probably make a badge.
I'm sure he will.
And he'll walk right up to my wife and say, hey, you order something every single day. Thank you. This fucking badge is because of you. Thank you. Thank you,
You
Jeff.
paid for this.
Thank you, Jeffrey.
Why don't we send Felix back up in the balloon? See if we can, if that thing will fucking float to the moon and then have him jump off.
Well, the thing about Felix, a lot of people are looking forward to that. I guess this particular space trip by the space cowboy, Jeff Bezos, 170,000 people said, not keep him out there if he goes.
Hey, stay up there, Jeff. We don't want you back.
They wanted to shut the biodome. 170,000 people were calling for him to get up there and then for him to shut the door somehow and then to stay out there. 170,000 people, allegedly. That's alleged.
Are those all Amazon workers?
Probably workers and then also all the small businesses that potentially.
Yeah, that are getting eviscerated by Amazon.
I guess now though, what's the next step for these guys? For Bezos or Richard Branson?
I think Mars, right, has always been the goal.
Yeah. Or Moon. For them,
I mean,
if they're the first, just like citizen to go to the moon without NASA.
Commercial.
So they could be the
first commercial people there.
So
Spacewalk would be the next logical step here in the evolution. If you get out there, get outside the craft, take a little float around in orbit.
You're right.
Yeah, but that's not the ultimate goal.
No. That's
We're
just the
talking
next
about
step.
Endgame here.
Oh, the Endgame's Mars.
We're talking Endgame. Mars is Endgame, right?
Yeah.
Building a civilization that we can move to when the Earth
Who
dies.
said it? Paul Heyman said that if Mars is it habitable?
Yes.
If Mars is habitable, Vince McMahon will be up there trying to run a show up there. So is that what all these is? They're trying to get up there just to stake ownership, probably.
I think yeah, you can claim a goddamn continent up there if you want.
So you can go up there and you can be, hey, this right here, Bezos land.
Exactly.
Mine. Which one? Oh, it's half fucking Mars. Yeah.
No, wherever your eyes can see, that's mine.
So what you got to do? You got to go check in with them first whenever you get to Mars. Let's say my kid.
Yeah.
Shout out to Midas Michael.
That boy Midas.
Okay, and Axel. Axel and Midas Michael. All right, a little tag team space cowboy duo. They get up there, they're farting around.
Yeah.
Let's go to Mars. They stop there. Do they have to meet with somebody from Branson or Bezos's just to get a little piece of land? Like, are they going to have to okay everything? Is there going to be full negotiation? And what if it's no? Are Axel and Midas going to have to fucking turn around?
They'll probably have to be indentured servants. They'll have to work for like 4 years on his property, and then they'll get a little chunk.
Midas ain't doing it. You gonna let Axel go do it? You gonna let Axel do that?
No, Axel's not going to Mars, man. Right now, that's isn't that a year trip one way?
Well, Midas is probably going to live on Mars if I know anything about his parents. Okay, he's going to be high all the time, and I am going to fucking go after him. All right, I'm going to let him know that ain't the way to do it. All right, do as I say, not as I do.
You could have him stage a coup, because Bezos and Branson will be long dead by that point.
No, I don't think so. That's what I think. That's what I think.
You
they're
think
wrong.
they'll still be up there?
I think there's a chance people are going to live long into their hundreds if they're rich enough nowadays with how science is. Am I wrong in that?
They're going to be in a dome up there, and they're going to get into like little domes that just cure all illnesses immediately.
Elysium.
I saw a video, and I can't believe Vince doesn't have a rocket to go up yet. Vince
Probably
Total Recall.
Well, I saw a video of him squatting 315, the equivalent of 315 last week. Did you see that?
Vince McMahon?
Yes.
No, what do you mean the equivalent? Was it a human?
Yeah, it was a machine, but it was three plates on each side, and it got.
We have it. I would love to see it if we have it.
Okay, so if you listen to the video, and I followed up and asked his trainer because I actually saw his trainer in the building, and I was like, hey. That fucking video was awesome. And I was like, with that machine, what's that equivalent? I know 3 plates, like 350. He's like, about the same or whatever. I guess early he was not going down as far because somebody was telling him to maybe ease into it or something like that. And then he goes, well, how low can you go? And he fucking just goes all the way down and then goes all the way up with 315 at the age of 75 or whatever. And then he shows up at work the next night. Then he works through the night. Then he works through the night. And then he shows up at work the next night. Put that on repeat for 50 fucking years. He just keeps going. And then while I was talking to the trainer, and I was like, is that a personal record or anything? He was like, no, that's just another day. That's just another day for Vince McMahon. So Vince McMahon is hammering weights still at this age, just pounding in and out or whatever. I thought to myself, and it's been a rumor, that dude's never going to die. Vince McMahon is never going to die. Somehow, some way, Vince will be able to figure out how to go over death. Like somehow he'll be able to do it. No, this isn't the one. This is the Pit Shark. There's another one that they put out last week. He's got wraps around his knees, and the thing is on his back. You'll see.
I mean, that's awesome enough that he's wrapping his knees at 75 years old to squat.
Well,
wait till he's going past.
I mean, when people that wrap their knees are
there. It is
like big time bodybuilders. Yes,
yeah,
the hack squat machine. You have one in your office right now. You know that. Pat,
yeah, it's over there. I didn't know what the equivalent was though, weight wise. With because each machine is different. Look how deep that is.
How does he go that deep? Does he?
Look at how fucking deep he is. He's going out of the.
Imagine he would have a hip or knee replacement by now, right?
I probably. Who knows? He's Vince McMahon. And now you think about Vince and then you think about Jeff's trying to get to space and are these people? Are they not going to die? Like, and they know it? That's awesome because I'd like to know how that works.
I mean, if you do have that much money, I guess you do have the secret to longevity and success. So I'm sure they're tapped into it somehow.
Imagine Vince McMahon when he makes his first billion going, all right, you fuckers. Where's the immunity pill?
Yeah.
How do I live forever? And if that's a guy he'll drop. Hey, people say whatever they want to say about him. He'll drop into my ear in the middle of a show with something so brilliant and profound. I'm like, God damn, that's why he's a billionaire or whatever. And then I'll say something, and then he'll ask me a question immediately afterwards, and I'm like, oh, and that's why I'm not a billionaire. It's like, it's a pretty cool little thing. I've only seen him like 3 times, but I hear him
every week.
We have a one-way conversation for like 2 hours a week or whatever. You know, it's that. I hope that one day, AJ, we can ride your coattails to space. I hope one day you invest in something awesome enough that you find out or create something, the immunity pill. We are banking on you to kind of lead us to that promised land that the space cowboy who's cutting promos on everybody and Elon and Vince and everybody's at. So if you could do that for us, I'd be very thankful.
Hey, great. I'll see what I can do. I've told you on here before. I tell my kids, like, I don't plan on dying. Just because everybody else died doesn't mean I have to. So.
And by the way, that's the mindset that's going to get you $1 billion.
That's right.
Thank you.
It has nothing to do with money. No, it doesn't matter. Money doesn't matter.
Well,
all of them. Everyone's had tons and tons of money. None of them can find a way to chase away death.
Well, do you win because you're happy, or are you happy because you win? I think that mindset leads you to a successful life there.
Yeah, I don't know how to take that exactly, but yeah.
Yeah, I just put you in a pretzel, but you're going to be a billionaire, not me, so let's go ahead and talk about it. Do you have a house cleaner?
I do not. Why?
Okay, because my sources told me earlier.
Okay. I saw. Okay, yeah.
By the way,
I saw it. Your sources, Aaron, told you that he has never had his house deep cleaned, right?
Yeah, except for by his personal cleaner. Who, do you know? I assume you know that person or have seen that person?
I do not.
Yes, okay. All right. Okay. And then he said the country club renewal is something that happens. And once again, this is something I can't state enough. I am not a person who's good with information. You saw exactly how I handled that. I gave away my source immediately upon having a piece of information. Do you have any follow-up on anything I said? Did you text him and correct if I was right or wrong? Has anything happened this morning with you and Aaron? And how do you feel about this situation as of this morning with the announcement that there was a 2-year extendo that would have made him the highest paid player? He said no to. Any thoughts on any of that, AJ Hawk?
I mean, I don't have anything on the whole house cleaning situation, like whatever. I didn't, one way or the other, I don't think it matters. But with the Schefter thing that came out today, I mean, that has been known publicly that, yeah, the contract's not the issue. Like, that's been out there. That contract was offered a while ago, I believe. So, yeah, what's new?
Well,
a
lot of stuff.
Well, so what was it? How much was it?
Yeah.
Oh, I have no idea.
Come on, AJ.
Thought we knew.
You know.
Yeah, I know. I have no idea. I mean, haven't they said, though, on other tweets, like, it's been known that there has been a contract out there.
Yeah, it's an accumulation of information continuing, you know, and there is a re-break of some news, you know, on every day. But I think this is the first time we found out that it was a 2-year deal, which would have tied him there for 5 years, which now leads us to think like, okay, so that means they're quitting on Jordan Love. They want to move on from Jordan Love. It's like there's no real right answer.
Who knows what it looked like, though? It could easily have outs for that team after each year, basically, if they wanted to.
It could have been a terribly constructed contract, but that would not lead to further relations being good, which I guess it's kind of where we're at right now. So it might have been a terribly constructed contract for Aaron. They said it would be the highest paid player. What does that mean? What is that? Do we have any idea what that means? Is that per year? Is that actual numbers each year? Because, you know, some people's contracts are backloaded nowadays and there's a lot of money getting kicked down the road. How that wording of that is very interesting to me.
Yeah, it is. I guess all that would mean in the first year or first couple years, would he be highest, like, average per year if you got a big guarantee this year or something?
You just told us, I think.
Wow.
See, I told you guys. I could get some.
Yeah, you were saying.
He said there's no.
Maybe it was a great deal. Hey, maybe they offered him an unbelievable deal, and it's true that it's not about money. It's not about the contract. That could be the case too.
Hey, and if it's not about money, that means that the $6 million or whatever, or 20-some million, that means
don't mean shit.
Oh no, we got to get to a break. On the other side, we'll have a guy.
Nobody wants to give money back, though.
Well, not receiving money is different than giving money back.
Yes. Very, very different.
Very different. And it seems like that some people that are talking about this situation or other situations can't separate those two. It's like, yo, these are two very different things. When I see the money in account, a number changes in a app, much different than, oh, this money could be sitting here.
Yeah.
You know, that's much different.
You can't say losing. That's bugged me when people say, oh, he just lost $7 million. And I'm thinking, like, if you're talking about whoever, a player that didn't get the next year of their deal, like, no, they didn't. They didn't have that money. The money was never in until it's legit in their account. It's not their money. You can't count on that, especially as an athlete.
And until that money is in the account, we can't judge on whether or not they lost money, because what if what they do elsewhere leading up to that is worth more money? Then did they lose money or did they make money? That's what we do here.
Think about it.
We got to get to a break.
Who's Brent?
Host of Flying Coach, Pete Schrags.
Yeah.
Joins us on the other side. He will talk Rams at the running back position with Cam Akers tearing his Achilles. We hope he's okay. Speedy recovery there, pal, even though the Achilles is a nightmare. We'll also talk about maybe the Aaron Rodgers situation, what else he hears going on. Pete Schrager and more on the other side. This is the Pat McAfee Show. Now comes the time that I've been thinking about for my entire life. It's time to meet Vince McMahon.
Vince was not there.
Vince wasn't there. I know, this is a big deal.
Vince was not there last Friday.
Everything could be differently here in the next week or so.
This will be my first Friday with Vince McMahon.
And all anybody was saying is, can't wait to hear what he becomes whenever Vince is in his ear, when Vince is in his ear or whatever.
I think we now have to pretend that night one never even happened.
Vince McMahon is somebody who, if he was to say something to me, no matter how he says it, this is a self-made billionaire that turned something from a local situation to a worldwide phenomenon.
I'm a massive documentary fan. I enjoy the hell out of people that revolutionize the world. Getting a chance to have that moment with Vince McMahon is one of the main reasons why I was like, I have to do this.
Shit can change real quick when he is there.
I can't wait to meet him on Friday. How do we think that's going to go?
Awesome.
Does he know I exist, and how much does he know of me, do you think?
He has no idea who you are.
Yeah, that's good. All right, good. So I got a chance at first impression here.
Yeah.
Here we go.
The anticipation was building. I was nervous. Would I be starstruck? Would I choke on my words? Would he hate me and fire me? It finally came time to meet Mr. McMahon.
I think Vince is going to love you. I think he's going to love you from week one.
I have not been told that type of story from other people.
I think you're a lot like him. He's got a sense of humor. He's a heel in nature. I think that's going to help.
I've been watching documentaries. Firm handshake. So, that was awesome, obviously. Didn't fire me, okay? You know, he said he's excited to see it. It went really well, I think. It went well, huh?
Yeah, really well. In fact, when Vince puts someone over and makes fun of me, that means it went really well.
Which happened immediately, by the way. Immediately, Michael Cole was made fun of. I was complimented. Feels like we're on a good start here. I know I'm not supposed to say this. You don't like compliments, but you're a legend, dude. So, like, working with you is a reason why I said absolutely yes. And he laughed, and then he made fun of Cole. So I think it was a good go.
You went in for the handshake, just like you said you would, and he met you there.
Yeah.
Was it a firm grip?
Yeah, oh yeah. It was I was prepared.
And then he was taken a little by surprise when you went back in for a second time for the handshake.
I was a fist bump at the end. Yeah. I gave him a fist bump at the end, and he gave me one. I might be best friends with Vince McMahon soon. How about it, huh? I aced the test. I said, I know you don't like compliments, but I have to get this out of the way now. Thank you for the years of dedication for entertainment you've given me. Let's have a good time. Greatest television show in the history of television tonight. He said, sounds good to me. Maybe we'll be best friends. Now it's time for the show. Hey, let's get to the show, shall we?
This is the Pat McAfee Show on Sirius XM Mad Dog Sports Radio. We thank you for taking the time to seek out this small regional show that streams internationally. Here's Pat and the boys.
Welcome back to that show. AJ Hawk joining us. The Hammer Down boys are here. Everybody in Indianapolis is incredibly enthused and pumped about the person joining us right now via satellite. Yes. I don't know how AJ feels about it, but I'm excited about it, as are the boys here. AJ, how's Ohio? Excited for the next guest?
Oh, man, people, like during that break, I had people pounding my door down. They were so juiced.
Might have been Axel. I heard he does that every single day. That's why he might end up in space, but he ain't working for anybody else. Joining us now, a man who might have an inside information if he was to, in space and with everything happening in the NFL, ladies and gentlemen, Emmy-nominated host of Good Morning Football, also co-host of Flying Coach. The last episode airs mañana on Spotify, ladies and gentlemen, Peter Schrager.
Yeah, come on, Pete!
Hey, what are you doing? Drinking, Dahn, or are you playing a little flip cup?
A little red solo cup for you today on a wonderful Tuesday afternoon in New York.
Hey, you can flip that thing well or no?
Pretty good. Pretty good. A lot of training.
Really? What is what is the technique of choice? Are you a finger flipper? Are you a shoulder flipper? Are you a scooper and grabber with the other hand? What is your style?
Shoulder. That's a great point. It's all on the shoulder, and if you get the shoulder, you can really get it going. But I like being the anchor. I like being the one with all the pressure. Game on the line.
Nice.
Bring it to me. I'll do it. I'll finish the job.
You're a one flipper, yeah?
Oh, yeah. I mean, if I'm not doing one flip, it's a letdown, and it's a long, long night of thinking about how I could replay it in my head and could have gone about things differently.
I've always said Flip Cup is the best party game because the atmosphere is that of a sporting event. Everybody's involved, the electricity, the energy, and you can handicap it too just by putting more beer in your cup if you have better drinkers than the other team. It's the best game.
Can I give you a hot take, Pat? I'm actually not a fan. If you're at a big party, I'm not a fan of the Beirut beer pong situation. I feel like it is very isolating. It is something that's just for those four people. Now, look, if you're paired up with a female that you want to get to know better and you want to have some time, and that's a good opportunity for that. But for the general party atmosphere, those games go on forever.
I agree.
It's only those four people. Everyone's watching. I like the Flip Cup. I'm more of a let's all bring it in together.
I agree, Shrakes. And also, I mean, if you get caught with four bad players,
man,
you can't even watch. Like people will watch as a spectacle, you know.
Yeah,
maybe
it's something to do.
If it's something to do, but then you're ultimately going to find yourself. If there is a Flip Cup game and there are people pounding tables, I mean, it's just a much different vibe. I mean, I'm happy you're on our team, though, Shrakes. I would have never guessed that, by the way. I want to let you know that I would have pegged you as I have a great beer pong. I would have tagged you as that. Maybe a dice guy? You played the dice game ever?
Did do the dice. Look, quarters was a thing when I was in college.
You have a guy that rolled it off your nose?
Oh, yeah. Oh, those. I mean, it was oh, here we go. It's like the guy who takes out the acoustic guitar at the party.
All right. So thank you for joining us. And AJ, I think, agrees with everything we're saying. We're down-to-earth people here. And AJ, sorry about that. I think we cut you off 3 times in that whole thing. And that's another day for you, though, and I appreciate you being able to do that. Shregs, you probably played Flip Cup or beer pong or maybe even quarters with a guy who's a head coach of the Los Angeles Rams. That's why you guys are so tight. Last episode of Flying Coach comes out tomorrow. We're excited for it. But let's talk about the Rams. There's some breaking news going on right now. You had a breaking news as well. Cam Akers tears Achilles. You're reporting they're not necessarily interested. They like who's in their running back room already. Adrian Peterson's out there. There's some other names. What's the feel out of the Rams camp, you think?
Well, we spoke early this morning before the news went massive, and it was not the world is ending, the Rams are doomed, our offense can't run. It's a great feeling of anguish from the Rams building because they love that kid Cam Akers, and he was set to have a huge season. But this is not going to be, oh my God, we got to bring Todd Gurley or Le'Veon Bell or Adrian Peterson. And they think the running back room is fairly deep, and that the way this offense works, they're going to be okay. And they're going to be all right for now. Now, look, we have a whole training camp. Let's see. They can assess it. But this is not, hey, let's get in line and go bring in some veteran because we're worried we just lost our 30 carries from Cam Akers. I also think that this offensive game plan is going to be pass-focused more than just run-the-ball-focused. And Cam Akers was such a dynamic receiver out of the backfield. And what he did in the playoffs was take the ball under center a few times in that Wildcat against the Packers in that game, which was pretty exciting. He offers a lot as far as variety. He's not just, hey, run the ball 3 yards, cloud of dust. What he does is you can't really replicate it with a Gurley or a Le'Veon Bell or an Adrian Peterson at this point in their careers.
Shriggs, it seems like McVay is very, very excited about having Matthew Stafford there. Like, can you get a sense when you talk to him, when you do these podcasts, just does he feel? It seems like he's almost giddy, like, and he can't wait for the season to start and what he has.
Yeah, AJ, it's a term I had never heard before doing this podcast, and he's mentioned it about a dozen times. Above the neck. Is that a term you've ever heard? That the above the neck is through the roof. And listen, it's almost like a zero-sum game when he talks publicly about Stafford. When he says something good about Stafford, it's viewed as an insult to Jared Goff. That is not the case. He and Jared actually have a far better relationship right now than anyone would imagine. They're fine. And Sean has a lot of love for Jared. They got this rule. But what Stafford does pre-snap, during the plays, it's not even like they've had a chance to see it, the two of them out in action together. It's more what Sean sees on film in their conversations. So, yes, he's very excited about what Stafford does. His arm is as live as it's ever been. He's healthy. But it's the above-the-neck stuff, which, is a lot of the stuff they say about Rodgers when he was first, really finding his groove in the 2010, 2011, 2012 season. It's like what he can do pre-snap and what he sees, and with the shot clock at 5 seconds can make a play call and a design that's something that no one else can do because cerebrally he's so quick. Sean sees that in Stafford. Stafford is really good physically, really good mentally, and I think they're really excited to work together.
Did you hear what old Ward said up there in San Fran? That was fascinating to me. And did McVay hear that, what Ward said, cornerback who said, still Matt Stafford? I mean, what are we even talking about? And then I think he said, Jared Goff got them to the Super Bowl, and he's out of there. Yeah, his exact quote, shout out to Florio and Pro Football Talk for quoting this. He's the same quarterback who was on Detroit Lions, and they still didn't get to the playoffs. They had Megatron. All right, what was the problem over there in Detroit? Well, there's not enough time in the fucking day, pal, to get into that. But is Sean McVay, is he cognizant of any of this stuff that's going on? There's a lot of people that think Stafford is not good at football, and I am not one of them. I'm not one of them. I've always been I've watched the Lions games because we have a guy who's from Detroit, and if you're really friends with somebody, you want to watch their team so you could potentially, run at him, like that whole thing. But also I got a chance to meet Stafford at a wedding, and he was super cool. So I'm like, okay, this guy's cool. He's good. I think the world is going to be excited. Does McVay know about any of that or even care at all? Like, is he the type of guy who's like, wait till they see what Matthew, like, has that been something you've kind of sensed?
It's not, there's no like chip on the shoulder. It's you and me versus the world. And I would say that interview was actually done by a guy named Grant Cohn, who's a local San Francisco beat reporter, and kudos to him. He got Jimmy Ward for an hour and basically kept our show, Good Morning Football, afloat with those kind of quotes for a week when there was no other news. And Jimmy Ward, a lot of that stuff that he was saying at length was like, he was actually respectful of Stafford's game. He was like, I just don't get it. Like, I don't get why all of a sudden they're the Super Bowl favorite when we've beaten them 4 times in a row and Jared Goff took them to a Super Bowl. I respect that honesty. And from the Niners' point of view and their defense, McVay's offense hasn't been lights out. They held them to 20 points and 16 points last year when they were all injured. So what are we doing here? What are we oohing and eyeing about? And I think that's a big opinion amongst a lot of people. Now, does Sean hear it? Not directly, not necessarily, but he's aware of what's going on in the periphery, and I think Stafford is aware as well. It's not one of these things where they go to sleep with bulletin board material, put a picture of Jimmy Ward up on their mirror or anything, but they're aware it's happening, and I'm sure it's going to come up at some point in the pep talks in the August training camp sessions.
That's awesome. Can't wait to hear it. I'm excited for the world to see Matthew Stafford. I also enjoy that he's saying that. Now, San Fran played Detroit twice, I believe, since he's been there.
And who won?
Yeah, well, one of the games.
Yeah.
Detroit beat them, and then on that, I mean, it was just fascinating to hear.
Pat, whose wedding were you at with Stafford? I love playing the social game. Who was it? Let's do the connections, Kevin Bacon style.
No, I don't play those connections games, Shrek.
Really?
Go ahead, Ty. No, I don't play.
Wouldn't even name the player.
Shregs, I don't play those games. You hear me? I don't do that. No, yeah, Shregs.
I'm trying to connect your career and Stafford's. I want to see
it's
the
not a player.
diagram.
Don't worry. Hey, we don't need fucking Blues Clues here, pal. You hear me? Go ahead, Ty.
Triggs, with the report that Schefter released this morning, do you see any changes in the Aaron Rodgers situation, even though it wasn't really breaking news and it was just repackaged as breaking news? And also, I know you don't really do it, but who's going to be the guest on Flying Coach tomorrow?
No, look, it's news. Adam's got it. He's like, there's an offer, and he declined it. I think we all knew that the intention for Rodgers was never about money. He makes a ton of money, and it's not the way he seems to be guided. He certainly doesn't ever come off as a guy who needs more coin. But I think it goes back to what Aaron said all along and what he said with Kenny Mayne, which I think was the best, little insight with since this stuff came out at the draft from Aaron's side of it. And it was basically, it's a people business. And I don't feel like they're running things like an organization should. It's very corporate. And when you get between the draft and now, 2 quotes from the president, and one of them is saying that Aaron's situation has divided the fan base, and the other one saying complicated fella, it sheds a light on some of the stuff that Aaron might be alluding to. But yes, I don't think there's any number money-wise that he would say, okay, well, let's let bygones be bygones at this point. And I always defer to AJ Hawk on these situations when we're on this together, because I'm assuming and I'm reading between the lines and I'm going with what I know, but certainly Aaron's not driven by an extra $1 million or $2 at this point.
No, I don't think it. Yeah, he's made it clear from the beginning, hasn't he? That it's not about money, not about a new contract. I think you hit it right on, Tregs. Like, and if you listen to Mark Murphy, the comments that he has said publicly, and you actually think about it, you're like, yeah, this is what Aaron said, right? Like, this is
Shregs, you wouldn't do
relationship. That's all it is.
Shregs, you wouldn't do what we did though at the beginning of that, because Ty asked you a leading question, basically saying like, this isn't breaking news, like, right? We all agree, and you're like, it's a piece of news. You said it, I guess it is, but that's kind of been this entire story, right? And you and us and everybody has been like, AJ, what the hell's going on? And AJ's like, unless AJ is a better actor than some people that potentially were in the number one Hollywood box office.
I'm not that good.
I'm not saying LeBron. I'm saying other people in the movie too.
You better not be saying Don Cheadle.
Oh, I'm not talking about LeBron. Just know that.
Okay. Did you hear you talking about Don Cheadle?
No. I mean, there was a couple times he was holding something in his hand. He was staring at his wrist. I mean, it was just like, what
you
are we
talking about that traitor, John Cena?
No, all right, Shreg. Sorry, this has turned into this, but there has been no information on it, which is crazy because we're a week out. Teams are reporting right now. The Bucks are at the White House. Any early news or things we should look at as teams are on the training camp, Shregs? Anything you're hearing?
Well, the Bucks are at the White House. The Milwaukee Bucks are playing a Game 6 at home. The owner of the team is Aaron Rodgers. Does he show up? Does he make his face known? Does he get booed if he is?
Has to.
I mean, it would be a shame if a team that he's an owner of, that he was going to worthless regular season games for, he can't show up to Game 6 of the finals through fear of either A, taking the spotlight away from the team, or B, the reception by the scoreboard. I'm fascinated to see if he shows up. I have no insight on if he does, but tonight I could care less about the basketball. I want to see if Rodgers is there. Bakhtiari's had a nice little second career here as the beer chugger. Let's see if Rodgers is there.
Aaron doesn't want to get into Bakhtiari's.
Come on.
Hey, Aaron knows Bakhtiari is where the bread is buttered. Okay, he understands.
He's not going to be chugging beers, but Pat, if you owned an NBA team, wouldn't you want to be there if the confetti's falling and this is your team? Wouldn't you like to be able to say it's my hometown? This is Milwaukee. This is what I invested in. I would like to be there.
I wish I could make 7 straight putts to bury Phil Mickelson and Tom Brady as well. Aaron and I are much different human beings. As I think, you should view that as the same way as well. Go ahead, Connor.
Yeah, Pete, Benny Volen wrote an article in the Boston Globe that his...
I like Ben.
Yeah, me too. He's a good guy. That his sources are telling him that it's not a real QB competition with New Orleans and the Saints, and that they're going with Taysom Hill. Is that what you're hearing as well? And is this because of the fact that Jimmy Winston is throwing towels and dodging dogs, or no?
I'm always here for the Jimmy Winston workout video. No, Sean hasn't tipped his what's the he hasn't shown his card.
Yeah, there it is.
Tipped his hand on the starter. I think all this is conjecture until we get to week 1. He's the kind of guy that would say we're going with Taysom Hill, and then week 1 we don't see Taysom Hill under center 1. So I don't look, as much as they practice in training camp, this is Winston's 2nd season. Taysom's 5th, whatever it is. They're going to be good to go. They're both going to fully know the playbook, but I'd be very surprised if we don't see a bunch of both of them. And I'd be very surprised if it wasn't a competition at some point for that week 1 who's taking the first snap. I want to go back to, you mentioned the Flying Coach podcast. Can I give you guys some clues on who we got?
Yes, please. We'd like to know. Is it Sean? Did you find out who the starting quarterback for the Saints is tomorrow?
Here we go.
It's not Sean Payton. I'll just say it straight up. It's a guy that we've mentioned before. Mike Tomlin's joining us.
Are you serious?
He's amazing. We recorded it already.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to so we don't get into Cam Akers talk off the top of this thing. Mike Tomlin is incredible in this hour. I will tell you this. I implore everyone, tomorrow it goes live. Download this podcast. It's a combo. It's Mike Tomlin and it's Raheem Morris.
Here we go.
Who is now Sean's defensive coordinator. Tomlin and Morris worked together for 5 years in Tampa. They wanted to come on together and talk about coaching, talk about their journey. But I assure you this, whatever you want to say about the Steelers and the playoffs and how to go, if you listen to this podcast for an hour and you're a Steelers fan, you will want to run through a freaking wall for your head coach. He is that good, that dialed in, so much so that I went into this thinking, all right, Steelers, they're in a battle with the Browns and the Ravens. They're probably the third team heading into the season based on what – then I might be like, all right, Steelers going to the Super Bowl this year. This guy is so dialed in right now, and he is so good with, like, wisdom, because a lot of this is coaching wisdom. And I asked him, I'm like, in 2006 you were the defensive coordinator for 1 year for the Minnesota Vikings. Bill Cowher steps away. You walk into that interview room and you get the Pittsburgh Steelers head coaching job over Ken Wisenhunt, who had been there for years, over Russ Grimm, who had been there for years. How'd you do it? And his whole thing was like, I live every day with a nothing to lose attitude. Everything you have to do is in front of you in the day, and go and be carefree and just do it. And I said, there's 15 years. Like, how do you still find that motivation? And I think both of you guys will really appreciate this. And Pat, I know how close you are with Coach Pagano, and AJ, I know how close you are with your coaches. His thing is, a player's playing career is this small. And I know that every single day. And if I can go out there and extend that window or make the most out of that window and treat him with the respect that he's giving the game, like, that inspires me to get out of bed every morning. I've never once lost that competitive spirit. It's all about the players and maximizing their ability to make generational wealth, and maybe as a team coming together and having an amazing moment hoisting a Lombardi. Mike Tomlin might be our best interview yet. We did 10 of them. And if you're a Steelers fan, I swear, you want to run to Latrobe right now and just start doing up downs. It's that good.
Well, I just want to let you know that you just said 4 very cliche coaching things there as a preview for it. Does Tomlin loosen up? Does he get wide open? The reason why Raheem's on there, by the way, is because Tomlin was like, I don't know those motherfuckers.
Yeah, pretty much.
And I think that is why I love Tomlin so much. I've said this before. He is the reason why any scouts looked at me at my pro day. He led the workout for me at West Virginia because Bill Stewart, I think, gave him his first job at
William and Mary?
Yeah, William and Mary. Bill Stewart gave him his first job.
Or Central Arkansas. I know he was there for Arkansas State, one of those.
I think it was William and Mary, but they had a close relationship, and he put me through the entire workout, basically, field goal, and then I punted some afterwards, and he put it through there. And he was like Virginia military. There it is, VMI. There it is.
VMI. Yep.
Yeah. So he and William and Mary's where he played, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. So he put me through that workout though, and while I was doing things, he was hyping up what I was doing, like to the scouts, and talking shit to me at the same time. So it was like a cool thing, And he knew I was from Pittsburgh, I think, and Bill Stewart had given him a heads up, like, hey, you can talk, like, hey, you can. Pat likes that type. He has always been nothing but nice to me, and somebody that's from Pittsburgh, getting to see him work. I am so excited that you got a chance to chat with him because he never does interviews, Shregs, ever.
No, and the one quick story I'll tell, because I want you to listen. It's a lot of story time with him and Raheem, and going back to the early 2000s. But Raheem Morris gets married, invites basically all his coaching buddies, and Sean McVay's the youngest one there, and whatever, he's at the wedding, and he's a single guy, and Raheem and him were coaches in Washington together, and everyone's hanging out, and some kid, like a teenage kid, jumps in the deep end of the pool the day after the wedding when everyone's hanging out by the pool, and swims down to the end of the pool and comes all the way back without breathing. And Raheem Morris is looking around and is like, yeah, man, that is the way to do it. And Mike Tomlin's like, yeah. And his story about McVay is, here's McVay, and he's like, I can do it 2 times back and forth. And everyone's like, bullshit, you can't. But McVay is such a competitive, sick pup that he needs to do this move in the pool. Yeah. You know the move in the pool, you go and you just hold your breath the whole way.
Hold your nose, yeah.
Hold your nose. And so McVay's like, yes. So everyone starts talking it up, and it becomes this big thing where everyone around the pool is seeing, can McVay do it? And McVay's so fired up to do this at a wedding, the day after a wedding when they were all having a good time the night before. McVay goes back and forth, does it. He says, gets it out. He says their celebration was like they just won the Lombardi Trophy. The entire wedding party going nuts that McVay was able to do this. And everyone else at the resort is like, these people are crazy. But that's like Tomlin telling a story, and you never see that side of Mike Tomlin. I'm so happy he opened up with us on Flying Coach.
Yeah, we're lucky. I can't wait to hear it. Congrats to you on a hell of a season with Flying Coach, by the way. We hope it gets extended for another one. If not, I assume we would love to dump money into an operation of you and McVay interviewing people. We have loved it. It's really been the only show that we've stuck with that I think from outside of here really through this entire thing. It's been
It's
awesome.
a finite thing. We only wanted to do 10 episodes, so there's an end in sight. It's kind of nice. And likewise to you, Pat. I'm watching clips on Twitter. John Cena makes his great return, and you have the all-time greatest line, like any fan at home. Where?
You should, Shregs. There was about I guess 2 second, maybe a second long volleyball in my head of like, do I say it? Do I not say it? It's a big moment. Fuck it, where it's going. And I've watched it back a few times. It's
incredible.
It's a movie. I'm not supposed to be in. That's a video game situation. I'm
Doesn't
not supposed
it feel
to be
that way?
Yeah,
I think we all can feel that way about life sometimes, and you've earned it, my friend. And it's entertaining the rest of us. So keep it going.
Well, I appreciate that. My dumbass life hopefully will be able to do that forever, which is what we talked about earlier, ladies and gentlemen. Peter Schrager, thank you. That's gonna be good. I do like the Tomlin. I don't know that guy that swam. I remember him. Yeah, I don't know Schrager. Will you go on with me? Fuck, I'll go on. I love Tomlin, man. He is. I don't even put in like a request for an interview with him, by the way, because it's just like known. Like, hey, he doesn't fuck around and do interviews. Like that's just not what he does. I've heard he is loved in the locker room. Loved in there.
Guys are. They don't want to play for anybody else. Once they play for Tomlin, they don't even want to know what it's like in.
Boz told me a story. Boz was going through it a little bit in practice. And Tomlin went over. He said, "Hey man, I love you, dude, but we gotta start making some fucking kicks. There's some guys out there that are legends. If Janikowski gets available, I'm gonna have to fucking cut you." Imagine Vinatieri, Boz. I'm sorry, and Boz it motivated him. Hour 2 is done on Sirius XM. We're back in 6 minutes, I guess, on that. But that Tomlin, dude. Like every Tomlin story I hear, I'm like, this guy's the fucking best. I've heard there's been a couple situations where maybe there's, because to get active, practice squad to get active, there's swings there that happen. Players get cut, people are there. There's some guys that are on practice squad for like 2 straight years and don't get activated, and somebody who's got brought in a week before that gets activated because the whole thing. I guess there is situations where there's a spot that is available and there's clearly 2 guys. Like, how do you earn it? Like I've heard he runs an incredible building over there. He told me he was going to get me when I was old and cheap. Mm-hmm. That's what he said. I'm going to get you when you're old and cheap. I'm going to bring you back home. And I'm like, I ain't ever going to be cheap. I just want to let you know that, Mike Tomlin. But now I'm at the point where maybe 5 years from now, at that point, maybe we have a conversation. I'll be 39, not a lot of kicks on the legs. Maybe the knees have held up. I'll be able to go for at least another 4 or 5 years.
One last run.
Maybe they put a dome. Tomlin put a dome. Maybe I built my own dome on that thing.
Might as well.
Maybe put my own dome on top of that thing, Who knows what's going to happen? I'll hit a scratch off tonight.
Boom.
Dome tomorrow.
Who says no?
Is Powerball still happening? I haven't heard about it in a while.
I think so.
Yeah, it's still going. Let's see what's that.
I'm going to try to win a couple of the hammered down rollovers.
Yeah.
Somebody won. The most recent one is obviously a teenager who's underage. We cannot send money to. They have sent us 4 different names with 2 different social security numbers. So I can't do it.
Sorry, pal.
It's a hammered down rollover or something. You guys, it's awesome. It's an awesome giveaway. It's a fun thing. 10. You have to hit 10 bet parlay, right?
Yes, sir.
It gets big. Money gets big. Like 2,000, 3,000,
It's up to $12.50 today. People very grateful, like when they win yours too.
Yeah, very grateful. Sure. This one, it got real big this winter. Like, I think we're pumped for him to win. And now getting him the money has been impossible. It's like, oh, you're not of age. Like, you can't.
Sorry.
We can't send a 12-year-old fucking $1,200.
Can't do it.
Sorry.
Send his dad's. Tell him to send his dad's info in then.
Well, that's what we thought, but he sent, this dude has given us literally 2 different social security numbers, 2 different names, the whole thing. It's been a wild time, dude. Giving away money is not easy.
Nope. You would think it would be much easier than it is for you, right?
It's a problem. Yeah, people get mad.
You get a money gun. I saw online, get one of those money guns, just shoot cash at people.
Well, yeah, maybe, Bezos can stop fucking around with space and give me a money cannon.
Come on.
So we can just shoot it to
Or
places.
let us send money on Amazon or something. Figure that out.
How is that not something I can just do this?
Oh, thank you.
So, like, you remember you used to be able to share a contact? You remember that was created?
Yeah.
It was called the bump share, and you used to hit it in your phone with vibrating.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, look
It was
at that.
awesome.
It's so cool. Why can't I just do that with money? Boom.
Because Bezos is too busy looking at pictures of Peter North's penis and making his rocket in the same likeness.
All right, we'll be back. We'll be back in 3 minutes. What was that, AJ?
Nothing. Caught me by surprise.
Yeah. I mean, maybe. We don't know.
Can't dispute it.
Richest guy on earth. What would you do? I guess that's what Jeff says he'll do. All right.
One of the guys, I think it was Jacksonville, actually, and everything happens with Jacksonville, it seems like, but I think one of their defensive linemen were running out to kick a field goal, and the defensive lineman kind of like cuts in between Pat and I and kind of like shoves me, kind of gives me like a out of the way, you know, and Pat blew up on this dude. What? You're mine, you know, explicit, you know, and the guy's like, what? You talking to me? And like, oh. Again, too many explicits to get into, and it's probably not appropriate, but he went off on this guy. And I'm like, dude, that guy's bigger than both of us combined. What are you doing? He's like, man, ain't nobody going to touch you like that. And I was like, hey, man, I appreciate it. Bang the field goal. I think Pat was probably giving some fingers to him as he's walking off and stuff. And I tell you, it's just so many little stories and fun things like that you half forget until somebody mentions it and you're like, oh, yeah, I remember that. So, yeah,
That opening kickoff in that Super Bowl you're referring to with the Colts, Hester takes to the crib. You having a little bit of a heart attack there?
Very bad decision, Pat, on my part. All week up in Indy, we're practicing, and we know he's their number one threat. They don't have a lot of offensive weaponry. They win with defense and special team. So for the whole week, we're in Indy. We're not going to let him touch the ball. We practice squibbing to the corners, bouncing the ball, high kick, pop-up kickoff, punt it out of bounds, everything to not let him touch the ball. We have a chapel service, and the chaplain talks about David and Goliath, and he says, hey, the reason David beat Goliath, he wasn't afraid. Everybody else was afraid. David ran right at him, threw it right between the eyes, and it was over. And I started thinking, we're acting like we're afraid of Devin Hester. So I told the team on Saturday night, I hope we lose the toss. We're going to kick off. We're going to kick it right down the middle. When we pound him, they'll know we mean business. It's going to be over. We kicked it to him. 12 seconds later, he's in the other end. He's looking at me saying, what idiot decided to kick the ball to Devin Hester? But fortunately, the last 59 minutes, the team made up for it.
Wait until they see the tone we set on the opening kickoff.
Yeah, that was it.
I bet you Vinatieri was sitting there.
I don't know if that's such a good idea.
The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we can talk about. Yes,
speaking his mind.
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
While being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Hello, welcome back. Hour 3 here on this Tuesday, July 20th, 2021, years after zero. Hammer Down Boys, AJ Hawk here, quite an hour ahead. Shout out to Twine for that beat drop. Let's get right into it. We're probably going to get canceled for how Ty described Bezos' rocket.
Yeah. What do you mean?
In his off the rocket hobbies that he's been into since retiring or stepping down at Amazon. So since we're still live on youtube.com/The Pat McAfee Show and on SiriusXM channel 82 Mad Dog Sports Radio, I want to thank everybody for listening and watching. AJ, how you doing, pal?
I'm doing great, but why do you think he'd get canceled? For what did he say about Bezos?
See, you are the fucking worst.
You heard what he said.
All right, you were there for the whole thing. Now you want us to repeat it just like earlier. Hey, Diggs, what's going on? And it's just unbelievable.
I do think it's very responsible of Diggs to turn down a beer because he's riding shotgun home. That's very responsible.
All right, let's get some phone calls here on the 5-hour NG phone lines. All right.
AJ, I was wondering how he felt about Triggs jumping in the pool while clogging his nose because he co-signed off on that.
I did enjoy that. And how about Triggs? I'm excited for the Tomlin interview tomorrow with Raheem. The Tomlin I'm worried because what Shreg just told us was like 3 cliches back to back to back. And I was like, all right, so is Tomlin open or not? You know, and I know that Schrager finds those stories awesome, and I'm sure they are. But as somebody who's been around a lot of football people on a regular basis, I'm like, okay, that was not a real answer. That was not a real answer. Is there a time where you were thinking the same thing, though? You were thinking the same thing, you?
I wasn't going to be as upfront, and you just told Shregs right to his face, yes, those are all cliches, but I did.
I love Shregs. I love Shregs.
It made me think like, hey, Tomlin cares about his players. That's all I took from it.
Yeah, and Schrager's awesome, and he might view something differently than we do. I mean, Good Morning Football in the shows.
We are probably pretty jaded on certain football topics, right?
Bingo. And it's because you much longer than I, obviously, but still every single day whenever you're hearing the same stuff. And cliches are a cliche for a reason because they're right. You know, like that is something that happens. But Tomlin is beloved, I think, by everybody that's ever played for him and everything like that because of how he actually is the guy is an incredible speaker. He is an incredible shit talker. He's an incredible motivator. He's incredibly professional when he has to be. He handles business, and he loves football. So I assume we're going to see a lot of that tomorrow, or hear a lot of that tomorrow on Flying Coach. I'm pumped for him. Is he doing the media rounds, though? Is now the time I should send my shot?
Ooh, might be. If he just did one, too.
Should I send my shot out?
When do they go to camp, though?
Tomorrow.
Might have the bug.
Nah, I can't. Too close.
They go to camp tomorrow?
Yeah. I think.
Oh, yeah, no chance.
No chance. Yeah, it's over. 6 months. All right, we'll try next offseason.
Maybe next year.
Try next offseason. You know, it's like in jail you have that one call. Everybody talks about it. You never expect to actually have it. The only number I remembered was my dad, so I called my dad. He then told me he had found out about it like hours beforehand on TMZ and everything like it. It was a bad call. It was a bad call. Mm-hmm. He also didn't hang up on me, but they wanted him to pay money to continue to talk to me. It sounded like he hung up on me on my side. I mean, it was that whole thing. I feel like I only have like one call to Tomlin. You know, like I have his information, so I don't want to
waste it.
I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want to like blow it. You know, I feel like that's that one thing. And if he was going to
sometimes though, sorry to cut you off, but sometimes I think you'd be surprised. He might be thinking like, hey man, why have you asked me to come on the show yet, Pat? Like that's happened, I'm sure, a lot.
I doubt it. I honestly don't.
I don't know. If Tomlin was going to do like a long form interview, obviously he did the Shregs thing with Raheem. This would be the platform with you because he would have a great time and he would give real answers.
And pretty big in Pittsburgh, I think the show is, which is why the COVID Cowboy situation is such a big one.
Yeah.
You know, especially after that thing.
The last time he saw you in person, there was he gave you the biggest hug of all time and loves you.
Yeah, full dap. Yeah, but I think he's like so football guy. Like I don't think he's watching a lot of our shit. You know, allegedly he just goes into his office and just watches film. Like he just.
Well, how old are his kids?
True.
Kids.
I would assume his kids are fans of you.
So that happened at a very high. I have one of the most hilarious conversations I've had in some time tomorrow.
Here we go.
I mean, it's not somebody that has been to space, I don't think, but it's damn near. I think.
Really?
Well,
there's a COO in the title of the person I'm speaking at tomorrow at a very, 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 very big place.
Get out of here.
Yeah, it might make this show a lot better.
Really?
The place we're all thinking of, or the other place?
No, well, it's not a place. Is it necessarily a destination? Maybe.
Oh,
is it going to happen at a pool party? The talk?
Oh,
so it's not Bill Gates.
Steve Ballmer is coming to the office tomorrow.
There will be no thigh grabs.
Okay.
There will be no thigh grabs. It's big though. I just remembered it, literally as we speak here. I just remembered. But Tomlin on Flying Coach will be a lot of fun. Let's talk about some other news going on. Deshaun Watson has liked a tweet that was asking him to like a tweet if he's playing this year.
Whoa.
So this is big deal out of the Deshaun Watson camp, and we'll dive into this because there are layers here. So he liked a tweet from Damien. Yo, at Deshaun Watson, you playing this season? I've had you as my fantasy quarterback since 2017. Like this tweet if you playing this year. Don't want to
waste a pick.
Are my eyes getting worse?
That's tough to read.
That's small.
Definitely.
I mean, you're closer to the TV than I am.
There it is.
Okay.
Well, definitely not getting better. I promise you that.
Well, I did get LASIK, though, and I think I'm on the tail end of that thing. They're going to have to take a laser back to my eyes. But Deshaun Watson likes a tweet that's saying he's playing this year. This is big news because Ian Rappaport last week, whenever he was on, was talking about how teams
But it's really not, though.
Okay. All right.
It's not up to him. Yes, of course he plans on playing this year, but is it up to him?
All right, so let me lead into this. Ian Rappaport last week said that teams are still interested. David Mulugeta is posting him working out with two young potential faces of the NFL. David Mulugeta is a great businessman. I don't know why he'd be associating Jordan Love and Justin Fields with Deshaun Watson just because they're all represented. I think all signs are indicating Deshaun, his agent, and now Rappaport as an insider, and we'll talk to him, I assume, at some point this week to see what a follow-up. Is this get 20-some allegations, right?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
There's
in multiple states.
There's no way Roger Goodell in 2021, after things that have happened in the past with decisions that have been made in punishment-wise, with 20-some different cases across the country, there's no way he's allowed back on the field if this isn't settled, and there's no way this gets handled. We want full justice, by the way. Either way, we stand on that. This is just a football topic because he is a very good quarterback on the field. We're trying to find out, I guess, the law, and everybody's trying to find out if he's an absolute scumbag off the field. If he is, full justice. If not, I guess he's playing and he's back in this thing, and we're, 3 weeks away? I don't know how that happens, to your point that you were alluding to earlier, AJ.
Well, I mean, I guess it is news because as you were talking, it got me thinking, like, well, of course, Deshaun and his agent must feel pretty good about their side and what they're doing, what they're presenting to the league if they're talking to them. We have not heard from the lawyers on either side over the last couple of weeks, have we?
No, Busby's been awfully quiet.
Yeah, quiet on
Radio
all fronts.
silent.
So they must feel pretty good about what's going on, I guess.
I think that's the conversation that we have had both off air with this type of thing and on air whenever something happens. Is there must be something happening behind the scenes that none of us know about. Because if you just look at it from a high level, okay, let's go corporate speak.
Okay, here we go.
If you look at it from a high level, you have to think there's no way this person's playing football because there is something much more important that is getting handled and settled that is devastating news that is the allegations are not great. They're terrible. They're from all over. I don't know how that would get handled in such a short amount of time. There's shit that takes like years and years to handle, right? I mean, it's just maybe something is popping off behind the scenes and it'll just drop out of nowhere maybe. I guess you got to keep an eye on like maybe a Friday, this type of thing. But I don't... Something has to be happening, right, in that situation?
Well, you would think, but also then you like stack on top. Hasn't he still been insistent that like I'm not playing for the Texans? So like when does that come in? Like, are they going to try to move him so that he can play elsewhere? It's almost impossible to imagine with how many accusations there are that he wouldn't be play because we looked at it. He's not on the commissioner's exempt list as of right now, right?
I don't know.
I don't think he is. So, I mean, you would think that...
So they still have his salary then on... Because commissioner's exemption list takes his salary out of the salary cap. He's kind of like in a purgatory type thing before a punishment is given. He's not on the exemption list?
I thought we looked at it
There's two articles from a day ago that said, could NFL place Deshaun Watson on the list? And this one says, analysts believes NFL will place Deshaun Watson.
I would like to add another internet show thought he was already on the exemption list because this is what the exemption list is for, right? I mean, this is literally what it is.
There's just no reason yet. I guess there's probably no reason until they start camp to put him on that list, though. Why the rush? Maybe.
Well, I'd assume from the NFL, you'd be like, all right, we understand something's going on. Let's let this get it was created because of situations, right? Right? Wasn't this what it was created for?
I would imagine the league has a bunch of questions too, and they're trying to figure out what their next step is. So yeah, it is. I guess it would be surprising he's not there, but I would assume when camp starts, they would put him on there if things aren't resolved.
And is it only a season thing? Is the off season? Is there no commissioner's exemption list? Because that's not where no checks are coming then anyway. All of it seems like there is so much, and it's so complicated, and so that's real world. Terrible shit that is happening in the sports world. I don't know how that... He liked it, though. He said, yeah, Mulugeta showed him working out. Rappaport said teams are still interested. It's like, how? Okay, so that's player, agent, league, all saying this is happening. What do they know that we don't, AJ? There has to be something. If it's nothing... That is going to be a massive conversation that there's no way the NFL can let happen.
And you'd think that he would be staying off social media for situations like this where it's like, hey, Deshaun, let's not be liking anything. Let's not be posting Instagrams of you working out, playing football.
Hey, Deshaun can do whatever the fuck he wants. I want to, because if these are all false allegations.
That's what I mean, yeah.
Deshaun is the victim here.
Yes.
Right? That has to be remembered. If these are false accusations, Deshaun is the victim here. So there was a guy who was in the Army, played for the Colts. He got falsely accused of, I believe, I don't know what it was. It was something in this thing. He got put on the exemption list. He was a special teamer, taken off our team, obviously. Went to court, thought he was doing this whole thing. It was a false allegation. So he ends up innocent, jury, the whole thing. Doesn't get reported, never comes back to the league. And then there was a follow-up that said, and I understand the message. We don't want other victims to not come out because he was found innocent and everything like that. And because Josh did a lot for special teams and for me, like I was like, well, he's actually the victim in this situation. Like I know that this is a very serious topic. It is very real. I hate that this happens. We need to stop it, obviously, as a society. But false allegations that completely kicked him out of the league. Like that guy is out of the league forever. His life is much different. It's like if Deshaun didn't do all this, then he does have a right to do that whole thing and feel the way he does. But man, when there's 20-some, it's hard not to be like, feels like there has to be something here, right?
Well, and also, like, we got so much information about this early, and then it just kind of stopped. We didn't hear anything else. We haven't for weeks now. Like, you would assume that something of this serious and, like, this many allegations, that it wouldn't just be tied up neatly in, the next 2 to 3 weeks when we haven't heard anything about it for months.
Jeez.
But Albert Breer a week ago said he thinks Watson will play too, just didn't think week 1. But if he's not playing week 1, like,
so
where's he going to get traded to in the middle of the season?
Forget the trade. If he's not playing week 1, what does that mean? That means he's getting suspended for doing something wrong. And if he's getting suspended for doing something wrong, is he ever just going to come back? Especially in this particular world, he can't.
If he's getting suspended for doing something wrong, then where there's smoke, there's fire with this stuff. And he's probably done.
And there's no amount of games that you can suspend to make up for it.
Rodgers can do whatever he wants. There's no outline. Rodgers can do whatever he wants, whatever he feels like is right. But the toughest thing about any situation like this, it's just one person's word against the other. So I don't think there's witnesses in any of these situations, are there?
I don't know. I don't know enough about the other.
So it's like, how do you ever? Yeah, it's like, hey, who do you believe? What's going on? And when you hear there's multiple accusers, it makes it tough.
I just don't know how. And if it happens, I guess we'll cover. Have to. Hey, this show is going to cover it.
Right.
All right. We're going to cover what happens as things happen, but we don't understand how anything could happen in the amount of time that it would have to happen for play to happen.
Yeah.
Within the next 2 weeks, if it really is.
But others seem to think there is. So are we the Stooges? It seems like we are often, when people think we're dumb, more often than not, we're kind of potentially onto something.
Yeah. Maybe it's happening soon. The Eagles are waiting. They're watching. They're ready to make the offer.
Yeah, or maybe it's not.
Yeah, or maybe he'll never play again.
Wouldn't the only way be if he did settle with over 20 people? And then you could talk about what the league may or may not do?
Yeah, and then
or if they all just said no, if they all said we made this up, this isn't true. I guess
that's
the only other way.
That's what would have to happen, right? And
what are the odds that 20-some people do that?
Well, and then what if just 2 out of that's still an entire. Cosby was on trial for 3 years?
Yep. Yeah.
Or something like that.
And wasn't that the whole thing for Watson? Was that he would settle as long as the girls could come out and talk about it, but they wanted to settle so that they couldn't talk about it?
Yeah, his lawyer was pitching for the non-confidentiality, muffle or whatever, and allegedly the
Busby
was asking for everybody to be muted afterwards.
Nobody could talk about it.
And that made no sense to me at all. I thought that was a play. I thought that was a potential play for narrative reasons from his, but I don't
get that at all. We need a lawyer to call in that's dealt with stuff like this and see, why would you do that? You would think it's the other way around.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm not a good reader.
No.
So when I saw that statement, I read it like 7 times. I thought I was.
Wait a minute.
I was like, am I fucking reading this wrong? I don't understand. We will not settle, especially under these terms. I think is because we would like everybody to be able to speak afterwards.
Yes.
And it was like, okay, which immediately made me think like, all right, so Deshaun feels
okay. So he thinks like, hey, if you would just take a guess, don't you think the lawyer says, I want them to be able to speak because they're going to get asked a bunch of questions by reporters if they have to do anything like in interviews, and he wants them to be able to tell their story because he probably thinks it doesn't hold up.
Yeah, but
But if it doesn't hold up, then they would probably get that out in court. Whereas, like, he would be able to
You
question.
can't go to
people.
trial with 20-some people. Though. Are you going to go into 20 different trials?
have you ever seen Find Me Guilty with Vin Diesel? He had hair in it.
I have not even heard of that.
Okay, so they did go to trial with the entire family. I think it was like 30-some people were on trial one time. This case, I think they actually may be.
I mean, we're going to get a lot of. I mean,
No, they
eventually,
can't, right? It would have to be each individual.
Especially if they're from multiple different states.
Yeah, because the
Doesn't that
RICO
change?
thing is a little bit different than
Right.
Yeah.
this particular. Oh, wow. There's no way.
But still, yeah.
That's a lot of stuff to get sorted in the next 2-3 weeks.
We want justice to be served whichever way it goes, but
I guess they could also be operating under the idea that he's not going to go to training camp no matter what. We just need to get this done before the first week of the season.
it's still what? How many days?
51 days till the start of the NFL season.
You've kind of died off on that.
What?
You were much louder early on.
How? Are you kidding me? I mean, we're hitting a lull for sure, but we have not died off on that.
Let's just make sure we give a little energy to this thing. You're down to almost the 40s.
I
and
didn't
you're
even hear what he said.
Yeah, big. How about his socials? Just tweeting out the number. Nobody wants to see you.
I
Fucking
didn't just tweet out the number.
Yeah, you have.
No, not. I've never once only tweeted a number.
Okay, you've spiced it up with a couple other words, but
Yeah,
there's
here and there.
There was full video announcements.
Screaming music. It was
there-
awesome.
There was like full thought out things
Yeah.
going on.
Yeah,
I used to get excited, by the way. I'd see it. I'm like, oh, the Connor Carnival for football coming
there
back.
still are.
I was so happy. And now it's just like, hey, just a heads up. This is a memo.
Oh, no.
51 days.
No. Believe me, I got something big planned tomorrow. Hopefully.
So every 10 days.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's always a big one when you change from the 50s to the 40s. But I'm really hoping that someone comes through for me tomorrow. Perhaps he is listening right now to help me with the announcement.
Well, the thing about, I don't know what that is. I'm excited to see that not pan out. But what do you have? 50?
Well, tomorrow is 50 days, so I'm hoping that the most famous number 50 in the history of the National Football League might help me out.
Yeah, Ryan Shazier.
He's a hell of a player.
Thank you, Ryan.
I think he was talking about this particular guy.
Yeah, I was talking about that guy.
What do you need me to do, Connor?
We'll talk about it later, Artie. That's a yes, though. Thank you, AJ.
Well, I'm happy you're thinking about it because at one point I was excited to wake up to see your shit. Now it's just kind of a drool scroll.
What?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Everybody's saying it.
All right, I'll step up my game.
Please.
There's only one way for that to happen, and that's for you guys to notify me. Hey, step up your game.
Well, it's not step up your game. It's just we need some effort. There's
energy.
I was looking forward to that every morning I woke up because I'd scan the internet. I'm like, oh, cool. There's nothing for us to fucking talk about today. I need something. Let me find it. Normally I go to Connor going,
So you want me to do? I can't do that every time, or else that becomes, well, you're only doing the same thing every single time.
No, obviously. I'm just saying, like that was what we were expecting every single day. Some type of juice. Now it's just, hey, good morning, dude. 50 days left.
Stone
It's like,
Cold
do
did
you
it
even care?
yesterday.
Is this the NBA? What is this? The NBA?
The
Is this the
pinnacle,
MLB?
dude.
Are you counting down the MLB?
The pinnacle of the NBA season's tonight.
You're acting
no
like
one cares.
You're acting like it's goddamn Copa Cup, dude.
No, this is concave all over.
This isn't the Gold Cup.
No, it's the concave championship.
Guadalupe's going tonight. Look out, my friends.
All right, let's talk about soccer. Our team's going to win, even though it's our B team. That is a new stamp of what we are in the soccer world.
This is very good for U.S. because all their younger players are getting to play a lot of minutes. So going forward, I think this is awesome for their squad.
Yeah, get some caps, you know what I mean?
Hell
Get
yeah.
some jitters out, maybe some big wins too, just dominating our half of the hemisphere like we have been doing since the CONCACAF has arrived. My biggest thing about soccer, though, is very tough to watch again.
Oh, boy. It's
you know
boring.
what I mean? Very tough to watch.
The Gold Cup has been littered with goals.
Yeah, why nothing 22nd?
3-3, there was a game. I mean, there's goals
Yeah, but if
littered
the
through
U.S.
Gold
isn't
Cup.
playing, I'm not watching Martinique and the Caribbean go to a 3-3
Well,
draw. I
hold
just
the
won't
line.
do it.
Hey.
Hey, listen, that's time.
I mean, do not take shots at Martinique, my friend.
Okay, I won't take any shots at Martinique. We beat the fuck out of them in soccer. The United States. Shout out to I think I've been there too. It's a beautiful place.
Beautiful.
We're just talking about the sport here. Let's keep this thing professional, all right? Let's not what you did over there.
Well, hey, don't act like you don't agree with me.
Well,
all right, hey, know what? Sounds good. I can't wait to call you tonight when you're watching Cuba and Martinique or whoever the hell he said playing.
It's Guadalupe and Suriname.
Yeah,
Good
Guadalupe
Lord.
and Suriname. Let me know how enjoyable that game is tonight when you get home and watch it.
Disrespect.
You watch that? Is that on the internet?
Tough to listen to.
Is that on the internet? There's a
Like,
live
you have to
feed,
illegally
dude.
stream it?
Fox Sports won, dude. Every game.
They replayed USA and Canada last night, and I happened to turn it on. It was already in the 3rd minute, and I knew there was nothing that was going to happen for
Missed
the
the
next
game.
87 minutes because there was a goal in the first 20 seconds, and then nothing happened forever. But the biggest story in soccer right now isn't that the American D team is about to win another tournament for us, and we're going to clean sweep the CONCACAF Cup, which is
Boom.
we're the only champions of all time.
Yeah.
Then we're going to go in the Gold Cup. We're not invited to the Olympics, but the Olympics might get canceled. Then we're going to win the fucking World Cup, and then we're going to put everybody on notice, including everybody in that Europe's tournament. But what we need to understand is when the Europe's was going on, and we're kind of getting like
No.
yeah, we're getting misled with a sleight of hand. Like, hey, Europe's is awesome.
Here.
Europe's is awesome. What we found out from watching late night television basically is there was another soccer tournament going on down here. And I know that this tournament was bigger than the Europe's, not because my eyes told me and it was a much better brand of soccer and everything like that, but because Instagram likes told me that what Argentina and Messi did down there in Brazil in front of no fans at all, by the way, most liked thing of all time on Instagram. Wow! I've been saying this since the first time I seen this particular Copa Cup go down at night while we were being told that the Europe's was the best tournament on earth. I saw Neymar slice and dice 4 people and go for it, then take 4 plays off.
Yeah.
He just took 4 plays off. He just stood there. The other team got a little bit of swing and momentum, and now they're up a man strictly because Neymar was chilling. Yeah. And in the Europes, there was none of that. There was no risks being taken. There was nothing. So the Copa was just electrifying.
Yeah.
There was flopping and diving and shooting and running and grinding, all that shit. It was awesome. Cristiano Ronaldo sticks around a little bit longer in the Europes. Maybe we get a little bit more attack, but the Europes was a lot of, hey, strategic defense.
That's right. Park the bus.
Down there in Copa, it was, hey, flying around. Instagram told us it was the most liked thing of all time. 20,866,671 likes. At the moment, it broke the Instagram record for most liked sports photo of all time. Messi in the Copa Cup or whatever the fuck it is. I mean, that thing was awesome. That tournament was awesome. Congrats to Instagram having at least that many people on their platform liking one photo.
Yeah.
The algorithm behind the scenes is doing a great job. But also to Messi for finally getting, that monkey off his back.
Congrats, Lionel.
And Argentina, happy for him. AJ, I know you watched this tournament diligently. Did you like this photo?
Yeah, I definitely like that photo. I think, but I think I've gone multiple years without seeing a live goal scored in soccer. Because I luckily I was texting Gump when I saw England playing. And I saw a live goal. I was like, man, this is the first one since like '99 probably I've seen on TV that wasn't a replay of a highlight.
Who was that? Alexi Lawless or Colby Jones scoring down
those
there?
are my guys. Andy Donovan. Those are the guys where I watch soccer.
Hey, Tony Miola was fun.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, when Tony Miola does a
Jackson.
backflip back here, oh man, he's talking about it. Gumpy.
NFL kicker Tony Mioli.
Yeah, he tried. He tried.
What happened? Did he get it done or?
Well, yeah, you kick a soccer ball. It's the exact same as kicking a football. These fucking soccer students.
So he couldn't get it done.
It's much different. I mean, it's just a completely different world. You take. I'm not going to say it.
Since Italy didn't answer the call on USA, can we go down to Argentina and kick Messi in the shins and grab that cup too?
Hey, we'd like the Gold Cup. We decided. Is that what it is? No, the Copa Cup.
We like the Copa Cup.
We like the Copa Cup, and then once we completely dominate the left hemisphere, maybe the Europes and Italy will finally say, you know what? Let's go ahead and go trophy for trophies. We'll put up the Copa and the CONCACAF and the gold.
Yeah, 3-on-1. Boom.
Pink slips, dude.
Just over a year till we get to see it.
No. We don't want that.
Everybody involved. World Cup.
No,
Everybody's in.
Everybody's in. Super Bowl. We know it's your Super Bowl.
Everybody's in.
No, we're talking about if the Europes is the almighty, okay? And by the way, Bobby Lashley and MVP last night. Let's take it easy, all right?
Yeah.
Heard MVP say Bobby Lashley, greatest sports entertainer on earth or something like that. And he called the show the greatest show in sports. Fucking relax.
Easy.
All right, all our respect for you, MVP. You too, Bobby Lashley. But over on Fridays, hey, keep can't see us, dude.
Oh!
And that's not even the best guy.
No.
What's that?
I told you I might have to just sit this one out because it's incredibly tough for me.
Why?
Are you kidding me?
Come on.
What are you talking about? I'd take a bullet for Cena. You know that.
Oh,
and I love
who
Roman.
the best is.
I love Roman.
bro.
What about Roman? Right now, Roman Reigns better than everybody on earth.
Hell yeah.
You know it. I know it. Everybody knows it. Acknowledge that, Ty.
Well, I will always acknowledge the head of the table, the big Oos, the biggest, baddest Oos, but you were in the arena on Friday. There's no showman like John Cena out there, period. There is not, and you know it.
That's not
You know it.
I do not know that.
That's not true.
We're not talking about technical prowess right now. We're just talking about the greatest showman on earth.
No, we're talking about greatest showman. We're talking about technical prowess.
What?
We're talking about power. We're
What?
talking about being able to speak and look the part since
What?
the day you arrived.
Yes.
We're talking about his dad, Sika, okay? The wild I mean, we're talking about generational greatness here from Roman Reigns in his prime. And you're like, well, they put me on the Fox commercial.
They
That's
did.
what you're
What
like.
about Cena's dad? Most recorded kills in the history of the Marines.
Yes.
I mean, you want to talk about, generational
that is
greatness.
Thank you, Ty.
Don't make me bring up the Usos,
That is
dude.
not.
That's the only stat that matters.
This guy.
They don't know. They don't know that the Usos have 3 belts right now. They don't know.
3 championships. Belts,
Titles.
hold up your pants.
There it is.
But I did hear that.
Yes.
I learned a little history lesson.
Really?
So, a belt buckle maker made the title in between either Georgia Championship Wrestling and NWA or NWA and WCW for Ric Flair. Ric Flair, one of Ric Flair's most famous belts was made by a belt buckle maker, I guess, and it's somewhere. It's very, very important. So whenever I walked in there with my belt buckle, I forget who it was. I think it was Bruce Pritchard. I think Bruce Pritchard, who is incredible wrestling mind. I mean, he's been around a long time, writer, podcast host. He's been there. He's in every documentary. As soon as he saw it, he was like, and he told me about, he said, I got this belt buckle, this belt buckle. It was like a really cool trip down memory lane there. Do I become a belt buckle cowboy boots guy?
Feels like it. Feels like it.
I haven't worn them since, Fort Worth.
Sure.
They are deep
Hey, didn't they hurt? You get blisters?
No, so you got to get it sized right. I got a fat old foot, so they actually have that size there. It's like 13D or 13 double A or whatever. You know what I mean? That's the boot I'm wearing, pal.
Where's Otis wrestling? Is he on SmackDown?
SmackDown, yeah, he's in the Alpha Academy. He plays no fucking games. But what I was saying is, the way the Europes was talked about is as if it was like it was Roman Reigns. Okay, that's what the Europes was being sold to me. The Super Bowl. Put your trophy up then. United States is going to have the Concacaf, the gold. We'll beat the shit out of Messi for the Copa as well. We won't have as many likes on the photo, but the algorithm will have to recognize that America's next. Why don't the Europes do that, Gumpy?
No idea. Best of luck, though. I hope you guys can do it.
We will do it.
What's a big you guys thing? Are you pulling for Canada, England, us? Who are you pulling for?
It's always England, my friend.
This guy!
God damn.
This is that thing. 1776, we said fuck them.
Yeah, we're out.
They didn't.
Nope.
No, they did not.
Didn't have the guts.
Well, sorry.
We love taxes, eh?
We pay taxes.
Now, there was an alarming stat about where everybody in Canada lives.
True.
Yeah, that was insane. I almost don't believe it.
It seemed like a fake stat.
Yeah.
Everybody lives right on the border, basically, in Canada.
Really? I know there's a lot of space up there. You're saying a lot of it does not have people roaming?
Empty.
For how, often the people of Canada potentially tell us how bad our country is, it seems like they live awfully close to us if they can, from what I've been told. Now, that stat might be wrong, and I love Canada. But the only part of Canada I've ever gone to, by the way, real close to America.
Right underneath that line.
Real close to America. So, were you close to America, or are you a little bit up there more?
I was close to Seattle. Seattle was very close to me on the West Coast. But everywhere you can be close, right?
So you guys are like the suburbs of America.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Canada.
When you think about it like that.
The suburbs of America.
That's a good tagline for them, too.
That's not bad.
That is good.
Hey, Gump, were you always trying to get here?
Me?
Yeah.
I mean, I've always loved coming to the States, traveling whenever I could come here, but obviously...
Is it a big to-do?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, like
Gotta
people go, yeah.
Well, and I would like to say you should go to Canada as well. Canada is a taste of what Europe is like, kind of like, but at a small, not as.
That's what Montreal is like. If you get a chance to go somewhere in Canada like that's kind of like Europe, Montreal is the place.
Toronto has a feel though of Europe, doesn't it? Like
a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, it's not as old. Europe is so old.
Yeah.
Whenever you're there, it's just.
That's what Montreal is like. A lot of like small coffee shops, stuff like that. It's really cool, man.
Like super clean, quiet.
Yeah.
Like the whole Toronto was like. Felt like we're in the year 2070 or whatever. It was unbelievable.
Yeah. Do Canadians make it a thing to go to England?
Yeah, what's that all about? You ever been to England?
Lots of people travel to Europe in Canada.
Because okay.
Do you guys get a free trip back to England for those taxes you guys pay to the Queen?
No.
What's that all about?
Yeah, they're robbing them blind. Canada's too nice to England.
Hey,
they got to get pissed.
You work double time at the shipyard, my friend. You lose half a check.
And then, I almost.
That's the
I
problem.
almost had to pay money to play in a preseason game in Canada. Unbelievable. No taxation without representation.
That's right. Canada needs to learn that. We're not doing this shit anymore, Parliament. I don't care, Liz. Stop taxing us.
I don't think they're going to do that. They didn't do that way back.
They should. I mean,
Hey, buddy, the Queen's not that bad.
Queen's pretty
So
cool,
most of them
though.
are
It's
saying.
pretty cool.
At this point, she might be getting nice in her old age.
I watched The Crown, though.
Yeah.
I could see how they were like, yo, Queen's pretty cool.
Absolutely. Respect the Queen, for sure.
But then they changed that actress that was playing the Queen, and I couldn't stick with it.
Yeah, now all this stuff's coming out about the royal family where it's like, hey, are you really going to look up to these people? Are these people you're holding this high, huh?
That Oprah Winfrey interview was a little bit warming.
That was interesting.
With who?
Harry's memoir as well.
Who did Oprah interview?
You know.
Come on, dude.
Dude, what?
Come on.
Get
She's
out from
interviewed
under your
everybody.
rock.
Lance Armstrong, who you talking?
The Lance Armstrong interview with Oprah is also incredible. It seems like Oprah has that ability. I guess she made like, what, 100 million? No.
I think it.
Oprah went to that backyard and talked to Meghan Markle in the
Prince Harry, yeah.
the party one, and Meghan Markle told the story about a question that one of the royal members asked, and then that was also in the middle of a lot of speculation on some photos. I mean, it is the royal family is in the middle of it, but I will say they should never change the actress to a different queen.
Yeah, that was a mistake.
They lost me on the Crown.
She had to get older.
Huh?
She had to get older. They had to
put makeup.
Give it to an older actress.
Put fucking makeup on, dude.
You can't spin that wheel.
Oh yeah, use the technology they used to make De Niro young when he was stomping the dude.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You ever seen
That was
Benjamin
so
Button?
super realistic.
It did.
Well, and also just put makeup. Can we just make up that thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure, I'm sure you can.
I don't know, but I get it that they had to move on because it was a different chapter. Blah blah blah. Whatever the case is, I just know the royal family's in the middle of some shit.
It's like
right
Young
now.
Rock, man. Same as Young Rock. You can't have the guy that's playing Dwayne in college as the little 9-year-old kid.
Did you hear?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, so they put up a bunch of tweets of everybody welcoming the WWE back to WWE Universe back, and it ended with The Rock's tweet. And right before we go, this is how this thing, I don't even know this is happening. And then during the commercial break, Michael Cole hit me. He goes, look. And then there's like a video package. He's like, when we come back, I'll just kind of feed you on this. And I'm like, okay, so I'm trying to see the names of the people on there. And then at the end, the video is just sitting and it's just Dewey Johnson staring at me, his tweet. And I'm like, all right, I know where I'm headed.
Yes.
I'm going right to the future president of the United States of America, Dewey, DJ, The Rock, the whole thing. And I was like, The Rock might hear this.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, most likely.
The Rock
did.
is probably going to hear this. So let's just assume that, Black Adam's probably coming on the show at some point.
Hey, come on.
Let's just, I acknowledge him as the future president of the United States. I think that's what we're all trying to do. I watched Young Rock. I know what's happening. 2032, dude. Did you watch Space Jam?
I have not yet, but I am going to check it out. I've read a lot of reviews on LeBron's acting.
I wouldn't waste your time, AJ.
So, okay.
But word is, though, so in the movie, the Trainwreck movie with Amy Schumer, word is that he was a much better actor in that than he is Space Jam. So we know he has it in him.
In that movie, he was great. In the Sprite commercials, great. In The Shop, I think he's great on there. There are some lines that he said in this Space Jam movie that I was like, all right, I don't think we should be doing it. It was tough for him to get out because that's not what he's like. You know what I mean? I think that was tough for him to get out.
But do you have an example? Is there any? Could you give me some kind of example? I don't know.
His wife at one point says like it's dinner time, and says a meal, and then his son gets hit in the face with a basketball right in front of him.
Ball.
And yeah, exactly. And then they zoom in close on his face and he goes, oh, that's my favorite meal or something. And it's just like, it is a disaster line setup with a close-up shot. It is just an absolute disaster. And that's early in the movie. So you see that early and you're like, yeah, this is.
Right after a montage.
Yeah, there it is.
In between these 4 lines, it's only work.
Yeah, there's a full-on.
Gross.
Yeah, dude, I'm telling you. And I think a lot of the people that are probably judging him just watch the first 15 minutes. And the people that don't like LeBron, those first 15 minutes are absolute. I mean, just.
That means he's a good actor, though, right? Is he trying to play that character?
Well, that's what I'm saying. The things that were so hard for him to say were the incredibly lack of self-awareness, insufferable things were hard for him to say.
Sure.
He wasn't. I mean, everybody can act, that's in the thespian world, but being something that you're not, which is insufferable for LeBron, he just couldn't pull off. And I think we know that going forward as, Siskel and Ebert like people here.
So he should have taken more control over the script, is what you're
I
saying.
think he should have wrote it, yeah.
They said there's 6 writers on it.
Well, there was at least 1 or 2 of them that hate LeBron because there were some lines in there where I was like, they were setting this guy up for absolute failure.
See, so I don't even know if I want to watch it now. If it's that bad in the first 15, I don't know how I'm going to make it past that.
Yeah, well.
You won't. There's no chance in hell you watch
Didn't
the
you
entire
watch
movie.
the whole thing?
Well, I fell asleep with like 10 minutes left.
Yeah, when you said you fell asleep about 8 different times during it, I was like, all right,
I was tired.
You were tired. You were tired. You were tired.
My wife watched the entire thing.
What'd she say?
She said it wasn't, it was for kids or whatever. But I didn't get her full diagnosis. She did. There was a couple things that happened. I go, oh, that's what I said. And she goes, it's a setup. They're setting up, it's story building, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, all right, I guess. So she has a lot more patience and, she sees, I think, the bigger picture much more than me. But in those first 15 minutes, you will find a lot of times where you will try to get the fuck out of there and not watch it.
Okay.
But you got to power through. Maybe fall asleep and just get to the cartoon. But the cartoon doesn't even really look like him either. So it's.
No.
But they have so much shit, dude. There is like 55 different things happening in every single minute of that movie. There's just so many animated it's like an overload almost. But then there's some stuff you're like, that's really cool.
Isn't it just one big advertisement for all of the intellectual properties that they own?
Yeah, everything that's on Warner or whatever.
Yeah.
Everything that they have, they put into the movie.
Smart. That's smart because little kids are watching. That'll get in their brain.
That's what I think too. I think it's good marketing. I think they brought the whole team together, but just like that guy from Subpar on this show, you don't have to plug every fucking thing, every sentence you say. I think that is probably something else that a lot of people said about the movie as well.
Yeah, business-wise, it was a good movie, but you're going to the movies looking for a good movie, and it's dog shit.
Yeah, but you're an adult. This is for kids.
Absolutely. I don't know if I'm an adult, but I do think that usually I can tap into the kids' movies strictly because I enjoy them. That movie stunk, whether you were 5 years old or 50 years old.
Let's get to a break, dude. We got to be back on the other side and close up hour 3. We'll be back in like 4 minutes or so to wrap up this incredible show. Incredible show. Skip and Shannon were trending yesterday because they started with a Space Jam conversation and then led to Jordan versus LeBron for 30, 45 minutes. I do not want to get into that. We are strictly judging Space Jam for what it is.
That carried into today as well. There was another headline with LeBron's legacy being affected by Space Jam. Oh my God. Swear to God.
Really?
Yeah.
Bro, there's some lines in there.
I mean, but the movie's going to affect his legacy? Are you kidding me? There's no way.
Well, the only way it would affect the legacy is that the people that don't like LeBron watch that first 15 minutes and go, yep.
Yep, this guy stinks.
Told you.
Thought so. That's really what it's like because he's playing LeBron. And Mick came in here, he's got to build a story.
Character development, dude.
And I get it, but they're showing actual highlights of him. And they're at his house, present day. Yeah. So it's almost like it's set up like, hey, this is LeBron. And then what he goes about doing, you're like, oh, I hate LeBron.
Yeah, this guy stinks.
It's that, So I think Jordan might have, and I don't remember the first Space Jam.
But do they want you to hate him? Is the movie set up where they say, hey, this is like the villain?
I don't know.
No, but if it's like that Jordan is not like that in the first movie. He's like very likable, and there's not,
So I think
he was all in. Jordan was all in. He knew hey, I got to be goofy. This is what I'm doing.
So I think Jordan might have. Maybe they said, hey, this will build you up as this, and then you'll do this in the end or whatever. And maybe Jordan would have been like, nah, I ain't doing that or whatever. I think that is where I wish LeBron would have maybe been like
self-awareness. You're saying?
Yeah, like nah.
Took a little creative liberty, like, hey, I actually will go this way with it.
I think he trusted.
Yeah.
The people too much.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I know you're going to break, but can we, before the show ends, can we just please, after the break, get Mitt to give me like a 1 minute conclusion on how he thinks the movie went and why you were wrong?
Well, we got it yesterday.
Is his body there? Is Mitt's physical body in the building?
Yeah, his soul's on moon though. Soul's on moon. We'll be back in 4 minutes with some phone lines, the 5-hour energy phone lines. We got Long Beach, California, San Antonio, some people in Indy as well, Myrtle Beach, Dirty Myrtle.
Okay.
Wrap up this beautiful Tuesday, July 20th, and then send you into Chris Mad Dog Russo. I can't wait for that. This is the Pat McAfee Show. I love Hawaii, man. Every time I go there, now granted, you make a Pro Bowl, you think you're going to Hawaii. Instead, we went to the desert in Arizona. And then the next time I made a Pro Bowl, it was in Orlando. I was like, I'm out. I mean, come on.
Were you the first group that they stopped doing Hawaii?
Yeah, I think it was like first or second group, of course. Of course. Worked my entire life to get there. I mean, it's an honor. It wasn't, though. I completely understand why guys don't go. It's like Tom Brady sitting out for another Pro Bowl. He's like, yeah, he didn't want to drive 3 hours into the desert right now to go practice.
He go wherever he wants.
Yeah, and then the games, they need to make it just a bunch of competitions. They need to make it a bunch of contests, like the 40, everything like that. The bench, bring back the bench for the offensive linemen. Get an eating contest in there. Get the kickers to do a kicking contest. Get the punters to do a punting contest. Have that quarterback challenge that I watched on NFL Network just a couple months ago. Have that happen again for the long ball. You get Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes in there. You get Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers throwing maybe on an accuracy challenge. I like the little games that they set up for the quarterbacks. By the way, I would have went to the one in Orlando. I actually said I would go if they would have let me compete in the quarterback little carnival thing they had. And they told me no. And I was like, well, I'm not going.
Who makes that decision, the NFL?
Yeah, I got an actual letter that said no. And I was like, well, I retire and I'm not coming.
We regret to inform you that you are not allowed to participate in the quarterback
I think I would do well in that thing, by the way. I think I would do very well in it. Everything is like right in my range. Like the deep ball, I think, is like 40 yards. For me, that's that's my actual flick of the wrist. Like, you know how you watch those Dude Perfect videos?
Oh, yeah.
And it takes them, I don't know, who knows how many
thousands?
I mean, I'm not going to judge them. A lot of other people do. People say it takes them 4,000 attempts. But if you throw the ball as far as you can and it lands, then you just put a trash can there. You're like, all right, I'm just got to throw this as hard as I can again. And then it's like science is basically making you hit that.
Great way to do it.
In that particular quarterback carnival that they do, everything is right in my wheelhouse. Like I was built for it. And I told Conte, the Colts PR guy, I had a dislocated kneecap at the time. I was supposed to get surgery. He was like, are you going to play in the Pro Bowl? Because I had like a $250,000 bonus on the Pro Bowl or not. I was like, I made the Pro Bowl. I should get my bonus. And he was like, well, technically in your contract, it says you have to play in the Pro Bowl. I'm like, am I allowed to do that quarterback challenge? They're like, no. I'm like, no, I'm not doing it. Jim Irsay still paid me, by the way.
What a guy.
As he should. Good dude.
Yeah, as he should, by the way. No, I don't think he should. Because the contract technically said, like, people say billionaires stay billionaires because they're stingy with their money. He could have not paid me. He chose to pay me. Good guy. That's why I think the Detroit Lions just hated Calvin Johnson.
McAfee at the top of the key. 5 seconds. 4 seconds. Step back. 3 for the win. It's good! Smash! It's not Sunday because the bank is open!
Pick any NFL game, any city. We'll fly you in a +1, cover your hotel for 2 nights in luxury, and set you up with great seats for the game. Don't miss the fan experience of a lifetime. Click the link in our bio to enter.
Thank you. I'll tell you what, it was pretty cool. Roger Goodell gave me a big hug beforehand, too, so that's good news there. Thank you so much. Shane, you drinking? Yeah. Cheers to you, man. That was a good one. That was good. That was I feel like it went pretty good. Oh, look at the phone.
Every day is game day for these guys. It's showtime. On the Pat.
Welcome back. Clearly, the transition did not work perfectly. Every day is game day in coffee and cigarettes do have filters. We do not. Welcome back to the show. The Traeger grill is the easiest way to enjoy pure wood-fired flavor. You just set it and forget it. It has the versatility to do it all. Grill, smoke, bake, roast, braise, and barbecue. It's super consistent. Perfect results every time.
Hell yeah.
Every time? Every time. It's amazing that even some of their Traeger grills are operable through an app to make you be able to be a grill master without having much experience. The grill can be a daunting task for anybody. Your confidence can maybe be shattered or shook if the in-laws or a friend says that you didn't cook something well enough to their standards. You can be questioned for everything you stand for if you're not a good griller. Well, Traeger said, we got your back. We got the perfect grill for you to create the greatest wood-fired flavor. When you go to TraegerGrills.com/Pat and enter code Pat at checkout, you'll score free shipping. That's TraegerGrills.com/Pat, TraegerGrills.com/PAT, and enter code Pat at checkout for free shipping. Today's show is presented by Traeger Grills, the wood pellet grill you absolutely need this summer. Shout out to Traeger, man.
Thank you, Traeger.
Let's get some 5-Hour Energy phone line, shall we, AJ? Do you have anything you want to follow up on or no?
No, I don't think so. I don't have a Traeger, but I know they're great. People seem to love them.
So we should send you a Traeger.
Yeah.
Then? Sounds like that's what AJ just tried to do. We will send you a Traeger for sure.
Now, Bruce said something about that a while ago in the email to me.
Oh,
but I honestly don't need one. I hate grilling for people. It's not.
Well, you suck on it, right? No, you hate grilling for people because you haven't had a Traeger yet. It
Hell
is. When you're the grill king, grill god, grill hero at a place. I mean, it changes everything, and Traeger has been doing that. Let's go to Steven in San Antonio. What's going on, Steven?
What's up, Pat? How's it going, man? Long-time listener. Listening to you guys since your 16-hour podcast in your basement, dude. Oh, nice. You guys are awesome, man. Thanks for everything, dude. But
we appreciate you, Steven.
Yeah, I didn't. So I'm just getting back from coaching school, and Nick Saban had a talk today, about an hour long. He talked about how his time in Miami. He talks about his time in Miami and why he left Miami. And it's going to be a heartbreaker for Bubba Gump, man. But the reason he left Miami was because Drew Brees got signed by the New Orleans Saints. Something happened with his physical and didn't work out, so he was out of town after that. And then the rest is history. So potentially Nick Saban could have won 9 Super Bowls with Miami.
Well, he actually left because he stunk.
Right.
I think, in the end.
He was very bad.
I think that is why, Steven.
Thank you.
Thanks for the call, though, Steven. He has cemented his legacy as the greatest college football coach of all time, but he stunk in the NFL. And anybody that's asking him how he did in the NFL, and he says, well, I wanted this player, wanted this player, wanted this player. Well, that's how the NFL works. Urban Meyer's getting introduced to that right now. That's not how you can't just go and recruit and get the best players. Not that that isn't a skill. That is a massive skill and a talent that every college coach is trying. The thing that was alarming from that particular conversation is that Nick Saban said one of his backup quarterbacks is nearing 7 figures in NIL deals already. Now, I don't know if that is just brand endorsements or merch sales, or if it's a potential, booster who has a company who wants him to tweet about the company, and maybe, the CPMs are a little bit different than what they are for everybody else. But he said one of his players is damn near 7 million, ungodly like numbers. And then somebody put out a tweet that said damn near 7 figures already for this guy who hasn't played a snap yet for Alabama. This NIL thing is the wild, wild west. And of course, Alabama is going to be at the forefront of this entire thing.
Yeah, Bryce Young, he was the Gatorade Player of the Year. He was USA Today Player of the Year. So, he's supposed to be the next guy, and they are just giving him all the money.
Well, who's they?
Whoever he signed with.
Well, that's what we're saying. This is just like Tennessee State signing Hersey to a $2 million deal to the American apps worldwide or something like that. It's awesome. The NIL is awesome. AJ, if you want the Ohio State to stay in the game, you're going to have to create a couple fake companies and start paying these kids to send out tweets about them.
I know. I guess that's the thing. So that's a huge thing, right? That college players can just get paid to tweet like you're a Kardashian or Instagram, like, hey, post about our company or take a picture with our merch on. We'll pay you $50K for one post.
Yeah, AJ, by the way, that's our business as well. The whole thing.
You don't do that. You don't put
FanDuel's
ads on Instagram, do you?
I mean, every post I have, basically.
But I'm saying you don't ever. You're never.
Shout out
to the ticker.
Basically everything. You know what I mean? Like we have partners in this particular world, though, that they're about to get into. It's these. I've said the story before. I created a shirt company. shirtsforamerica.com. Like 16 days, Phil will be able to tell me the exact 16 days or 17 days before the 100th running of the Indy 500, just so I could give Connor Daly $250,000 to have a car in the race because he didn't have a sponsor before the 100th running. I didn't get tickets to the race because it was sold out, but I had a car in the race. People can be able to do that and turn that over. They should have. I mean, everything gets fucked up. But there should have been Anthony Gonzalez's big run. Now,
oh God, good luck, Gonzo.
Gonzo. Good
Praying
luck,
for you, Gonzo.
Former teammate of both of ours, Anthony Gonzalez, last year or 2 years ago, whenever this bill was introduced in California, because California legalized it, he said that we got to put some guardrails on this thing. We got to figure it out because it's going to get out of control. I don't think they did, and I think it is exactly what he said. It's going to be out of control. That guy that is a stud is near $1 million. Imagine the starting quarterback that's going to be a running back in every other place. I'm happy for these kids. I'm very, very, very happy for these kids. But there's a chance some shady shit's going to go down and somebody's going to get fucked over too.
Oh, of course. I mean, there's always like unintended consequences when something like this happens. But with the Saban thing, I don't know if you read any more of it. I'm not aware of the interview. Did he give us opinion on how he thinks it's going to go, how it's going to change things?
So I don't think he can. I don't know. From recruiting purposes, right? Nick Saban can't be a guy who's against it.
Yeah.
Well, and Bama's really the only ones that would lose out because no matter what,
it's here now.
Another school can pay you money.
Yeah, it's here now, so he can't.
So it doesn't matter. Like, what are you going to do? Be the old man, get off my lawn? No, you can't do that. Exactly. You need to show that you're open to it. Hey, like, you need to be able to change and not just sit there and act like, no, we can't do that. It's going to ruin the game. Like, hey, well, it's here. If you still want to coach, your players are going to make some money off the field.
Is he going to do the Dabo Sweeney drip on TikTok? I wonder. What do you think?
Yeah, probably. If it gets him a 5-star recruit, he will.
Well, I think Dabo landed Trevor Lawrence with that.
Yes,
That's right, with that dance.
Yeah, he did. Hey, Trevor, you ever seen Coach do?
Holy shit.
Yeah. Give me the hat right now.
I'm coming. 3 years though only. And you got to bench that other guy and put me in immediately. In the first throw, I need to throw a touchdown, and that guy needs to transfer out of here.
Yep.
That's basically what Trevor did and Dabo did. Everybody's going to be looking to take advantage of this NIL. Kids already making $1 million. Good for them.
Yeah.
Hopefully the money comes through. Hopefully it's from real companies. I don't know how they're going to be able to manage all this without everything completely blowing up. Hopefully the Olympics will happen. It's supposed to happen on Friday. The last-minute cancellation is possible. Chris Mad Dog Russo will probably break down more. AJ, anything to say to the serious listeners before we get off the air and maybe come back tomorrow with a better show?
I think Mad Dog's going to have a great show after us.
I think so too. Chris Mad Dog Russo with Mad Dog Unleashed is on the other side of this 6-minute break. We continue on at youtube.com/The Pat McAfee Show. We'll see you in about 21 hours. This has been a hell of a Tuesday. Chris Mad Dog Russo is next. Nailed it. Somebody pissing? Is that what that sounds?
Beer's getting poured.
Oh, okay. Welcome to PMS After Hours.
Maybe it was someone pissing on the bar. I know a guy did that once. It's pretty wild.
That person should have got kicked out.
Someone pissed on the top of the bar?
Didn't get kicked out either, from what I heard, right, Nick? I don't know. You tell me.
No. Just kept ordering a couple more rounds.
This is a pantsless bar?
No, pants were on.
Really?
From what I heard. I wasn't there, but I've heard that this.
Pissed in their pants
were they standing on the bar?
Then? Nah, I think it was a good lean the person
It was
had.
a full stand lean operation. You know, everything was tucked under the overhang of the bar, but
From what I was
just
told,
had to go.
So they had shorts on.
I wasn't there.
You could be drinking a beer and pissing on underneath the bar without anybody ever knowing.
So was it AJ you were talking about? Did AJ do this?
It seems like AJ's familiar with the move. Maybe he's done it as well.
AJ, did you do this move that somebody that Nick's friends with did back in the day?
No, I am familiar with the move. It's not my thing.
Me neither.
But I thought you were talking like someone like stood up on a bar and just pissed all over it while it was a full bar.
No, I have been at a bar where somebody did that too. They got kicked out.
Huh, okay.
Oh, you don't say.
Yeah, they did get kicked out. It was quite a show though, real quick. Huh?
Under the bar makes sense. Peeing on the bar, I just don't see how that works.
What do you mean?
I just don't understand how you can get away with that scot-free.
Maybe they need a drink.
I don't know how. I don't know how the
bartender's
person.
attention.
Well, I don't know how the person did. It was unbelievable. I guess.
Yeah, true one of one.
In the store, was there any eye contact? Nick, bartender.
I'm not sure. I don't remember.
Are you friends with the bartenders?
No, I don't think. I don't think the people knew anybody that was there. Actually, I think it was just kind of a.
Where was this?
It was at a bar. I think.
What city? What city was this in?
It was in Pittsburgh, I believe. I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah,
But
we don't like to name names here, but it was a real nonchalant move by a guy who doesn't like to bring a lot of attention to himself. He was just trying to play low key, just get a couple drinks, have a good night.
Yeah.
Nice.
Must have been pretty well hydrated because the piss obviously didn't smell. Otherwise,
Yeah.
you would have got kicked out.
It was insane.
Yeah, that's sweet. I gotta try that.
Don't. Our friend that did that, he's a fucking maniac.
Pat, when you did this, did you let everybody around you, all your buds, know that, hey, I'm pissed on this bar right now?
No, it wasn't the sources and a me thing, okay? This wasn't that. It is somebody that is very close to us. SeatGeek is back.
Come on, Jay.
What's that? No, Jay. It was not Jay.
Jay.
Jay actually.
Jay got peed on.
No, Jay's
no.
car. Jay's car.
Jay was on stage with his death band.
Anyways,
Might have been.
what a night. That night. What a night. SeatGeek is back. I just want to let everybody know we had
definitely there.
We had a reckless group of friends. Okay,
For sure.
Those are the old days, you know. When
Wild, wild
Is that
west.
guy is this the guy that was the deck hockey legend? Is that him?
no, I mean he probably has
finally.
done such a thing, but this is not that story. It's a full lean.
Oh, so it was a low bar.
Yeah, well, it was standard bar height, I think.
You have to
that
control
actually-
your stream too. If you didn't control your stream, it would hit the bar and splash back
Yeah,
on.
he kept saying you, but the guy did. Okay, the guy did, and it was there was a couple people that walked up and were, what the fuck? And then they got kind of attacked for potentially trying to leave, because it was like, hey, help me out.
Yeah.
Stand.
Did that guy's shoes get all wet and sticky?
No, you're pretty good. You're pretty good, I think. No, yeah, you're pretty good.
Did that guy drop his pants all the way to his ankles like my 4-year-old when he peed?
No, but I have seen a very notable human do such a thing in a public bathroom and go, what the fuck are you doing?
Oh, that's the best.
Oh, yeah, very notable human did that. It was.
Oh, yeah.
This guy's wild cards.
Yeah. Wow, did that guy be on the bar?
It was
Giuliani.
not. It was not that guy, but it was.
Now that
Was
you
it a
mention
Yankees game?
Now that you mention it.
That world.
Hey, Pat.
Bro, that world. I mean, I guess the Giuliani situation was post social media, but that world before social media.
Oh,
Lawless.
People were not scared of anything.
Nope.
People were not scared of anything back then.
It's a ladder match every day.
What a day.
You could big time a few peasants in the parking lot at a ball game, and no one would ever know the difference.
Dig's been doing that since we were in high
So many things I could say.
How about AJ just coming in? Hey, Tyler, everything all right?
Yeah. First thing he said.
That was
I
amazing.
need to know, did I miss something? Did I miss the pre-show meeting where we said, hey, we're not going to talk about Diggs' situation when he big-time a dude and rode shotgun and didn't drink beers?
Diggs called me last night. It was not.
Where'd you get that info from, AJ?
Yeah, he was reading.
I'm trying to come to the source to get the real info, but you're mute. You won't tell me.
He called me last night. Diggs was like, I don't want you thinking I big time people. I'm like, Diggs, I don't give a fuck if you big time people, man. Like, you're as long as you keep being hot on Hammered Down, I don't think anybody cares about anything.
Boom.
Do what you got to do.
Well, they should.
What's that?
They should care.
What's that?
People should care.
That you're being an asshole potentially to them?
Yeah.
Weird.
Well, they do.
Were they or no? What was the deal? Do you think those people think you're a big time asshole right now or no?
That sounds like it.
Sure does.
That's a shame.
But you're not. You're not, though, Diggs, so you should feel
start,
comfortable.
AJ.
Coming from you, Hawk, that doesn't
Good
help.
guy, Tony. You're a good guy, Tone.
I didn't stop and sign for some autograph people the other day. I felt like a terrible guy. I literally looked at him and said, "Not today," and just kept on driving.
that's awesome.
Yeah,
actually.
It was coming out of the airport.
Yeah.
The last time we were
Oh,
in,
yeah.
in Tampa.
Tampa.
Well,
Yeah.
at the Thunderdome, you signed literally like 50 people's stuff.
It was the last time, and I
Yeah.
told them because I seen the same people. They were coming to everything, and it was like, all right, I signed one thing for you. I get what you're doing right now. The one person gave us autograph stuff, so it was like, all right, this is a good give and take here. But once you show up every single week and expect me to sign more things, it's like, hey, scumbag, I know what you're doing. Okay, I appreciate your hustle. I appreciate your work ethic. You have know nothing about me, and you sell this thing. You're kind of preying on my kindness here, preying on my kindness. So on the way out, the last time I wanted them to know that, hey, Not today. Fucking window up. See you later.
Well, because the dudes, I've never seen it before. Sorry, Fox, but I didn't mean to cut you off. But the dudes at WWE, I've never seen anything like it. There are guys at the hotel just waiting.
Yeah.
Just,
Meerkats.
Yeah.
Can't even get to the room.
No.
How am I supposed to handle that?
That's tough, man, because they know where people stay. Yeah, I don't know.
And these people, I'm a big fan. They pronounce my name wrong normally.
Yeah. One guy had a Patriots helmet. That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, he wanted me to sign a Patriots football. It's
you get it, right?
I can't, dude. Like, what do you want? So I'm trying to.
Because those people waiting, though, those aren't fans. Those aren't kids that are just, oh my gosh, look what I just stumbled into. If you know the difference between the people that are there all the time and track people and follow them compared to somebody that's staying in the hotel and his dad's like, hey, look, here's Pat. Why don't you go get a signature, little Billy, and then you give it to him.
Well, little Billy, no problem, but little Billies are used by these people.
Oh yeah,
I know.
These
These people that prey on.
It's terrible.
And by the way, this is my first introduction to this. I was always with people that people wanted the autographs from, and watching those people handle those situations was something I did keep an eye on to see how. Nobody has it figured out yet because they prey on your emotion, right? And then if they don't get you, they'll go bring a kid in, and then the kid's like, hey, and I'm like, what's your name? And they're like, they say their name or whatever. I'm like, what's my name? And they don't know my name. I'm like, okay, my name's Pat. Who sent you here? And then normally they would turn around and just point at somebody holding like 10 kids. Yeah. I'm like, you fucking scumbag. Like, I don't say that in front of the kid, but I do like, hey, this is not what life is. Like, this is not normal. Like, this is. So I don't know how to, because I generally love talking to people, enjoy interacting with people, like a good conversation, don't want to disappoint people. Like, that's a real thing. But at this point, I'm getting to a point where I'm like, I fucking hate you. I want to let you, because they're kind of like trying to manipulate my emotions for them to
make money,
profit off it. I'm like, that's just not the cool thing to do. And then those
one more, Pat. One more.
Yeah,
one more, please. One more.
I say, hey, I'll sign 2 for you. I got 3 for you or whatever, and I'll sign 2. And then they'll go, oh, how about this one?
Different marker.
Yeah, I just said 2. Okay, and then I'll have one marker that works. Okay, and then this one, it needs to be silver on this color or whatever. Let me find my marker or whatever. It's like, hey, fuck off. How about that? So how about you fuck off? How about you stop being a goddamn scumbag? And the amount of effort that you were putting into this scam, you're not making enough money off my autographs, by the way, so I appreciate you kind of hustling. Why don't we do that towards something else? Why don't we put that towards something else?
That's why Stockyards was so cool. No one was really asking you for shit. And then the one guy who was a massive fan was like, hey, get a picture with my kids, because obviously when they grow up, they'll probably look back on it as a big deal.
A lot of people that are, the reason why I understand that people are our fans or not our fans. A lot of people who are fans of the show will just come and go, what's up, Pat?
Yeah.
And then it's like a handshake, and it's like, is there any way I can get a quick photo? It's like, cool. The people that are asking for me to sign stuff, those people are normally not a fan.
Leeches.
And those people, by the way, will say that I was an asshole or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Not like as big as Tone was, I guess, but those people will come out and say I'm an asshole, and I'm like, yo, come on, man. I don't know what to do anymore. I don't know how to handle those situations, AJ. You've been in them for a long time. I honestly don't know how to handle those.
It's brutal. I don't know. I have a hard time saying no, even when I know they're selling. Like, it's to sell. I say the same thing. Like, you're not making any money off of mine, bud. So, like, sure, I'll sign your 4 pictures or whatever. And I know what you're doing, but I don't. Yeah, I don't know. Like today, actually, the perfect. Like, people that watch the show are awesome. Like the fans of the show are amazing. I saw a guy that was at Micro Center. Shout out Billy Tubes. I know he loves that spot. Today, this morning, I was there, and some dude, older guy, long hair, just walking by. He's like, "Hey, man. Love your show with Pat." And shook my hand. We just kept it moving. It was awesome. Like, he seemed really cool.
Stockyard, a lot of fist bump. Yeah. How you doing? Keep it moving. Big how you doing? Keep it moving crowd.
Yeah.
And I love that, by the way, because I think people that are fans of the show understand that when I'm walking around Fort Worth, I'm probably wildly high, and I'm probably taking it all in, enjoying myself. So people are like, hey, what's up? I'll let you get back to your judging of this place. Yeah. Like, it is very.
You also had one like, holy shit, what's your name?
Yeah. Those people. You ever hear you look like? A lot, actually. Yeah. Thank you, man.
You got a lot of doppelgangers.
Yeah, well, every.
Snooze.
Nick.
Yeah. Hey, that was the best part about Snooze, was that we ate at this brunch place, and then just on the way, one kid did come up, but he was working there. But on the way out, people started yelling,
"Hey, Pat!" Yeah. It was cool.
Yeah.
That was one of the coolest things I've ever been part of, because that's the same place, Snooze. If a Snooze is in your town, You need to go to the brunch.
Get there now.
It was amazing. It was absolutely, there's like a 60 to 80 minute wait, but you can check in online and show up whenever you get there.
Huge.
So it's huge. We found a spot at the bar that we thought was going to open up a lot sooner than it did. Some fucking people just hung around for an extra 20, 30 minutes or whatever. It was like, get the fuck out of here.
Come on.
Bloody Mary.
Move it along.
The line is in the parking lot. Like, get
3 hours.
the hell out of here. But the chefs normally at places know us. So shout out to the chef community. I don't know what that all about is. But when we go to places, the chefs normally poke their heads out of places and they're like, and then you see like a full conversation and then they look back and then normally a representative from the kitchen comes out and goes like, you ever hear you look like? I'm like, yeah, all the time. They're like, you are, blah, blah, blah. And then they go back. And our fans are normally so cool. Like so cool as they understand how to keep it good. This place, one guy came out, are you? Yeah. Oh, man, we love you. Whatever. He gets back. The food was unbelievable. So we said, hey, great work, what you guys are doing. On our way out, which I thought it was Sunday, I actually tweeted Colin Morikawa because I thought it was Sunday. I thought he won.
Turns out.
I thought he was winning. Turns out it was Saturday, but he was appreciative of me supporting him on Saturday, not just on Sunday. But in my mind, I thought it was Sunday.
Wow, game over.
Game over. Congrats, dude. You went and did it. But, I mean, he had to go chase that guy. Woo Stason was up there. We got another day. We got overtime on Sunday. But as we got up to leave, I go to the bathroom, which was kind of through everybody. And as I was going to the bathroom, I heard a couple, right?
Yeah.
That's normally whenever I hear some things. And then I come back, the bathroom was loaded. So I couldn't even go to the bathroom. So I came back out as we grabbed our stuff. Music is blaring. This is the same place that's playing like Meek Mill. And then you hear one person from like, because they had an upper level like balcony. And you're like, Pat. And I was like, did they just say, because I don't want to be the person that's like, oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, did you call my name? So we just kept walking. Okay, I didn't know if, and then it came like, there was a bunch of like, and it was like, I gave like, yeah, thanks, see you later, and just walked out. It was so fucking cool. That was one of the coolest things, because they just let us be.
Yeah.
I assume while we were sitting there was a lot of people just staring at our backs. I assume they were just staring at us the entire time. But it was cool. People are real cool. Those autograph people, I fucking hate them. I hate them.
Hey, what about the doppelganger situation? You and Nick seem to have something there.
Yeah. So I don't know if you and Nick just text each other and you're like.
No, I saw his
Hey,
face.
bring it back up.
They cut to him. He had his head like ducked underneath the mic.
I mean, it has become pretty interesting that if you are a white, you look like me on the internet.
Really? Like
yeah,
who else?
but this last one was striking.
This wasn't as bad as.
Not as the one before that. Yeah.
There's been a couple times where I've had to look at pictures of people telling me that I'm a doppelganger with someone, and I go, is that what I fucking look like? Have I lost all self-awareness? Should I not be in public anymore? Is my mirror fucked? What is going on? There's been a couple of those. I get the, hey, this is.
My butt looks just like you.
Hey, and by the way, there's a lot of us fuckboy-looking white people out there. I understand, but a couple of them, there's been quite a stretch, and I don't know if these guys are running with these things, but there's a couple of people that have sent me like numerous times, like, hey, I'm told I get called you all the time. I'm like, man, I need to figure some shit out then if that's happening.
You're hanging out with blind people?
Or you're putting a picture up. Zito back there wants to put the picture of the kid.
No. I
Yeah,
actually have a
to.
question about the signing guys. What's worse, the ones that have they're like lifeless and they just give you things, or the ones that have a conversation?
Well, the conversation ones, they're like kind of card dealers.
Yeah, like the bullshit convo. Like, game 4, cool.
Yeah, they're pretty good. Like, I don't know if they do that, but the car salesmen, like, when they come in and they act like they know who I am, you know, they like, oh, I'm a fan or whatever. That's like whenever somebody calls you and they have a script.
Yeah.
When somebody calls you, getting them off script is my favorite. Oh, really? I do one of those. And
I feel like they check your Twitter, watch the clips from the show, and then bring up stuff from the show that day only, and that's all they know.
Yeah. By the way, good research.
Yeah.
There's somebody came into the Bentley in Florida and took one of those paint pens and just dropped it in the car and then threw 2 balls at me. It was very nice. That was when that one ended. I was like, all right, here you go.
Yeah.
Get the hell out of here. I think you just put silver paint all over the goddamn Bentley right now, but hopefully you sell that for $4 or something.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Just put your window up next time.
Well, that's what I did this last time.
Rightfully so.
Nope! No, nothing. See ya. But I would like to be a nice guy. I appreciate their hustle, but also you're kind of a scumbag. I'm very torn on it. There should be if somebody could write the manual on how to handle that situation, I'd be very thankful.
There's no right or wrong way. I feel like it's all situations are situational, Pat. Too, you know, sometimes they're mixed in with real fans too.
Well, it's cool, you know, because if nobody does, this whole thing doesn't go. So, like, I think the people that get all pissed off when they live in Hollywood and paparazzi follows, hey, let me live my, it's like, okay, it's kind of a
cost of doing
you
business.
have to have that happen. And if not, this isn't your profession anymore.
Yeah.
So I'm honored, okay, but I'm also disgusted at the same time. So it is quite a predicament. It is quite a predicament that I'm not 100% sure how to handle.
Yeah, it is. I hope people now, when they come up to you, they show pictures on their phone of your doppelgangers, like people in their family that they think look just like you.
A lot of them. Listen, I look like a lot of bland-ass white folks. Okay? I do.
Really?
I do, yeah. I see a picture.
I don't think I've ever seen anybody that I said, that guy looks like Pat. Nope.
Well, you'd be surprised on the internet. That happens all the time. All the time. There's been a couple, though, that have been direct shots across the bow, I think, at me.
There's no way. They just lack awareness that they think it's not taking a shot at you by saying that.
I don't know. Pretty clever if that's how they're going to take a shot at me, by the way, sending me a picture of what appears to be their worst day of all time.
Yeah.
Jesus. There was a 350-pound man. 350 pounds.
Well, they're just saying, like, he has facial features maybe that look similar.
Oh, 8
Right?
chins?
Bro,
Is that what you're trying to say, Hawk?
There's no reason for that.
Oh, damn, AJ.
But there was one guy who all of his friends even jumped in on the tweet and were like, "Oh, we say it to him all the time, Pat. We say it to him all the time." I'm like, "Are these guys bullying me right now? Is this entire friend group bullying me right now? Or what are we?" And I just muted the whole conversation and muted them all. But that was a tough day, dude. I think that was when the intermittent fasting started.
I was going to say, you do say that the internet helps you get back into it when you need help.
It might have been a moment.
Oh, no.
Sam. Do I look like that guy? Please, God.
Throw out all the Oreos right now.
Please, I need the cinnamon buns out of here. This latest one, though, was
wild.
Nah, pretty.
It was pretty.
Spot on.
That was the one that I could have.
If we're thinking of the same one,
everything but the color of the hair was pretty. You know.
Oh, everything but. Is that right? Because I thought the color of the hair was potentially the thing that made me not look like the person. You know what I mean?
These guys did. Assholes.
I have never seen redder hair on something.
that was hilarious. If that guy legit thought up like, holy shit, my nephew looks just like Pat.
Ever. I've never seen redder hair.
We have to see it. We have to see the picture.
No, this kid doesn't deserve it.
Yeah.
Like, he's probably a really good guy or whatever, but it was.
Let us judge it, though. He may look just like you. And you're
We
just
have
too close
judged
to
it. We have judged
I mean, it's
it.
not his fault. He looks nothing like you.
Yeah.
I
He's
hope.
a great-looking dude. He could still be a great-looking human. He just doesn't look like you.
Listen, great-looking humans don't look like me. What I'm saying is that dude doesn't look like me. All right? And these things continue to happen. I appreciate the thought of when you see somebody, you go, oh, Caucasian, Pat McAfee. Like, I do appreciate that happens. But I'm fucking done with some of the doppelganger shit. Yeah. You guys are ruining my confidence without even knowing it. Or maybe they do know it, and then it's next level. Shout out to you for trolling me like that.
That would be next level. You have hat off if that's what they're doing. Hey, let's fuck with McAfee today and just send him this photo of this guy.
Now it's gonna happen.
It's already been. It's had to have been
do it.
happening.
Yeah.
It's had to have been happening with that last one. Had to have. I like thought I maybe missed something, a memo that was sent out to a bunch of people. Hey, just every white person looks like Pat McAfee.
I might jump in the game now. Now I might get in the game.
It can't be worse. It can't be. AJ, you and I look more alike than 90% of these things that get sent in. I don't have anywhere near that jawline. Hey, you remember when I shaved or was forced to shave for like that week or so?
Yeah, I see it on some of the clips when they replay them during commercial.
At what point can I get just a fake jaw put in there to look like
I thought you were gonna shave it down and just keep the goatee.
Ooh.
Isn't Goldberg around and do it in honor of Goldberg?
Hey, big pop for Goldberg.
Yeah.
Last
Huge.
night. Oh, yeah. I didn't expect that.
Me neither.
Goldberg, he was my dude back in the day, man.
Goldberg
was your guy.
You called him
Did I say
Goldberg. Yeah, he said Goldberg is my guy.
Bill Goldberg.
Hey, Goldberg was everybody's.
It's not
guy.
that funny,
Goldberg
fellas.
is damn good.
I mean, Goldberg. It is kind of funny. I mean, we're 317 at this point. You know, we just ran through a redhead, a vicious redhead. I mean, there is nothing really to talk about. So you calling Bill fucking Goldberg Gerdberg
I don't think I did, man. I'll have to run it back.
All right.
Yeah, you
play the clip.
We might have misheard it. It might have been Connor, but I didn't.
No.
Keith Lee came back. Did you see this? Keith Lee came back. He was gone, and there was a bunch of rumors on where he was and why he was gone. He was brought back, buried immediately, and then Goldberg came out, and that place popped for Goldberg. I did not expect that.
Gerberg still got the juice.
So
That's
pumped
what
he's
everybody
back.
says.
Him versus Cena maybe down the road at some point.
When Gerberg does the karate as like the music and everything hits, awesome.
He looked like he almost fell.
Yes, it looked like a very
Couple of things. He punched off his watch. He undid his watch, so he fixed his watch. He did inhale the smoke like the old days. I think that was my favorite thing of the whole thing was the big pop. The Goldberg chant was very loud, very real. Then he had this smoke there. He inhaled it, and then he just went in and said, "I'm next to Bobby Lashley."
Goldberg.
Goldberg. Goldberg. How's your guy, huh?
Goldberg's still one of my favorite wrestlers.
Hey, he just came out there, demolished people and bounced.
Wait, did he do the entrance where the cops all escorted him in last night?
It was a surprise, so it was just him from the ramp or whatever. But massive pop, big. Texas has great fans, I think.
Yeah, they do.
Texas has great.
Was it bigger than Jeff Hardy? Did he have a big pop?
So Jeff Hardy beat Karrion Kross last night.
NXT champion.
Really? Yeah, Karrion Kross also debuted on Raw. Jeff Hardy beat him last night. Jeff Hardy has had a couple losses. Gets a win over Karrion Kross, who's still the NXT champion, I believe.
Interesting.
Let's go. Jeff's belt now.
Huh?
That's Jeff's belt now.
Is Jeff the champion of NXT?
In my eyes.
Imagine if he comes.
Let's go.
Jeff Hardy was trending the other day because he was liked by the opposite race.
Oh, yeah.
Really, Jeff Hardy was trending because it said I'm quoting a tweet.
Quoting.
I'm not going to say it.
Initiating quote.
I'm not going to say it.
But everyone loves
Jeff Hardy.
Yeah.
He was trending strictly because of that, though.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
hey,
what's the opposite race?
Well,
I mean,
There's a
what
lot
are
of
you,
races.
fucking buffoon.
I mean, there's a lot of different. What's the opposite of white?
You tell me. Just simple question.
I don't know.
All right, so I guess black folks love Jeff Hardy.
Yeah.
That is why he was trending. I woke up the other day, Jeff Hardy was trending. I was like, what happened with Jeff? Like, I was like, I see it. And it was literally just out of full love. And I was like, congrats to Jeff. Let's go.
I'll say the Hispanic community also loves Jeff.
By the way, the whites also love Jeff. I think Jeff is just universally loved, but he was trending strictly because
the top tweet said like black people love Jeff Hardy, and it had like 10,000 retweets.
People answering down there.
Yeah,
I mean,
some guy read underneath it. Yeah, I love Jeff Hardy more than my own dad. Like, I mean, a lot of people.
A lot of that for Taker, by the way. Whenever Taker was
Oh
trending,
man, there was
obviously.
more. There was a lot of Taker is my dad as the tweets for him.
I didn't dive deep enough into the, I think, 20,000 responses to that Jeff Hardy tweet. I mean, it was trending for like 13 hours.
Man.
It was cool. Jeff Hardy had to feel good getting on Twitter.
Yeah.
Because every once in a while when Jeff Hardy gets on there, not great, obviously, over the years, whenever you're in a public spotlight for like ever since you're 16 years old, he's been wrestling in WWE, I think. He gets on there, he's trying to, oh, what the fuck? Oh, they love me.
Hell yeah.
Let's go. Yeah, he starts doing
Jeff Hardy's a legend, man. He was in the office in the studio. Good guy.
Hell yeah.
Flies around. I did a swanton in ode of him in both matches, and the second one was off the top of a cage. And I mean, unless they catch Jeff better than I got, I don't know how he's been doing it. I don't know how he's been doing that. You got to go?
No.
I thought you were taking out your thing to run.
I'm trying to check if my earpiece is working.
Is it?
Yeah, my left one's like low. Does Zeke know how to change that?
No, because mine, every once in a while, one of them will kind of give out as well.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. Normally it's just like...
That's the new ones too, or that's the old ones?
No, it's at the end of a run of a headphone, basically.
They just go out.
Yeah, like one will stop working, then we just go to the next one.
Yeah.
I don't know what I mean, we're in it, I guess, for 3.5, 4 hours a day.
Still got the Tampa ones too.
We have do you have the... you do, because I remember seeing them in Texas whenever we called that game. You have the molded ones, right?
Yeah, I've won these forever. The molded ones, I love them.
Are those the molded ones?
Yeah, but this was like a home deal where they send it to you, you mold it, you send it back, and then they send back the ears.
Like a mouthpiece.
Yeah, exactly. Because usually I always wonder, but you have to go into like an audiologist and get your ear casted and do all that. whatever the company was.
So I got that shit dumped into my ear, and then we sent it out there. It's not as loud.
What's your connection like on yours?
What do you mean?
Like, what does it connect to on the back of those molds?
Is it a metal thing like this circle?
Yeah, it's a little
Circle
there's two little metal like.
And it snaps onto your receiver.
Yeah, it clips right into the ears.
Yeah, you have the same ones then.
Yeah, is it not?
Mine are good.
Do you like it quiet or loud?
I like it loud. I mean, I control the volume here with my little box, but yeah.
So it might have been our connection or whatever.
Well, they said that we got we got 3K ones, but like the 5K ones are the better ones, and we've never got those.
Well, I'd be able to keep the same mold, or do I have to dump that shit into my ear again?
No, same mold.
Thank God.
It's the connection so like he must have a better connection.
So I put these things in. I was like super pumped. I'm like, look how professional I am. I got these full things, and then I couldn't hear a damn thing because it's through vibrations, which I guess is sound, but it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. I couldn't hear it, so I got to use these ones where I just plug in every day, and I assume this is doing quite a number to my eardrums.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, these are great. I love it. I don't want to lose them.
Well,
because I'll have to mold it. Maybe they do have my mold. Hopefully they kept it there.
We were also using a Y splitter that I think was ruining your the volume.
So we're splitting from 1 to 2.
Yeah.
Do they have a bunch of molds of ears? Like
on deck, like a library of ears.
Yeah.
And AJ, we've talked about this. Our ears are weird. It's hard to keep something in my ear. There's not a lot of stuff that stays in there. My ear kicks shit out.
Are they like snowflakes?
Is every ear different?
Yeah.
I'm sure they are, right?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Is it almost? It's almost Santa Claus time.
It is almost Santa Claus time.
Yeah.
As in Christmas?
As in the movie Santa Claus, which takes place on one particular snowflake.
Yeah.
As it's falling.
Boom. You don't get it, dude.
You ever watch Santa Claus?
Yeah, I've seen all of them. I think there's 3 or 4.
Yeah, I mean, not all of them are great. There's 1 or 2 bad ones, but it is the best holiday movie series of all time. And it takes place, Whoville is in a snowflake.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So how far is that? Is that falling from like thermosphere then? That's a long fall.
That's a long fall,
That's a big drop.
Because they've been living there a long time.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, Grinch was once a little tiny little hairy thing, and then he became a big tall
Full-size guy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now we're on to a different movie?
No.
You said Whoville. Whoville is not in the Santa Claus.
2 different movies.
You get it, dude.
Here's a Who.
2 different movies.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I do not get it.
No, I said you do get it. Just
The Grinch is on a snowflake.
Yes.
Santa Claus is not.
No.
Yeah, that's why I was already confused.
Well, listen, it's not time for that yet. My brain will get into Snowflake, Whoville, North Pole time. That's the North Pole time here in a couple months, dude. How many days till football season?
51.
Kind of boring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's just no juice in
Well,
there.
I know. Yeah. Hey, I'll bring it.
We're 158 days away from Christmas, though, if you're wondering.
Okay, so we're about 100 days away from Christmas,
excitement there.
from Santa Claus. Yeah, there was a little bit of juice there.
Oh, yeah.
Is that going to be your thing every day now?
Counting down Christmas. I love the countdown. Just keep it going.
Gerald, what's going on? Dirty Myrtle.
What's up, Pat? Guy that won't say IO and the boys.
That was you,
Got his
AJ.
ass.
That was you, AJ.
I said IO all over the place in Tahoe. Or a lot of people were yelling OH, and they'd be pumped when I give it back to them.
Yeah, they're all faking it just like you said I do. I'm genuine. OH.
IO.
Thank you, Gerald. That's from Myrtle Beach down there.
Of course. You have all these people fooled. You know that.
Beautiful Myrtle Beach. You know, not too dirty anymore. We've been cleaning it up, trying to, getting the pressure washers out on the street.
I don't believe that. Myrtle Beach is Myrtle Beach because of what Myrtle Beach is, right? Is that not the case?
We're trying to change the image a little bit. Get more families here. Allow the kids to be able to walk out at night.
This is like when West Virginia tried to become Harvard. Like, hey, you're West Virginia, dude. Just
own it.
Own it. You know what I mean? And I love Myrtle Beach. I would like it to be known that I love Myrtle Beach. And you guys should just own what you are. You're Myrtle Beach. You are an awesome time. Coastal Carolina has great mullets.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the football team's on the rise. Let's have a day, Gerald.
Beautiful mullets up there. I coach football myself down here, so I love it. Not at Coastal, but, it's beautiful to see them doing that good.
What do you want to talk about, Gerald?
You guys don't talk about NASCAR that much. One of the most American.
Jesus. Let's go to Mitch in Phoenix. What's going on, Mitch?
We need more. We need more.
Is Kyle Busch running? Kyle Busch is winning. That's all I know.
Well, is Keselowski back in the number 2 Miller Lite car? Do you
Doesn't
know?
matter about Keselowski and number 2 Miller Lite car. If Kyle Busch is running, Kyle Busch is winning. Hate to break it to you.
Is Smoke still out there?
Smoke had a race the other day. Actually, I seen him win. He actually gathered all the boys up for a race.
No way. Track?
Yeah, it was out here in Brownsburg, actually.
Really?
Yeah. It was like a all-star racing series. There was people from Formula One and everything like that right out here.
Nice.
I should have went.
Anyways, NASCAR is awesome, but it kind of gets boring when Kyle Busch is racing. Kyle Busch is winning.
When's Jimmy Johnson coming back?
Did you see what KY did over the weekend?
He won.
No, when he wrecked or there was a rain delay or something, he got mad and he bumped the pace car.
Whoa. That's what I'm talking about.
Hell yeah.
Hey, Rowdy KY. Hey, Rowdy KY Bush. Get out. I don't need any pace to be set. I'll set the pace around here.
Yes.
Kyle Busch is number 3, ranked 3 right now.
Rowdy?
Yeah, Kyle Busch.
Now, is that Nextdale Cup, Sprint Cup? What are we talking
Well,
about?
We talking just series standings.
No, go. Because on the Saturday races.
It'll be Winston Cup.
On the Saturday, no, Winston's dead. I don't think Winston's allowed to sponsor anything anymore. But the Saturday one, the Cowboy did die. I believe the Winston Cowboy marketing did die. But the Saturday one, he has over 100 wins. He has like 100 and some wins or whatever. It's the most wins of all time or something like that. That's what he does. He just wins. Beast. And then
who's in first and second if he's in third?
Martin True Jr. number 2,
and
then Kyle Larson first.
Wait,
Larson?
Gamer.
Yeah. Yeah, AJ. Kyle Larson.
Yeah, I've heard of. I know of that name.
You know who that
That guy drives with a lot of hate. You know what I mean?
A lot of hate.
He might win the whole thing, by the way.
Really? I didn't know he was back.
All the way back. Yeah, he was in the lead like the first race back, and I was
Yeah.
excited to see how they handled that.
I believe he's won multiple races. He has got a fast car this year.
Yeah, by the points right here, 861, and then next place goes 696. I don't know if that means anything, but
So whenever you say this and next, we have no idea who you're referring to there.
Kyle Larson has 861 points.
He's in second.
He's in first place, baby.
Okay, so who's in second place?
That one guy I did not know how to pronounce his
Martin
last name.
And he has 600 and some.
Yeah, 696.
And
It
how-
actually doesn't make any sense because after that, you got 740.
Okay, so once again, you have no idea what you were referring to.
No one knows anything about NASCAR.
Bingo. All right, Mitch.
Errol's still on.
Mitch, this is Mitch in Phoenix. Mitch in Phoenix, what do you want to talk about, buddy? That was unbelievable, Zito.
Hey guys, how's it going?
He is driving that Chevy car though.
Hey, Zito's batting 1,000 today. Did you hear him earlier? He was playing a Pittsburgh radio station whenever we're talking about.
No. That was a clip that was sent. It was playing in the background.
Okay, all
on
right.
the computer.
He's got 3 computers over there. It is a little bit of
4.
an issue. 4 computers over there. Zito does a great job, but
1, 2, 3, 4.
get you on the floor. Gotta get up to get down.
You hear Mitch say
Gotta get
hello?
up to get down. 1, 2, 3.
We're still with you, Mitch.
Gotta get up
What's up,
to
boys?
get
How we
down. Gotta get up to
Waggle.
get
Do the
down.
waggle with a speed walk.
That's Coolio, dude.
They do the waggle with a speed walk in between.
I'm not your monkey.
You thought about it though.
I was trying to see how it's possible because the waggle, a lot of movement, you know, in the bottom half of the legs, but the speed walk, big time locking out the leg. I had to assess whether or not the body could pull it off.
I blow an ACL.
And, you know, I don't think I'm in Olympic shape right now.
Okay.
I don't think I could get it. Maybe tomorrow, though, I'll work on it, AJ. What do you want to talk about, Mitch?
Yeah, hey guys. So hopefully the Olympics still happens, but I am a massive water polo fan. I grew up playing high school and coaching it. So I was just curious. 1, have you guys ever watched water polo?
Here.
And then 2, if there's any other sports besides like baseball, basketball, or anything else that you guys are excited to watch.
Mitch, you play water polo, Donner? You got massive legs, huh?
I used to have some tree trunks, but I was only like 6, but I
think that's-
I was never, never too big.
I think it's big water polo.
Were you part of the college admissions scandal? I know water polo was big in that.
Did you take any photos and go to school for free?
Oh no, unfortunately not.
Perfect.
But I wish that was around back in my day. That would have been nice.
I talked to a coastal elitist the other day and said water polo is a great game.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, it's awesome. If you guys have never watched it, it's like a combination of basketball, hockey, and it's a better version of soccer, all wrapped into one. So you have a shot clock, all basketball.
Yeah.
It's super fun to play
You
if
have
you
a
can
power play
stand.
like hockey.
And you actually
then
score
you have
goals.
a lot more goals
That's
scored.
handball
You
you're
usually have like
playing.
9 or 8 goals scored per game. So, and
How
then
deep's the
people are
water?
just beating the hell out of each other in the pool too. They always have like the cameras underneath the pool, and you can see everyone just getting beating the hell out of each other.
Those are actually problematic, Mitch, those cameras.
Big time.
Can you wear a cup? I feel like you get kicked in the balls.
No, you get well done.
Yeah, a lot of cup checks out there with no cups. Water polo seems like the most miserable sport to play. You're drowning the entire time, right?
Yeah.
Diggs, you said it's a great sport if you can stand. That's just handball, right? On water.
Yeah. Which
So like Yao Ming would be good, 6 feet deep.
It's only 6 feet
No,
deep.
it's definitely
Yeah, it's
deep.
12, isn't it?
Yeah.
I just saw right here, 6 feet deep. Regulations.
Zito. There's no way. Just 6 foot. You think I could just bounce up?
You can't touch the bottom in the
Then
game.
just one. You think-
That's what it's saying here, guys.
No.
I hate to say it.
You on Zito.com?
Is this CorbinFun.com? Let me go to a Zito. I don't want to have to do this every show, but am I going to have to start searching for everything?
Search it.
I'm just kind of.
Or at least 6 feet deep. 7 feet deep, sorry.
So Yao Ming's still fucked there.
No, he's good. 7 foot.
Wait, it's like this, right?
At least 7.
Yeah, his nose is above.
And once again, to reiterate AJ's point, you're not allowed to touch the bottom of the pool.
So if you're 7 foot tall, you can't touch the bottom.
Yeah, you have to tread water.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be. Is there a guy under there?
So the rule, most regulation water polo pools are at least 6 feet deep.
Oh, that's so weird.
Yeah, it doesn't say that they are 6 feet deep. It doesn't say that they are 6 feet deep. They say most are at least 6 feet deep. However, in the
so
case of a
it's
pool
kind of
having a
right.
shallow end, players are still prohibited from touching the bottom of the pool. So that next sentence there, Zito,
Yeah, so they
got you.
gotta
Doing
hop.
so will result in the ball being turned over to the opposing team. It's actually a fumble
Yeah.
if you touch the bottom of that thing.
It's like a penalty. Or whatever they call
So
it.
hey, like let's say a high school water polo game. I'm guessing there's not a whole lot of underwater cameras. You got a scuba guy down there checking people's
Yeah.
feet to see if they touch.
Is that the ref? Is the ref a
Yeah,
scuba?
He's
You
underwater?
because they're like perched up like a lifeguard. I think it's pretty easy to tell when someone touches the bottom.
There was in our high school pool. There was like glass. We didn't have a polo team, but there was like a lower level that had glass. Like
Oh, you can see underneath it?
Yeah.
Oh, so it's like a side angle,
Like Free
of it?
Willy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, it was like an aquarium.
Like a window. There's a window into the pool.
Yeah.
Okay.
I assume these super yups that play water polo have a window underwards and they watch because ain't no rich white going to touch the ground on this other rich white because this rich white's dad is a lawyer.
That's right.
Apparently, your old man says he used to play back in the day and even coached.
Tim had a swim record around a couple pools back there in Pittsburgh.
Damn.
I never heard he played fucking water polo.
Tim was Michael Phelps of Pittsburgh. Let's go.
Tim was a great swimmer. Great swimmer. Good at bike cycling as
Yeah.
well. And he used to run forever. Yeah, he was a triathlete or whatever. He's a good athlete, but I ain't never hear a fucking water polo word. Did you ever hear that, Jay?
Yeah, I don't recall water polo.
Tim McAfee's full of shit.
Making up
I don't not believe him though. I'm sure he probably did, but
He coached a water polo team. Would we have not heard this?
maybe he wasn't very good at it. And he didn't want to bring it up.
Dad?
Whoa.
So when was he doing this? So when was he coaching? I'd like to hear
Probably
this.
high school.
Is he here?
Yeah, but didn't they have you like whenever he was like fucking 18 years old or whatever, like 17 years old? There's when I'm sure Sally's pumped to hear that he was potentially coaching a water polo
I'll
team.
be right back. I'm going grocery shopping.
And he's not coaching. He's coaching at the age of 16 when he would have had
Prodigy.
this.
Like McVeigh.
Well, Dan Gray was his swim coach, so maybe he just was like his assistant or something.
Those are two different sports, right?
I know that, but maybe I'm assuming they probably didn't have. Who knows? It was. I don't know if they had multiple coaches. Maybe it was.
Tim he could throw the shit out of a soccer ball. You know how most soccer balls do, like you cup it and throw. Tim used to just palm that thing, and I mean now it makes sense if he was
Actually, yeah.
I didn't know Tim
And
was.
he just texted in and said he was 17 at the time. So
Holy shit. Jackie Moon.
Convenient.
Player coach.
Tim. This fucking guy. How come he didn't get us in? Couldn't afford it. There's no way. There's no way. He was doing that for some. There was some business reason he was doing that for sure. He was signed up for that because something else was coming alongside of it.
How would you get into it though? Did you ever see anyone playing water polo before you were 25 years old?
Didn't even know the sport existed. That's why I'm so fucking surprised to hear that my dad was a prodigy coach at the age of 17. I did not know that. I feel like my dad and I spent a lot of time together too. We were in cars for hours and hours. Never heard about the water polo run. Maybe I missed my calling.
Probably got free pool time.
Your bottom half though is so
I actually,
heavy.
yeah, I don't float. Can you float?
No, you shouldn't float too much.
No, but just in general, in a pool, can you float? Do you have any buoyancy?
You can. I mean, I don't want to be able to float. That means I have a lot of body fat.
Okay, can you float or not? Can you float or not?
I mean, I can tread water very well.
Okay,
Holy shit!
Can you float or
Yeah,
not?
of course. There's a technique to floating. When you arch your back, put your head. They teach little kids how to do it.
Okay, I can't do it.
Yeah, because you have terrible technique. I know.
No. So
you could float. I promise you could.
All
float.
right, bet good. Okay,
20 million.
20 million.
All right, perfect. Okay, cool. I have no buoyancy in my body. And I don't know if that's because I skipped the entire age of when your body just naturally picks it up. I drop.
Like a stone.
I cannot, if we get into, and I don't know if this is what happened because I don't like water enough to be on a ship long enough for it to potentially go down. If we end up going down, though, maybe salt water is a little bit different. I don't think I've tried to float there.
Oh, yeah. It's different.
I
You
cannot.
can float there.
Maybe the Dead Sea. I might be able to float the Dead Sea. But I have never been able to experience that because I guess it's like pretty calming too because your head's in there or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
I'll try it out. This has been since high school probably. I mean, since pools have been existing in my life. I'll try it out. I'm there. And then the ass and legs just start dragging me underwater. And all of a sudden I got water up my nose.
Well, I tell you for the survival float, you got to be face down.
Well, that wouldn't survive then.
Well, that's the way you do it, though.
You drown.
Yeah.
So what do? You lift your head up?
Survival float, you go hands down, breathe, get back down. Survive float.
Never.
Look it up. Look it up.
Why wouldn't you get on your back so
He's
you can actually
normally
breathe?
50%.
You
I
do
think
that
he's
4
gonna have
times,
this
Zeke,
one.
and you'd be exhausted.
It's usually 50%.
Basically, survival swimming is a technique of swim, float, swim that teaches young children the basics of how to float and breathe for an extended amount of time, regardless of the depth of water, until they can either reach the side of the pool or the shore, or until help reaches them. Let's talk about survival swimming in the photo they're using to display it. It is a child laying with her face straight up out of the water.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's with the thing.
What is it?
On her back?
Command Shift 4?
Yeah.
Yes.
And draw the
Yeah, she's on her back. She's floating. She's doing what we all assume.
backstroke. Just
Let me look up survival float over here.
Yeah, but you're gonna look up guy lying face down in the water and then retype.
Hey, legit, Z, like, hey, I understand that your way of getting through things is like telling half truths or whatever, but when you're the information in my ear, that's not my thing. Like, my thing isn't your half truths thing. Like, you need to get
I
on
have
my
it right here, survival float. Just Googled survival float, and this is what I get.
It looks like there might be 4 different types where one is face down.
I'm sure they're different.
What's that, the 15th photo? Zeta, I mean...
Second photo. That's the first photo. Second photo, third photo, fourth photo.
No, survival floating is what I've Googled over here. And it's a
Survival
lady
float.
with her head up.
Float and floating, much different.
Yes. That's just doing
When we're
this.
talking about water.
Float and floating are different?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What?
If we go back in the record, I did say survival float.
Because survival float is implying, like, okay, you're only floating for a little bit, whereas survivor floating is implying you're floating the entire time.
What?
Is this like a docking situation?
I guess kinda.
Like floating, docking.
I would like my computer to be plugged into this as well. From now on, after today.
Be very clutch.
With the 7 things that have happened here. Zito searching his truths on the internet.
Exactly what I said. I Googled in the first 4 photos.
Survival float uses very little energy, making it ideal for situations where you don't know how long.
So when you're on a cruise ship.
Horizontal back float, vertical back float.
Yeah, it's horrible. You'll die.
See, but this is you.
But that's
See what you have been
float.
doing this entire
You
time.
got rid of the key word, survival.
No, I'm looking.
You look at a
People
horizontal
also
float.
ask, what are the 4 types of survival float? Okay.
Yeah.
Survival float. The survival float uses very little energy. The horizon back float. The vertical back float. Treading water is the last one. That one will kill you.
Yeah, don't do that.
Hey, you ain't surviving long that one.
I'll agree on that.
Anyways, Zito, we need to fucking enough with your half bullshit because I have to speak to
It's
people.
actually called the dead man's float. Someone just said it correctly in the chat.
Never would have guessed, by the way. Because
But
you're
still,
a dead
it's still
man.
one of the first ones.
You're a dead man. If you do that.
No, that's the first one they tell you to do.
What I'm saying, though, is with your style of information, okay?
I have never fed anything wrong in your name.
Stop.
In your
You
ear.
did. You did. And you have.
Give me one.
Today, just now.
That was not in your ear. That was on everyone's ears.
Well, that
was live.
Well, that's what I'm saying though. Like you need to say them loud, not into my ear. Okay, I need that not to happen. I don't need.
So no more in your ear for information.
No, for right information, yeah. But whenever I'm in the middle of something with you drop, I don't trust anything you're saying into my ear. That's a problem. You know what I mean? So like when you have your thing, need it to go loud. Like you just say it, so then we can go. Oh, okay, here we go. Zito is probably onto something as opposed to it becoming my thing. I don't want that to be my thing, if that makes sense. Because you are right. You have incredible stats and facts, but they're always half-truths.
Yeah.
You know, that you portray as gospel.
But I usually do that, though. If it's a 50%, 70%, I'll say it live. If it's 100%, I'll say it in your ear.
That's not true. See, here's a lie again. That is not true.
And that's why I'm saying it live right
That
now.
is just...
I just told you what I do.
Yeah, but you don't do that, though. That is the problem I'm having, though.
If we're going back to the number 48, yeah, I said it.
Yeah, and then you also said, I never said that ever, which is what you're doing right now, which is a problem, you know, because I have to speak for 3 hours and 45 minutes every day. I have a lot of faith in you helping me out, but instead, you come in here and it's like, is this a Zito truth or is this an actual truth? Is this a real truth? And there's like an entire... Now we're breaking lights.
Oh, no.
Now things are falling off the ceiling.
What happened? Where's Mitt?
Nothing happened if we asked Zito, but in real life, something did happen.
It wasn't me.
Back there. But Zito does a great job. It's just, I don't need to be the half-truth guy. Like, that could be you. I don't want to take your gimmick, is what I'm saying. So there's no way the survival float is with your head in the water.
Imagine if that's also, if you're in the ocean trying to survival float with salt water, are you kidding me?
On rough seas, you can't float on your back. That's why you sink. So that you're supposed to float that way.
And I was basing this off of like being on a cruise ship. That's what they tell you.
To go head first in there?
Yeah, and then pop your head out when you need to
will
breathe.
die.
What? Has anybody survived doing that?
I was going to say,
no,
I'm guessing they're also.
So this is like a in theory type thing?
Yeah, it's like naval.
The lady that came from.
the Navy SEALs are doing this. Okay. So is it what?
It's like the naval way of training, like floating.
You remember the lady who got brought over by the dolphins? That's what she did the whole way.
The lady who got brought in by the dolphins.
Yeah.
Lady saved by dolphins. Dead man float. Dead lady float. Sorry.
Yeah.
I don't know. Hey, by the way, Google might be sexist. I don't know.
That's on Google.
Hey, I'm not doing it. Lady, dolphin, save, float. The dolphin who loved me. The NASA-funded project that went... Three-year-old clinging to unicorn. Float is rescued from sea. Meet the psychedelics-obsessed scientist who wanted to learn. How hero dolphins guide scientists to drowning girl.
Yeah.
Was that the 3-year-old girl with the?
No, it was an older lady. She was very severely sunburned. I remember correctly. I felt bad.
Was
for
it
her
her back or was it her stomach?
It was her back. That's what I'm saying.
You get it.
Wait, so she rode, you're saying some dolphins just rode her 50 miles through the ocean?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's insane. It was an insane story.
3-year-old clinging to unicorn float is rescued from sea in Greece.
I don't know about that one.
Oh, I've seen that one. But that was just she went out on a float. She wasn't in the water.
She's actually just riding that thing like it's a pool party.
Yeah.
At this point.
Oh yeah.
I don't see the dolphin saving the lady that was floating on her stomach, but I wouldn't put it past dolphins. I've seen them get up there and piss on somebody and then hump them immediately afterwards.
A lot of people say they're smarter than humans.
They got big brains.
Oh, yeah.
They got big old brains.
They're mammals.
There's no way they're surviving with their nose out of the water.
No, I don't think that's their survival.
Hey, how do you survive? Put your nose out of the water and then just fucking try to... Should we talk about this? Are we the show that has to change this narrative?
I think if we don't,
Stop
who will?
floating with your face in the fucking water.
Yeah.
They
Dick
say-
up
they
if
say
you're
it-
floating.
Well, there are 4 different types of floating. I
Okay.
mean, Zito only has one style, obviously, which would have been our show style, face down in.
Yeah, like rough waters. You know, if you're in calm waters, come on.
I think if I'm in rough waters, I'm dead. By the way, I almost died at the wave pool 5 times.
Yeah, if you're in rough waters and there's no boat around.
I'm also assuming if there's a storm that is bad enough to take out a cruise ship and capsize it, guess what? All those people are probably dying.
No!
I don't know if floating face down in the open ocean is going to
Well, you got to find a piece of wood.
Yeah, you're right.
Sure. Yes. Rough water dock kits here for the boat. Rough water floating, or is that's different than float, right? Rough water float. Dead man. Dead man float in swimming. The dead man's float is done on your stomach facing the bottom of the pool while your body floats on top of the surface of the water and your back is exposed to the air. Start by standing or crouching in the pool depending on how deep it is with your shoulders and surface on the water.
But why? Why do you do it?
Because you're a dead man.
Yeah, because you're trying to die.
It saves the most energy as possible.
But you have to lift your head every time to breathe, right?
Yeah.
Hurt your neck pretty bad.
Yeah, you pull a muscle in your neck and the dead man float. You're dead.
You go back to your back.
I would like to say and apologize for the initial reaction that you were accurate in this. Now, you were portraying as if it was the only one, which is what my problem is.
Well, yeah, to me, that was the only one I should know.
Well, and that's
why we.
That is.
I'm glad we can meet in the middle here.
We can't. Forever.
You said we thought.
Forever, your truth, keep it your way. I don't need it in my ear, though. You hear me? Like, that's the type of thing.
Or just tell you, though. What if he tells you in your ear, hey, like the dead man's floating? He's like, hey, this is my truth.
No, he won't. This happens off air, too. It's happening on air now on a more regular basis because Zito's starting to get the hang of it, starting to get comfortable back there. And it's like, all right, we can't take the gimmick that is out there in the bar where it's like, nah, I heard she, da-da-da. And it's like, okay, did she? Probably somehow. Let's figure out what this actual truth is. But that's a difficult thing whenever that's in your ear while you're speaking. It's like, fuck, all right, let me get to my computer.
I've been looking. I can't confirm his story about a woman being rescued.
I'm not even going to get into that. I'm not even going to get into that. Oh, you're looking right now. Yeah. Just like Master P and that app that gave $2 million. They just kind of created that thing, and it'll probably be a great company.
Well, I thought you did find it was a scientist lady.
Zito creates websites, I think, to send
Zito.com.
Yeah, to send stats and facts.
South African reports rescued by dolphins.
This is from 1972. Z. We have no way of knowing.
I'm a sucker for a good story. What can I tell you?
Yeah, it's the half truth thing, Z. It is tough. It is tough. All right, let's get the fuck out of here. I got people in the comments telling me not to talk to Zito that way. Hey, Bobby Fischer, fuck off. My name's on it. You have no idea what I'm going through. You're not around Zito ever, so you have no clue what the fuck that means.
Someone also said,
I would like to block
Zito's
that
mom.
motherfucker. Bobby Fischer, get him out of here. I blocked all the people that said this show was best when I wasn't on it. Fuck you too. This will go down. I'll go with 0 people watching, by the way. I am 100% okay with that.
I believe you.
Yeah, I am. Legit. 1972, Paul Kenya says.
Yeah.
Jake G, Pat is pissed. I am, because it's hard enough to speak for 3 hours and 45 minutes and then get like a half truth from Zito, which is maybe accurate, but now we got to dissect it in my brain while still talking. And it's just something we got to fucking figure out. I mean, I can't do it anymore.
Not to mention, we're talking about fucking Cam Akers tearing his Achilles. We're not talking about anything really going
matters.
on. Yeah.
That matters. All right, I'm out of here. That's the show. I'm not fucking doing the show tomorrow either. I'll see you guys next week. Cheers. Good day.